Welcome into Cody and Gold, 610 Sports Radio, 610sports.com, the Odyssey app. We got to get to Dusty's onion controversy later in the show.
Oh man, I don't know if I've ever laughed harder in my car.
I think you've made the entire morning show mad at you. B-Dub's still giving you dirty looks.
Drew, is it stinking there still?
No. There's a slight aroma.
God.
B-Dub was fuming though when I walked in. I was like, "What happened? Is it hot or cold?" He goes, "It stinks."
Oh,
It
man.
stinks. Is it hot or cold? Neither. It stinks in here.
The thing is like this whole thing, and we can save it, but it all is surrounded by random acts of kindness, which is ironic in itself because
You were trying to help out people. Share a taco.
someone helped me out, I helped them out, and then I went over the top, and we'll talk about it later because I had 4 people text me, and this show starts at 10, but like obviously we don't just wake up at 9:30 and show up to the studio, and so I get up at like 7. I'm getting the coffee ready, and I have like 4 people texting me about, like, man, Bob and B-Dub and Binkley are just effing pissed. I was like, oh, no. And I, like, put on the radio, and I hear their take on it, and,
So we got a few things to get to.
Yeah, dude.
That included, I think we got to get further into our basketball game between Gold and I yesterday, and then the eventual odds that excluded you somehow, Dusty. So we'll get to all of that in just a minute, but let's start things off with the Chiefs because that's the easy thing. And the NFL free agency continues to be kind of wild. People are expecting the Chargers to have to get rid of multiple of their former, soon-to-be, former big-time stars at any point, so we're going to have to get into all of that too. But Mahomes did what Mahomes does. The Chiefs went to the old Bank of Patrick yesterday, Dusty. Hit up the old ATM for some more cash for the salary cap situation, which is not surprising by them. But it leads to the normal questions, which is what for? Because I assume last night when you were on After Hours, you had the same question as I when you saw the number. You're like, well, that's more than I was expecting them to move around.
Right.
They were real cautious with the amount of money they moved on Patrick Mahomes last year, which meant they didn't think they needed way more money in order to get their things done. This time they moved over $20 million out of Patrick Mahomes' pocket. Technically, he'll get it different.
Right.
To try to give themselves cap space. I feel like it's only one of two things this can mean. They are, for starters, they are considering keeping L'Jarius Sneed under the franchise tag or trying not to lose leverage against teams who were trying to use their salary cap position against them and being like, well, you got to just give him up.
Yeah.
You can't afford him.
Yeah.
Or they have multiple moves planned this offseason, including paying for or signing a high-priced wide receiver, left tackle, one of the combinations. They're either about to be real busy or they're planning on keeping L'Jarius Sneed on the franchise tag.
Yeah, the number's interesting because it's almost $22 million restructured to create cap space. Something's happening today. Like I'll be the one that'll go out on the ledge and
You think the Chiefs are making a move today?
Something's happening today. I don't know at what point. Like if I had to try to throw a dart at a time period, I would say somewhere around like 3:05. Like Carrington might have a real easy show today because that might be when something breaks. Or like in classic Chiefs form, something breaks at like 6:03 when we get to wait that night to kind of get all the numbers and then we can react the next day. But there were some people that it's interesting how the L'Jarius Sneed conversation has kind of ping-ponged from 2 different angles, right? From like the fans' perspective to a different sort of fan perspective. And one of those is L'Jarius Sneed getting a contract extension with the Kansas City Chiefs good for business is one thing that I saw. Like, oh, you're going to pay him too much money, then you're going to run into a salary cap issue. Who's to say, though, that L'Jarius Sneed signs a 4-year, 5th-year option contract for, $70 million, $77 million because the Bears gave Johnson, they gave him 76 for 4 years. Who's to say L'Jarius Sneed signs that contract? Right? Let's say the conversation is, hey, look, I kind of want to be a part of this 3-peat run myself. I kind of want to have a chance to be a part of this legacy too. I'm still, I believe, 28 years old. Maybe L'Jarius Sneed gets a 2-year deal. And by the time that 2-year deal is up, then he goes and gets his bag because then maybe he's won another Super Bowl. He's continued to keep that same sort of narrative or that chip on his shoulder is I'm one of the best. I can do whatever I can to cover a wide receiver one in the NFL. Oh, by the way, now I've won 3 titles. The rings don't matter anymore. Now let me go get paid where the quarterback market spikes even further up. And we know the salary cap's going to move even more.
Yeah, it's going to get crazier.
Right? So you gamble on yourself and the team, but you're still gambling that you're going to get paid because I can only imagine that the quarterback market that has kind of spiked, not kind of, it has spiked a little bit this year, will only continue to spike with the wide receiver talent that is about to pour into the NFL and that is already in the NFL. L'Jarius Sneed says, hey, I'll stick around. Give me a 1-year deal or a 1-year extension. I'll play for 2 more. At the end of that, I'm gone. And then by the time that happens, you restructure Chris Jones's deal after 2 years of playing. McDuffie, Karlaftis are up for a contract. And then your conversation then solely revolves around, okay, what are we going to do with the future of our defense in this position moving away from L'Jarius Sneed? And you don't worry about it now. That's just speculation with the cap movement that you got from Patrick Mahomes. The other thing about this, too, is a lot of people at the start were like, you got to bring Sneed back. You got to bring him back. Let's see what happens. Let's see if they can run it back with Sneed. But then the other side of it is, well, what if he wants a long-term deal? Isn't necessarily good for business, which I am proud of those people because they're starting to finally understand the process and the management style of Brett Veach and why he's always, unlike the Chargers, the Bills, all these teams that are having to fire away their good players to stay below the cap instead of just staying right there with what you have and consistently winning.
And that's the key. It's that the reason why they've been good with the cap is not because they don't still have to make difficult decisions. Every team has to make difficult decisions or let some players go. The key is to avoid fire sailing.
Yeah.
The Bills let go of like 2/3 of their roster. The Chargers have 4 of the 12 highest cap hits in the entire NFL on their roster as of right now. Bosa, Khalil Mack, Mike Williams, and Keenan Allen are 4 of the highest 12 paid players. I'm including quarterbacks, which is important to note, in the NFL right now. They're going to have to let some of those guys go. Someone's going to become free at some point. Now, I keep looking at the Patrick Mahomes contract and wonder, can you move this money forever? I don't know. I think the answer is seemingly yes.
Every year there will be a Patrick Mahomes. It'll be like the Bobby Bodina day where he gets deposited $1.3 million. Every year.
He gets to restructure and just cash a $20 million check.
Mark it down your calendar for this next year. Right before the NFL official season starts on the whatever the date is, today it's that day. The day before, Patrick Mahomes will always restructure.
But that was the thing. I assumed at some point they were going to have to just rip up his deal and just figure out a way to pay him more. Because right now he's paid, I mentioned this to Gold yesterday, he's paid the 7th most on an average annual basis in the NFL. I'm like, all right, well, that's officially too low. If you slip below 10, then it's way too low.
Right.
So a couple more quarterback contracts away, but I guess you could just rework it and be like, no, the structure's the same, but we're going to tack on $50 million to this bad boy and just call it a day.
Right.
The money will be the same. We'll still get to move it around the same, but here's some extra money for you, Pat. I mean, this is what I know. Nobody ever wants to give him the Tom Brady different, but like any of this thing is, this is why he is like Tom Brady. He allows them to move their money every single year. Other quarterbacks like Dak Prescott don't do that.
You know the other thing that helps Patrick Mahomes? He's in every freaking commercial, dude. Yeah, he has a $500 million contract in the NFL.
Thing, right?
Yeah, he's making a ton of money outside the game. So that right there is one reason why he's fine being like, yeah, the NFL is my job and it has an income, but State Farm, Oakley, Adidas, Coors Light, name it, anything that he puts his mind or his face and name, image, and likeness on, guess what? When you're the face of the biggest company of sports and you're the best player of that company, anybody and it all started when he was first here. Remember, he was like, I think Binkley had Lee Steinberg on. And one of his quotes,
he didn't want to do endorsements his first year because he wanted to focus on being an NFL quarterback.
And he knew that more were coming was what the undertone was because he knew
he'll get paid.
He bet on himself. And then the next thing you know, we're in his 7th year in the league, 6 years as starter. And every time you watch an NFL game on Sunday, chances are during that commercial break, 1, if not 2 commercials are going to have Patrick Mahomes on. Whether it's a local 30-second spot that you get or it's a national spot, he's there.
Do you think that I'm assuming maybe just it goes as far as Mahomes, not the whole team. Travis drove up Mahomes number 2.
Oh, yeah.
The association with the Chiefs and the Taylor Swift stuff, that drives up Mahomes' price tag a little bit too. Now, it sends Travis's number through the roof.
Yeah.
Like, I'm just thinking, like, I was in your neck of the woods. I was in Lee Summit, like, less than 2 years ago.
Praise be.
Might have been last year. Jesus, it might have been last year.
That long? Should have been at Lee Summit. What gives?
At a high V. No, I've been to Lee Summit since. I like that downtown area. They got a couple. I went to a speakeasy not that long ago. Down
Did you go to Libations, or did
it's
you go
the
to
one where it's like an apartment building kind
Oh,
of
you
like
went to
next
the W.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
You went up the Harry Potter stairs.
Yeah, good spot.
Their address is like 9.5 or something like that.
Yeah. They got 9 3/4.
Yeah, ring to get in. Yeah.
No, but I was in downtown Lee Summit because Travis Kelce was doing like a cake tasting thing for his birthday. And it's like, you couldn't get him. He probably got paid like $10,000 for that. I'm like, you couldn't get him anywhere near that for $10,000 now. No chance. No. That's the good news for Mahomes. And we know that the money is there, but you still have to keep up with the Joneses at least a little bit.
Yeah, it's got to be something to where it's not an egregious outlier of something.
Exactly. And now on the other side, this is what gets me about the cap. The Chiefs have enough cap room with this because yesterday it was announced that Willie Gay got a 1-year, $5 million deal. And my initial response to that was like, boy, the Chiefs really didn't want him. And the two kickbacks I got were, well, hey, the cap is real, and you guys are pretending it's not, which seems like an interesting stance there. And he said he's not playing enough snaps. Okay, so just real quick, Willie Gay led the linebacker crew in snaps played. Maybe they warned him. Those were getting ready to go down, and that Drew Tranquill was going to take over that time. And Nick Bolton certainly would have led them in snaps had he been healthy. Yeah. But Willie Gay played the most snaps out of the linebacker crew on the entire team. And I'll just tell you right now, I've spoken to enough front office people, general managers. They wanted to get $5 million under the cap. That ain't a problem.
Right.
They want a player bad enough. $5 million is not going to stop them from that number. I'm assuming it had to be the injury stuff and that they love Leo Chanel, who had a great postseason, played really well, and they're just ready to move on. It was nice having you here, Willie. $5 million? Nah, we're good. I think it could have been $2 million and they wouldn't have signed him. Correct. It could have been league minimum and Willie Gay wasn't coming back. This had nothing to do with the cap and everything to do with Chanel.
The three things that stick out with the Willie Gay thing is that seems, if I'm wrong, maybe I'm not, that seems like the perfect type of Brett Veach contract. Hey, we'll give you 1 year, $5 million at max. We'll give you $3 million guaranteed at signing, and there's $2 million left on the table for incentives. Play X amount of games, have X amount of tackles, whatever. You know how incentives work. The other thing that stuck out was that maybe there's something going on with like a medical report that we're not seeing, right? Like the neck
issue is worse.
That's maybe up there because it seems like $5 million, another team. Like I was way off. I thought Willie was going to get like a 3-year, $25, $30 million deal. Like I'm seeing all these outside linebackers, and maybe I'm prisoner of the moment of just only watching heavily the Kansas City Chiefs and seeing Willie Gay stick out. But it just seems like the third part of this is that Brett Veach, if you haven't noticed by now, gives you little breadcrumbs of a trail to his house of a Hansel and Gretel sort of reference. Like,
correct.
You can see in a year or 2 years prior how they draft at that position. And this is probably a lot of GMs, and hello to the world of the NFL, Dusty Likens, but he's telling you ahead of time what this team is going to probably look like. And the drafting of Leo Chenal, the drafting of Brian Cook let you know that Juan Thornhill was no longer going to be a part of this team.
It also seems like the players know. Like, I don't even think Brett lies to him.
No.
Willie Gay, before he played his final game at Arrowhead, it's like, it's my final game at Arrowhead.
Yeah, dude.
He knew.
Some people know. And Leo Chenal was a guy that they drafted in the first 3 rounds of a draft, and you and I both know, and Drew as well, you draft somebody in the first three rounds, you plan on that guy being somewhat important to your team. That guy should have a role, if not by the first year, definitely by the second year. And we're in year 3 of Leo Chenal.
Major role players are starters. That's what you expect out of first 3 rounds.
And one thing Leo Chenal showed, health. Another thing he showed, improvement. And the other thing that he has shown is that he can play that outside, that will role that Willie Gay played. And you pair him, Tranquill, and Nick Bolton together, and that's essentially the same linebacking core that you had the year before. And, it was fun. Thanks for the time, Willie. Business is business. It's nothing personal. It's just, it ain't your time on this team anymore.
It does suck to be the players. Like, I do feel a little bit bad for the players to be the one who has to leave the back-to-back champion for the shot for immortality.
But at least
it was going to have to be someone. Tommy Townsend, Willie Gay.
And those guys got paid. Like,
I don't care. Yeah,
Tommy Townsend got what? $3
million
a year for a punter? Like, hello, my career did it, nailed it, chef's kiss. I'm done. After this, like if my career's over, I'll be
Punter,
fine.
you don't have a lot of big paydays.
No, and you're going behind another quarterback who's pretty damn good too, that you might not have to punt a whole lot in that offense either with the Houston Texans. That's fine. But again, like Brett Veach gives you tea leaves and lets you see the future coming. And there are certain things that we've seen in the past. Charvarius Ward was going to be a free agent. Who they draft? A kid out of Louisiana Tech named L'Jarius Sneed. Charvarius Ward comes up for a contract. We're just going to move L'Jarius Sneed over and let him take over for Charvarius Ward and let someone else go overpay for that because we've drafted ahead of that.
Yep.
Guess what? They drafted Trent McDuffie 2 years ago. Who's in the contract dispute right now? L'Jarius Sneed. Now, did the Chiefs get extremely gifted by having 2 stud corners? Absolutely. But how many NFL teams keep 2 stud corners on the outside in today's world?
No, it's like paying 2 high-priced wide receivers. Teams don't do that either. See, in the text, like, I bet they still draft a linebacker. I'd be shocked if they didn't. They're going to buy themselves protection in case they let Chanel go a year from now or 2 years from now, or let Willie Gay go, or not Willie Gay, Nick Bolton go next year.
Do you think
they're going to offer themselves protection?
Do you think the same situation could happen to Nick Bolton that's happening with Willie Gay?
It depends on if the price tag I saw like a week and a half ago from some future free agency article is true, which was Nick Bolton might be seeking like 16 or 17 million a year. If that's the number, look, from my side, bye.
Yeah.
Look, I think Nick Bolton's a great player. Bye. The linebackers get paid. Like, if Willie Gay tries to get paid like he's Nick Bolton tries to get paid like he's one of those outside linebackers who gets that kind of cash because they're blitz guys.
Yeah.
I don't think so.
Well, and we even talked about it, or you guys talked about it last week, I think, is that, linebackers are like the running back of the defense, where they're
the least important. I'll be honest.
They're very replaceable, and I think
they're the captain of the defense.
Actually, it might be safety now, but linebacker's the second least important.
Yeah, I think too. Not that
if
it was
you're a tackling linebacker, not a pass rusher.
Not that it was exactly a blessing in disguise, but Willie Gay going down allowed them to find out how good Drew Tranquill and Leo Chanel and even Cochran, even because Coach Reed had good things to say about him. You find out how good your depth is at that position, where again you probably address it in like the 4th round, maybe. I mean, because I think that's where you provide yourself flexibility.
Depends on if you trade Seam, get an extra second round.
Like you were saying, Dusty, if you can find a way to move right with how contracts go, you can afford to draft a guy, develop while paying somebody else, and then when that person's developed, you draft somebody else, and you can move with the rhythm, I guess, if you will, of how the contract flow goes. And you have Spags, who's the best DC in the league, that only helps your chances of being able to develop those guys you pick in the 3rd, 4th, 5th round, because Snead was the 4th, correct? I mean, it goes to show you how great the development is.
You get to bargain bin shop a little bit.
Well, and what's Brett Veach's like sweet spot in the draft? It's corners. I mean,
nobody's better in the league.
You had 3 corners start a Super Bowl game that won a Super Bowl against an offense in the Philadelphia Eagles. They brought that entire unit back and won another Super Bowl. Williams, Watson, McDuffie, Connors now, who's pretty solid. You've got him back. Deion Bush was a signing yesterday that's like an underrated, keep him with the team. Won a Super Bowl last year. And what do? That's what Brett Veach does. And then he finds picks in the draft. And guess what this draft's going to do? Sleep on high edge defenders. Like the first 16 picks, 14 are going to be offense. You're going to have
offensive linemen and
slew of quarterbacks, a slew of wide receivers, and offensive linemen and tight ends are going to go early in this draft, which means you take away 16 picks due to offense, right? Let's just say that hypothetically 16 picks are offense in the first round. The Chiefs, who currently pick 32nd, right? That means there are 16 picks, less than that, 16 picks that you can choose from the top defensive players in the league. If you wanted to take a corner in the first round or an offensive tackle in the first round or whatever you want to take on defense, because you have that opportunity and you can then rebuild for the next year. And like Drew and I have said, if you have Trent McDuffie in a contract year in 2 more years, but you've got a rookie that's now all of a sudden also great, you can have the same conversation that you've had with L'Jarius Sneed. Now, I do believe that eventually Trent McDuffie will be better than L'Jarius Sneed. Like another buddy of mine.
I think Trent McDuffie's already better than L'Jarius
He has a comparison.
I don't think it's like waiting. I think he already is.
Because who's to say that the ceiling for Trent McDuffie isn't Charles Woodson? I know. Hold on.
He might be the best corner in football right now.
But he's physical. Yeah. He's fast. He covers. And by the time he tackles. And by the time he's 31, 32, oh, hey, by the way, why don't you play free safety now?
The only thing he doesn't do right now is get the ball.
Which is fine. He just doesn't let the other guy get it either. So I'm cool with that.
Yeah, the only thing, normally when we talk about elite corners, they get the ball a little bit, but he's not the risk-taking Marcus Peters, Jalen Ramsey type. He never gets burned because he doesn't take the chance. He just lives in your hip pocket.
I think that's Sauce, too. I mean, because Sauce is labeled as, chances. Sauce is labeled as one of the best, but he even doesn't take as many chances as those guys. No. He just didn't get thrown the ball his way.
Which is what you want. You want as little action as possible because people
take half the field away, yeah.
And the other thing about that, too, is in the Super Bowl last year, Trent McDuffie made 2 of the 4 biggest plays in that game. The deflected pass on the outside that made them kick the field goal that saved the game. And then the other one was in the first quarter. It was 3rd and 14, and Purdy threw a dime to Debo, and McDuffie just leaped up and deflected it. Nobody caught it, but they didn't convert a 3rd and 14 touchdown that would have been piercing to your soul in that Super Bowl, which could have possibly made that game a 17-0 deficit, not a 10-0 deficit.
The text I'm bringing up, he forced 5 fumbles last year. I think that
including the one on Tyreek.
Charles Woodson.
That might be the most underrated aspect of what Trent does is
he's a great tackler.
You listed off all those things, Dusty. Like he tackles better than any other corner because a lot of times corners, they go for the legs. They aren't strong enough to completely bring down somebody, but you have the forced fumble with Tyreek. You've got all the other plays that he made from a physicality perspective. Yeah. He's fast, he's quick, he's strong. I mean, if you were to build a corner, I mean, he's got a lot of what you would put into making a great corner.
My buddy Brian's comparison to Charles Woodson kind of plays, right?
A little bit. He plays that kind of style.
Because the thing is look at who he plays up against. Jamar Chase, big, physical, 6'1", 6'2", stout receiver, doesn't get punked, right? Yep. And then if he's got to go play the flashy guy, he's okay with it. Yeah, he's not doing what was Marcus Peters? We were here.
He'd bait.
He can't tackle. And every time somebody get a quick pass out, couldn't tackle. And guess what teams are doing against the Chiefs? They don't have a lot of time to throw it deep. So what do? They throw the quick outs. What does McDuffie do? He stops that. He's physical. He can cover. Look, there's a reason why he's on this team and may not go anywhere, and L'Jarius Sneed might.
When they drafted McDuffie in the first round and traded up for McDuffie
and stole the draft, as soon as they drafted him the next day, what did everybody say? Oh, Brett Veach got the steal of the draft. He got McDuffie and Karlaftis.
That was that clip of the Buffalo Bills draft room when they're like,
"Damn it!"
They're all looking at each other and then they panic drafted Kaiir Elam.
Yeah,
who stinks.
Did not work.
No, of course it didn't work.
Right.
I think you were right, Cody. In week 10, I think when you said the pass rush obviously is important, Chris Jones is great, but it all comes back to how they're covering. And to your point, Dusty, I think you just validated what Cody's point had been at that time is
that's the strength of their defense.
They always are going to have a good pass rush, but the fact that they have guys on the outside who can tackle and who can prevent those quick out routes where teams were beating them. That is what's allowing them to get home more often. That's what's allowing the defense to be as good as they were last year.
Coming up in about 15 minutes, we're going to get to the one-on-one basketball game between Gold and I and get Dusty's thoughts on that. But when we come back, our guy Matt Verderame, he's over at Sports Illustrated. He does his own thing, the Matt Verderame Show, Chiefs-specific podcast. We're going to get some Chiefs-related and NFL-related thoughts from him next.
Cody and Gold, brought to you by Heartland Men's Health, the leader in men's sexual health. Thousands of men have been successfully treated for low T, ED, and more, all with discretion and compassion. Make your appointment at heartlandmenshealth.com.
There is a back-to-back Super Bowl champion, and it is the Kansas City Chiefs.
On your official broadcast partner of the Chiefs, 610 Sports Radio.
Spring is here, or close enough, which means you need to start those projects and start thinking about your parking lot. That's where GAN Asphalt and Concrete can take care of those needs for you. Check out their work at GANNasphalt.com because they're celebrating 30 years in Kansas City. You want to work with local companies, one, but more importantly, you want to work with local companies that have staying power, that you know will do the job well, and they're a one-call, one-stop shop for all of your needs parking lot. You need the whole thing torn up, dug up, repaved, you can do that. But if you just need drainage system work or bumper blocks or crack filling or just signage and striping in your parking lot, GAN can take care of that for you. They are customer first and want to make sure that you're happy with every single part of the project. Your local company, you want to work with the local company to make sure that your repair needs are met. Your parking lot, honestly, it is the first impression of your business. I can't think of how many times I've driven and been like, what is going on here? dodging craters at my kid's soccer game in parking lots for a little while. Don't do that with your business, and instead work with Gann Asphalt and Concrete to make sure that those needs are covered. You can check them out again at GannAsphalt.com. That's GANN asphalt.com, and let them know Cody sent you.
Do you want to skip your car payment this month? How about for 6 months? I'm Jeff Davis, owner of Volkswagen Lease Summit. We're offering payment relief.
Buy a new car at Volkswagen Lease Summit and get no payments for up to 6 months. That's right, no payments for up to 6 months. Or we have low leases starting at $239 a month and rates as low as 0% for 60 months.
Get payment relief today at Volkswagen Lease Summit. Visit VWLeaseSummit.com.
Financing through VCI on approved credit. Call 816-841-7383 for details.
Barbecue put Kansas City on the map, and Smokehouse Barbecue has been serving up the best barbecue in Kansas City for over 35 years. Hey, it's Bob Fesco. When my family and I want delicious baby back ribs, burnt ends, and hickory pit beans, we head to Smokehouse Barbecue. Of course, no trip to Smokehouse is complete without their Cajun chicken wings, which are the best wings on the planet. Visit them in Independence, Zona Rosa, or Gladstone, or at SmokehouseBBQ.com. For over 35 years, locally owned and family operated, it's Smokehouse Barbecue.
Hey guys, Beat Up here from Fesco in the Morning. You're feeling discouraged on your current weight loss journey? Well, it's time to get that dad bod in shape. Jump on the Beat Up Summer Shape Up. Spring break might be the perfect time to break up those ineffective weight loss strategies that could be holding you back. Slim for Life wants to help. Their dedicated team of weight loss coaches and medical professionals will guide you every step of the way. I hooked up with my girl Leanne at the 119th and Metcalf location, and I've lost almost 100 pounds in just 8 months. Yes, it's that easy, and they're with you every step of the way, guaranteeing your success and getting to your goal quickly. All you have to do is take that first step. Call today. Book that free consultation. Let them know that you heard it from Beat Up. You can lose up to 29 pounds for only $29 in 6 weeks. Plus, you can add those semaglutide medications to any plan for $99 for 4 weeks. 833-SLIM today. That is the number you need to call. 833-754-6863 or hit them online at slim4life.com. All services included, exclusive of products. So what are you waiting for? It's time to be happy and healthy in 2024. Make the call. Tell them B-Dub sent you.
If you're a pro and flooring is your game, we'll help you win it. Because at LL Flooring, all we do is floors. You want decor?
Strike.
You want plumbing?
You're out.
LL Flooring has been helping pros knock it out of the park for over 30 years. Visit one of our 400 nationwide warehouses for one-on-one service, extensive inventory, and exclusive pro pricing. Get the pro treatment you deserve. Enroll today, online or in-store. LL Flooring, every step covered.
This March, Wendy's has some amazing deals on their hamburgers made with fresh, never frozen beef.
Like a juicy Dave's single for $1 and a fresh $2 Dave's double with in-app offer.
It's such a good deal, we wrote a little ditty about it.
Get it for $1. Dave's single, order in the app. Dave's single, get it for $1. Choose wisely, choose Wendy's official hamburger March Madness.
Limited time offer. Participating U.S. Wendy's. See offer details and redeem at Wendy's app. Account registration required. Fresh beef available in the contiguous U.S. and Alaska.
Get in zone, AutoZone.
Welcome to AutoZone. What are you working on today? Brakes? We can save you 15% on that. We have OE quality Duralast brake pads and rotors in stock, ready for pickup or delivery. We also have calipers, brake fluid, tools, and anything else you'll need to do the job right. When you get Duralast pads and rotors together, you'll save 15%. It's just part of what makes us America's #1 brakes destination.
Get in zone, AutoZone.
Is switching your wireless service to Total by Verizon easy?
Totalmente.
And you get unlimited 5G data, $25 a line for 4 lines on the unlimited plan, at an amazing price, with no contracts. Should you switch to Total by Verizon? Definitely.
Totalmente.
Find a store or switch suavemente at totalbyverizon.com. Monthly rate when you activate with autopay plus taxes and fees. Discount begins the month after you enroll. Additional terms apply. See website for data management practices.
Pass it on.
You've heard it said, he's a diamond in the rough. Or maybe, diamonds are forever. Here's something else I've learned about diamonds. They're just pieces of coal put under pressure for a long, long, long time. So when I start feeling like I want to give up, I think about that little piece of coal. And if that piece of coal can make something of itself by not giving up, so can I. Persistence is in you.
Pass it on.
From PassItOn.com.
Drowning in IRS debt? If you can't afford to pay your IRS debt due to economic hardship, you can now be free of IRS collection efforts by taking advantage of a special IRS tax hardship program. This program allows Americans who owe the IRS to resolve their delinquent tax debt once and for all. In some cases, maybe even reducing what you owe significantly. An open phone line has been established by Community Tax for consumers to call and see if they qualify. Simply dial 800-519-6360. If you owe back taxes to the IRS and cannot afford to pay them back or have years of unfiled tax returns, help is standing by. Just call the Community Tax Helpline today at 800-519-6360 for the help that you need. Don't take on the IRS alone. They can attack your wages, savings, pension, home, and even your Social Security check. Call 800-519-6360 to see if you qualify. That's 800-519-6360.
Royals fans, are you ready for opening day? In one of the most anticipated seasons in team history, don't miss a second of the action with every game live on the free Odyssey app with 610 Sports Radio. Catch Vern before and after every game. Plus, join Denny, Ryan, Jake, and Stu all season long on your home for Royals baseball in Kansas City. 610 Sports Radio and the Odyssey app. Download it today. AUDACY. Live games available for fans and market only.
The 610 Sports Radio phone line is brought to you by Onder Law Injury Lawyers. Visit getjim.com.
Chose a song just for Dusty, didn't you?
I'm glad everybody knows I'm a boss man. I'm a boss man.
You made it very clear. Publicly let it be known.
I got a little tanked last weekend, and the one thing I was nervous about is I couldn't find my Bruce Springsteen koozie. Left my Aviator Ray-Bans, left all these other things. I was like, did you find my koozie? Turns out it was in my fridge with a half-drinking beer, and it's still in the koozie. So we found it.
Oh, you found it.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, we can figure out with our next guest, Matt Verderame. He's over at SI. He does the Matt Verderame Show for all things Chiefs as well, so you can subscribe to that. Matt, are you like a traditional sports media guy? So like a massive Bruce Springsteen fan?
Listen, all you need to know about that is I'm an Italian from New York, so I get to sing to Bruce Springsteen, which is really just screaming. Thunder Road at about 10 o'clock at night as I'm headed down the turnpike. Yeah, I partake with the boss.
In fairness, it's not even just like it is a sports media thing anyway, but your particular background, I don't feel like you could have avoided if you tried, Matt.
No, I'm pretty sure I was born in the USA.
Yeah.
So look, every year on Memorial Day, if I can get back to New York, I'm at my family's lake home, and if you're out there, you just hear Springsteen for like 12 straight hours from everybody's porch and everybody's boat. And it's a beautiful thing. I don't have the koozie though, so I got to set my game up.
Yeah, it's okay. So, anyways, the hell with the NFL.
This is the Bruce Springsteen.
We got a whole season to talk about the NFL. Let's get into this Bruce thing because I'm interested. You said there's like boats and people just going nuts. Like, do people do different era Bruce Springsteen costumes, or does it just Matt? I've never met you before. I've never talked to you before. Dusty Likens, damn glad to meet you. I feel like we just became best friends.
Yeah, that's fair. It's the costumes. I don't. People are usually too drunk on Memorial Day to get bothered with a costume. Usually, we're lucky if they have all the clothes on. But it's it's mostly just a lot of listen, it's Memorial Day. So there's Born in the USA, and there's it's usually the hits, right? Yeah. It's usually that day. It's usually pretty surface level. We're not going too deep. We're not getting hour 3 of the set list. We're getting the top line stuff. But I mean, who's complaining?
Right.
Who's complaining about top line stuff when you talk? Every once in a while, when they start playing Streets of Philadelphia, it's like, all right, then the party's probably wrapping up.
Yeah.
Getting a little somber. People are passed out now.
Yeah. Once you hear they blew up the Chicken Man in Philly last night, it's time to go home and get back into the groove.
Yeah, it's over. It's over at that juncture.
Okay. If you could take one Springsteen album to an island and you can only take one, which one do you take?
Oh my God.
Yep.
Jesus. You know what? I'm going to cheat on this and just say his greatest hits.
Okay, that's fair.
Okay, look, that works. At least you get a little bit from every album.
That's
Matt,
right.
that cheats you a little bit.
Pick one era.
Okay. Look, we're speaking with Matt Verderame over at SI. Again, he does the Matt Verderame Show as well. All right, so the big news yesterday was that Patrick Mahomes once again moved money around for the Chiefs, an annual tradition like none other. The question yet for Chiefs fans was, that was more money than I was expecting, Matt. So is that because they're planning on holding on to L'Jarius Sneed under the franchise tag, or because they have other big plans?
Well, it's funny. To shamelessly plug my show one more time, Matt Verderame show on Patreon. I did a mock off season a couple weeks ago, and part of that was restructuring Mahomes. I think we all knew that they were going to do something with his contract. My guess was that they were going to restructure $20 million, and they restructured $21.6. And the reason I thought it'd be $20 million was because I thought if they were trying to go big in free agency, they were going to need some extra cash. And then once the franchise tag was applied, which I expected, but then all this stuff about they might trade Snead, which, okay, fine. The more this went on, the more I sat there and thought to myself, they've got to restructure Mahomes a little bit more, because otherwise they have no leverage here. Now they have leverage. Now they can sit there and say, look, we don't have to trade Snead. We don't have to do that at all. I mean, theoretically, they could sit here. They have $15.5 million in space. They could go out and sign, for an example, Hollywood Brown, and pay, $5-6 million this year against the cap, have money for their draft class, have a little bit of a buffer, maybe even create more money at some point by extending Justin Reed and bringing his number down like $7 or $8 million, and you're fine. And you can just keep Snead on the tag, or of course you could extend Snead and then you really lower that cap down from like 19.8 to probably like 7 or 8 million. They have options now. Whereas if they didn't do that with Mahomes, or they only restructured a few $million, they really would have had to trade Snead or extend him and at a rate that they probably aren't comfortable with. So I think it just gives them a lot more optionality.
When you look at you mentioned Justin Reed just real quick. I last week, or maybe earlier this week, I don't remember when it was, I suggested based on the free agent safety market, isn't paying him $14 million kind of bad business? Shouldn't they, I hate to say this, but doesn't cutting him, eating the $3.5 million and picking up a different safety make way more financial sense knowing how cheap they are?
Financially, yes, but I think Justin Reed's become a very essential player to them. I think there's more to it than just cutting him and then going out and saying, hey, we'll just, play Connor and Cook and bring back Mike Edwards. I think Reed has become the leader of that group. I'd say other than Jones, he might be the leader of that defense. And he's so smart that he can translate that Spagnuolo defense for a lot of very young guys. He's still in his mid-20s. If I'm the Chiefs, I would extend him. And you're right. Financially speaking, you could argue it and say, well, maybe. But you also look at, C.J. Gardner-Johnson, who I know is kind of a hybrid, he's got 3 at 36. I expect when Justin Simmons signs at some point, now it might be a shorter-term deal. He's older. But I'm sure he'll get a healthy, salary for 2024. But yeah, you're right. Financially speaking, they could get cheaper there. I just think they would lose more than they'd gain overall.
Matt, I'm kind of interested to ask you this one because I was thinking about this on the way in. Who's to say that L'Jarius Snead and the Chiefs would do a Johnson contract in Chicago where it was 4 for $76? Who's to say they wouldn't just maybe give him a 2-year deal? Go for the three-peat or however you want to do it. He's still, under the age of 30. He goes for his third ring in Kansas City. He gets paid respectively enough for 2 years, heavily incentive contract, and then all of a sudden you go get the bag at age 30 at the rest of the NFL. And then by that time, Trent McDuffie's contract's coming to the surface, and you've got to really think about that cornerback as well, who's a stud. Is there any, is you think L'Jarius Snead's going for that big sort of max contract deal, or could there be a chance there's a little 2-year extended deal?
I think 2 years is tough for a few reasons. One is it's very hard to spread out money for the Chiefs, so you're taking huge cap hits.
Okay.
Number two, if you're Snead, he went on the Kay Adams show right after the season and looked into the camera and said, pay me. He just had a 4th-round rookie contract. I think he really wants to get paid. Now, that being said, though, to your point, I could see him doing a 3-year deal because that's a little bit easier on the cap, and he could still really get paid. If I'm the Chiefs and I'm willing to try to keep him, I would have no problem saying, look, L'Jarius, we'll give you a legitimate 3-year deal. Not one of these, it's actually 2 and a team option, but hey, we'll give you 3 years and we'll give you the same rate Jalen Johnson got. We'll give you 19 years. We'll give you $57 million and we'll guarantee 45 of it. We'll give you a real, if we cut you going into year 3, it's going to hurt us as much as it hurt you.
Mm-hmm.
I would be willing to do that if I were the Chiefs. I will say this, talking to people around the league, The Jalen Johnson contract was a little surprising. I think, most people, when you look at what a player is going to get off the tag, you start with what is the average of a 2-year tag situation. And at corner, it's $22 million. If the Chiefs were going to tag Snead this year and next year, okay, this year is basically 20, next year would be 24. So most people thought, well, Johnson's going to come in right around $22 million a year. When he came in at $19 million a year, that was surprising. And I think it does kind of set the market for Snead, who's also a couple years older than Johnson. Didn't make the All-Pro team, although he should have, but he didn't. I think for the Chiefs, that helps you. Whether it's trading him because now teams don't pick quite as much, or it's keeping him, I think that Jalen Johnson contract does benefit Kansas City one way or the other.
Looking at the rest of the league a little bit, I think the talk of NFL Twitter at the moment, Matt, is what the hell the Chargers are going to do. It also just happens to impact the Chiefs. Look, they are $25 million over the cap. One of the 4, Khalil Mack, Bosa, Allen, or Williams, are gone for sure. But how many of the 4 do you think will be gone by 3 o'clock?
First of all, it's fine. I just did a spot for this. Are the Chargers aware that they have to be cap compliant by 4 p.m. Eastern?
I kind of hope they know that.
You know the answer to that.
Tom Telesco left, and maybe they're just guessing.
Did somebody wake up somebody in the front office this morning? They're like, "My God, we're 25 over. We got it's." But in any event, I think at least 2 of them are gone. Because if I'm Harbaugh coming in there, let's be real. He's running the show there.
Mm-hmm.
If I'm Harbaugh, I'm looking at this going, this team has not been seriously competitive for a Super Bowl since what? Since Marty Schottenheimer was the coach?
Probably.
I mean, it's been a while. And I'm thinking, okay, I've got job security, so I can reset this thing if I want to. And I'm not paying 30-year-old Mike Williams coming off a torn ACL. That's not going to happen. And I'm not paying Khalil Mack, who's in his mid-30s, who, yes, had a great year last year, but he's got 1 year left. If we can trade him, great. If not, thanks for the memories. Joey Bosa, he's the interesting one to me because he's 29. He's got 2 years left in his contract. But again, he's hurt all the time. If I'm the Chargers, I'm done with all this stuff. I'm done with these guys who on paper look like gods, and then you get to the season and they each play 7 games. At some point, you got to move off of it. Allen's the only one, if I'm them, he's got a year left on the contract, even though he's going to be 32 this year, 31, 32. I wouldn't mind giving him another year or 2 on an extension. I would do that because at some point you got to have somebody on the team who can throw the ball to. And he's been a great, great Charger, one of the best of all time. The rest of these guys, what are you paying them for? I mean, Mack and Williams are hitting free agency after this year. You're not going to re-sign them. They're both in their 30s. And Bosa, to me, if you can get a mid-round pick for him, take it. Just take it and run and be done with it and clear the decks, accept the fact you're not going to be good this year. Because in reality, even if they kept all these, even if they just restructured themselves into oblivion like the Saints do every year, even if they did that, you're still not good. You're still not a good football team. After those 4 guys in Herbert, the rest of the team's not any good. So I would just clear the decks. I expect multiple guys to be gone. And I will say, if they cut Williams on the current contract he's on is insane. Williams on a 1-year, $10 million contract, would that interest Kansas City?
Oh, God, yeah.
I mean, I'd incentive-laden the daylights out of that contract and say, hey, Mike, don't worry about when you come back. Just be ready for the last, 10 games of the year and go long. I think that'd be an interesting fit in Kansas City.
Yeah, I'm a huge fan of the heel move of getting traded in the division, like the Patrick Queen move, the Jordan Poyer move. I mean, Mike Williams to Kansas City would be an absolute heel move. Maybe Hogan bash to the beach. Matt, with the restructure yesterday, what is your percentage? Because I'm pretty confident today something is happening for the Kansas City Chiefs. I don't know why. I don't know if there's a dusty devil on my shoulder that's telling me to lean into this, but something tells me something's happening today.
I would tend to agree with you. Look, I look at the offseason they've had so far. They brought back Tranquil, and they brought back Tranquil at a reasonable but a healthy number.
Yeah.
They gave Chris Jones, I don't know how you guys feel, they gave Chris Jones more money than I ever thought they were going to give Chris Jones.
Same.
And not even so much the 5 and 160, because look, there's a couple years at the end of that are funny money. I talked to a lot of people at the Combine who are like, yeah, I think probably the limit for guaranteed money is 80. And the Chiefs just blew right past it. And we're like, here you go. Here's 3 fully guaranteed years. And I don't blame them for doing it. Chris Jones is a Hall of Fame player, and you need him to make the defense work, and they did it. But my point is, I don't think you do all that to then just sit on your hands and go, we're good. Like, now you have the cap space. They've got to get themselves a receiver. And we know that they were in on Deontay Johnson.
Mm-hmm.
It sounds as though they were in on Mooney. Like, I think at some point here, if you're Brett Veach, whether it is a guy like Mike Williams getting released, or if Keenan Allen somehow gets released, whether it is a Curtis Samuel or a Hollywood Brown, it sounds like Ridley's probably going back to Jacksonville, although nothing's done till it's done. But, like, if I'm Veach, that's the move. I'm going out and getting myself a quality receiver. And then after that, look, you want to dabble at tackle, okay, fine. You're probably looking at depth pieces. But, yeah, I expect whether it's Snead today, one way or the other, whether it's a receiver, I think the Chiefs do have a couple moves here left in them before the draft.
Matt, we appreciate the time as always. Thanks so much. And check out the Matt Verderame Show. You want to give a quick pitch for your podcast real quick?
Sure. It's a Chiefs Focus podcast. It's a couple podcasts a week at minimum, plus some bonus and emergency stuff. It's on Patreon. You can sign up there. There's multiple tiers for whatever you want to do, and it's pretty interactive. There's mailbag. There's even a week or a monthly happy hour to hang out on Zoom and chat. So go ahead, go to the Matt Verderame Show on Patreon. Join up. It's a lot of fun.
Appreciate the time as always, Matt. We'll catch up soon.
Sounds good. Take care.
Yeah, God bless Bruce Springsteen.
What a good start, you know? Get a little Bruce talk for you, Dusty, on a Wednesday.
And then you get a text line that just says, Springsteen sucks. It's old white guy music. Exclamation mark, exclamation mark, exclamation mark.
He's frustrated by it, man.
3 of them.
He doesn't feel as strongly about Bruce Springsteen the way you do.
I am kind of interested in the Verderants after a Chiefs loss. Somebody says they're pretty hilarious on the text line. I didn't know that was a thing. That's the first time I've ever talked to Matt. So.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah,
I've been having Matt on the air for like probably 10 years now or something. I don't know. It seems like we go pretty far back at this rate. But he knows the Chiefs, and he's dialed into what's happening there in the front office. I'm kind of with you at this point where I don't feel like the Chiefs are just going to do nothing today.
Something's happening.
Not nothing today,
I just don't know when. I think it's going to be at like 3:15. Like Carrington's going to be like nose deep in a hated KU discussion that they're going to lose somehow tonight to Cincinnati. By the way, 3.5-point underdogs.
How about the comeback for Cincinnati last night?
I mean, pretty good.
16 and what was it? The last 2 minutes?
He was ready.
Yeah.
He was so ready.
Yeah, something like that. By the way, our Big 12 tournament coverage on 610 Sports Radio is brought to you by Twin Peaks. Eats, drinks, scenic views.
Good. I have no affiliation with Cincinnati Bearcats basketball or football.
Okay. I just thought maybe it was just a Cincinnati thing.
It is cool, though, when you see Cincinnati win something. But
see, there's always a layer.
There's always some level of
I don't
Cincinnati.
have any sort of interest, but, man, Travis Kelce was so good at Cincinnati.
He was.
Yeah.
Yeah. You know, for the Kelsey brothers, that's why we can.
Yeah.
I don't know. You know how it is.
We were rooting for Cincinnati when they
Were you
made
alive
the
when
playoffs?
Bob Huggins was there?
No chance.
When was that? I might
don't
have been
know,
alive.
98?
If it was 98, I was alive, but I didn't.
He was a baby.
Yeah.
You were born in what, 97?
95.
95. That makes me feel so old. You should have seen the look on Aaron Latt's face the other day when he realized I was 39. It was like shocking to him how old I was.
Yeah, you've held it together pretty well.
I was like, how old do you think I was?
A lot of people think I'm in like my mid-20s.
His last year, by the way, was 2005 in Cincinnati. 1989 to 2005.
You hit a run.
I don't have any real recollection of Bob Huggins at Cincy.
Just West Virginia?
Just West Virginia.
The same Aaron Ladd that said this?
Current single people at 6'10" is most likely and least likely to be married.
I heard this on the way in. Least likely to get married.
You have 5 people to choose from. Carrington, Gold, Dusty, Rob, who you should be your number 1 pick because he's engaged, right?
That doesn't count.
Yeah, he's
Bink. And Bink.
Okay. Dusty, I really don't. I don't know.
He was in a long-term
He's been in
relationship.
several long-term relationships.
He was. It's been a bit, but he was.
A little older than Gold. I also
that-
think dating to date someone for the long haul.
The way that he talks, though, it's not. It doesn't. It doesn't seem like
She almost got Gold mid-drink. That was about
very
that.
fruitful.
And then Drew throws me under the bus.
I don't think that's how it is with him.
I think some of that's just
He cleans it up a little bit.
I think that's Dusty's locker room talk, you know?
Oh, Lord.
Yeah, I would assume he
I'm
has
just
more of a
telling you, I think that's
filter.
what's
I
going
assume he has more of a filter in that setting.
I'm
I
with
don't know.
Aaron. I think he might just let it fly sometimes.
Okay. There's got to be times where things are going well, smooth sailing,
Yes.
so like an hour in, and then he says one thing that just derails the rest of
Text
it.
line says,
Hold on. In my defense, you do let it fly, Dusty, but I didn't say that was a bad thing. I said you got some riz. That's what I said. I said Dusty has maybe the most riz out of anybody.
He's saying you're out of pocket once an hour.
Every now and then you go there, but I think you got more riz than anybody else in this building.
Yeah.
Then I mean, this feels like covering his ass.
More riz than anybody in the building.
No, I'm telling you.
And he's the youngest person, so he's the closest to being able to say riz and not sound.
I feel like I can get away with riz. I mean, I gotta pick it right.
You gotta hit it
come
at the right moment.
It's gotta come across as clever.
Yeah.
And not forced.
Yeah.
You
like
know?
if I say
you can't.
It's out.
And you're just 3 years older than I am.
Almost 40-year-old guy with 2 kids. I can't say riz.
Yeah.
Unless I'm doing it to like embarrass.
Like
my
where
child,
you ended
know?
where you ended in slang was fire. Like you could still probably get away with, man, that food last night was fire. And then you're like, okay, that's fine. But that's your line.
I've been sticking with I like saying
earlier.
I like saying
in the bullpen, which is something that I use. That's why I grew up on was tight.
Can I still get away with dope? I like saying that.
Sure.
Yeah,
You're from that.
I'm cool
Bring
there.
it. It's retro.
Okay.
Dusty, I'm disappointed that you would feel that way because I wouldn't have tried to get Kay Adams to say that. I tried so hard to get Kay Adams to say that to give you a shout out.
Yeah, you did.
I did. I tried
Bless her
three
beautiful
times,
soul.
as a matter of fact.
Bless her beautiful soul. God. I'm
He
telling
was
you.
he was worried about it. He wanted to get you
I did.
like a
I was-
special treat from Kay Adams.
I didn't even care about getting her opinion on the Super Bowl anymore. I was like, let me get her to give a shout out to Dusty.
Oh, man. I just honestly feel, and I mean this with everything that I have, that if she spent an hour with 2 martinis with me, she'd be in.
She'd enjoy your company.
I think so.
She'd just give you a chance.
Yeah. I think she'd be like, wow.
Would you move to LA for her?
Yes.
Okay.
Of course.
I'm assuming her show's in LA, isn't it?
I would go
think
be an
so,
LA trash man, and that's not an offense to trash man. They make good money. But I would quit everything I do just to go be her husband.
I might be able to help you get her on After Hours. And I'm dead serious.
Okay.
Oh, well,
let's do it.
Dusty is interested. Because then you just need to like that one cut where she's like, "Oh, Dusty, you're so funny," and then you just live off of that for a little while. You
And
know?
there would be no locker room talk.
Coming up in about 7 minutes, we're going to talk about the rest of the AFC and what it does. But Dusty, for just a second, we gotta talk about the basketball
Oh, I
game.
thought we were going to break. I'm sorry.
No, it's okay. We got to talk about the basketball game for just
Okay.
a second from yesterday.
Yeah.
I would like your objective opinion on a couple of things. Not the actual play of basketball that I missed 2 free
Were
throws.
you being a
2
smart
layups.
ass when you said I'd be the favorite?
No, I honestly
Okay.
think you'd be the favorite.
Okay.
So
I
here's
just didn't know if you were being like
No,
the bigger man and be like, guess what? You
No.
win. I don't care. It's over.
I both think
Yeah.
my ranking in the odds from Spec are offensive and that you would be the favorite. Spec did that exact same thing to me before we did the 6'10 combine a few years ago.
And you won.
And I won it. And then the following year, I finished second only to Carrington and like by a few points.
Wait, Carrington's won a combine?
Carrington won a 6'10 combine.
And then we never
I won
did
a
it again?
6'10 and then we never did it again.
Interesting.
We just called it after that. So I feel like watching me back down Gold in some like squeezed court in which I clearly won the possession,
And it
even
was
if I didn't hit the layup.
And in the Big 12, that's 100% a block.
Yes, absolutely.
I mean, there's a
block.
whistle getting blown every
Flew-
time.
By the way, he flew out
Not
of
a good
there.
look.
He
Not a-
jumped out of his seat
Not a good look
in
for
that
Gold.
play.
Not
I'm
a good look
saying-
for you. You had a wide
No.
open 1-footer.
Very bad for me.
Yeah, dude.
Very bad for me.
Twice.
But I think I deserve to be somewhere in the middle of the rankings, okay? Like above Bob and Josh.
Yeah.
But below you and C-Dot and Rob.
How do we know C-Dot can play basketball? Have you ever seen him shoot a
He
basketball?
claims he can play basketball.
According to Aaron replied in the tweet comments, C-Dot can't hoop or something along those lines. I'm
okay.
paraphrasing, but he
I
was
played with
very
Rob.
blunt.
And I know Rob is better than
And
me.
he's 6'4", so there's a little bit of a threat
It
there.
helps.
Yeah.
That's an advantage.
Shot fakes help. Yeah, but I mean, our boss went like full Michael Scott. He put the only black guy in the office at the top of the list.
Do you think this is Michael Scott picking
Yes.
Stanley?
Who's to say that Jay Binkley isn't Kevin Malone at the end of the day, just raining 20-footers, being like, "Told you you're
That's
gonna put
Kling
me."
in this
And
area,
then
by the way.
Carrington
Kling is
goes
just
out there,
burying threes.
Carrington just goes out there and dribbles like Stanley. One of the most hilarious episodes ever.
I want to see, if Carrington's going to talk that much trash, he should put out a video today of him like just handling a ball.
When he
Put out a video of you just handling a basketball before you make these claims that him and Rob would win a game to 12 without us scoring a point.
I watched him throw a pitch out at Kaufman. It was decent. I've watched.
He
I
lollipopped it,
think
though.
that's being generous.
Yeah, I thought it was straight, but it was not a
decent.
You know,
got it there.
Yeah,
sure,
right. I watched him when he and Parkins were up at St. Joe early day of the drive, so throw it back, attempt a 40-yard dash to do like some sort of football drill.
Yeah.
Embarrassing.
So Cody, you want him to go through some sort of dribbling exercise. You want to go.
Yeah.
You want to have him do a couple of drills.
Just show me to put up 2 jumpers in a park and show me a little bit of the handles before you start claiming you're going to be his 12-zip.
Those 2 ball drills where you're doing like this and then cross them over.
Because I've played basketball with Rob, and while he is better than me in a 3-on-3 game, my team might beat Rob's. So he's not. And this is years ago now. I've gotten
apparently
older,
Carrington.
so is he.
Apparently, to the text line now, 2 different numbers said that he just talked smack for like 30 minutes, challenging you and I versus he and Rob. Which
I think we got that game.
Like everything in life, Carrington would just put all the pressure on Rob. He'd be like, Rob, here's an inbound pass. You're 6'5", put up a layup. Neither one of those guys are tall enough to guard you.
And Rob has an advantage there.
And then what I would do is I think out of the 2 of us being the better offensive player, I would let you just go be a pest on Rob and just get all around him.
You know how we
That's
solved
what they're
this, though?
underestimating. I am highly competitive, and I will shove you around. What are we going to do? Call a bunch of fouls?
Use the show money to buy one of those like $100 basketball goals and put it in our parking lot like old school days where you put water or sand on the back.
Oh, hell yeah.
And
That'd
just
be
go
fun.
shoot.
Do you know how we solve this? We all go. Because we can not only can we do 2-on-2 with you guys, we could also do the dunking, can do the shooting, can do the free throws. You go to the college basketball experience. I was there a couple weeks ago.
Dunking? How much are they
have
lowering
everything.
the hoop?
Oh no, Cody, they have 10, 9, 8,
Oh,
7
okay.
dunk
There we go.
contests to do a regular shooting contest, and then you guys can play 2-on-2. They got a regular big old court there. You guys can test your vertical jump, your wingspan.
I've just never seen Carrington do anything
Pop a
athletically that I feel comfortable with giving him the top of the bet.
Gold's biggest problem from an athletic standpoint. The reason why I beat him in the athletic
No, Alex
he's not
isn't coordinated.
Yeah.
Yeah.
His body still moves like a baby giraffe.
I think Drew would be pretty good. I think Rob and Drew would be a good team. Like I think that could be your championship team. Because I think Drew's still like athletic enough and can hoop. And then you have Rob, who's 6'4". Yeah, I mean, I just think that would be the duo. That'd be
I
like
did
the
play
NBA.
basketball in high school as
Yeah.
well, so I think that would help at least.
Of course it would.
Just let me put on. Just let me. Are we like in the street? Or are we like on a court where I can like put on some shoes that are like properly?
No, just tennis shoes, man.
Can we just open up a Foot Locker again and go play at the Foot Locker court where they
fine.
give you popcorn at the
We
end?
can find a court. We can find a court.
Or is that just for feet? It was one of those.
I'm going to get my
Famous
friends
footwear.
at
I don't
Gann
know.
Asphalt to stripe out a 3-point line for us.
You
Who's
could-
going to put out
perfect.
a 3-point line for us so we can play this thing straight? That's the way to do it. When we come back, there's no one in the AFC seemingly is giving up. They're all going for it. Who's getting closer to actually getting it right? We'll talk about that next.
Cody and Gold, brought to you by Heartland Men's Health, the leader in men's sexual health. Thousands of men have been successfully treated for low T, ED, and more, all with discretion and compassion. Make your appointment at heartlandmenshealth.com.
There is a back-to-back Super Bowl champion, and it is the Kansas City Chiefs.
On your official broadcast partner of the Chiefs, 610 Sports Radio.
3, 2, 1. It's mid-March. Time to pick your bracket, stock the fridge, and get ready for the dance. The Hy-Vee Market Grill is ready too, with smoking hot deals on your barbecue favorites. It's a slam dunk when you serve pulled pork sliders 2 for $3, a full slab of St. Louis-style ribs $15, and boneless chicken wings just $8 a pound. Add Hy-Vee coleslaw and potato salad for a buzzer-beating finish. Don't miss the Hy-Vee Market Grill Smokeout Thursday through Sunday at your Kansas City area Hy-Vee.
Hey, it's Kling. It's been documented. I have a severe case of spring fever right about now. Nothing goes better with a hint of warmer weather than a little barbecue. So head with me to Hy-Vee this weekend for their annual Smoke Out event. Get perfectly smoked and seasoned barbecue prepared by the Hy-Vee Market Grill. Dine in or carry out pork sliders, 2 for $3. Boneless chicken wings, $8 a pound, or a full slab of ribs for just $15. And don't forget to add all the sides to complete the meal. It's the Market Grill Smoke Out this Thursday through Sunday, only at Hy-Vee.
Congratulations to the Kansas City Chiefs. Another year, another Super Bowl. Did you know that the Chiefs won their Super Bowl in their first year of their partnership with Window World? And here we are, 5 years in. The Chiefs are a dynasty, and they're still going strong with Window World as the official window of the Kansas City Chiefs. Window World windows are one of 2 windows with the Good Housekeeping seal of approval, ranked number 1 in number of windows sold in the country by Qualified Remodeler magazine. In just over 20 years of business, they have improved the look and thermal efficiency of over 54,000 customers right here in Kansas City. So be sure to call this number, 816-799-0820. Learn more about the double-strength glass that gives a strength that's not commonly used in replacement windows. Learn more about their products that are not only durable, but offer security, beauty, and energy efficiency. Give my friends at Window World a call. That's 816-799-0820. 816-799-0820 to learn more, or also go on the website, windowworld.com.
This is the time of year to enjoy life. Stop letting that pain in your joints keep you from doing what you want to do this spring. Call QC Kinetics now. QC Kinetics is the nation's leader in regenerative medicine. I'm talking long-lasting joint pain relief with no surgery, no drugs, and no downtime. Pro athletes have been doing this for decades, but now this life-changing treatment is available for you. So you can walk and run and climb stairs and play golf and move again pain-free. No pain pills, no risky surgery. This is an all-natural solution. QC Kinetics has tens of thousands of satisfied patients who have reclaimed their mobility. Take action now and live your best life this spring and summer. And it's a great use of your tax refund check. Call QC Kinetics for a free consultation. 816-412-6299. That's 816-412-6299. QC Kinetics off 435 in State Line and in Gladstone. 816-412-6299.
There's nothing quite like the Honda Accord Hybrid and the CR-V Hybrid when it comes to exhilarating efficiency. With hybrid technology and thrilling capability, these vehicles deliver an electrifying performance on every drive. But what truly makes these hybrids special is the unwavering determination that inspires everything we do. Redefine your driving experience with Honda, KBB.com's best value brand of 2023.
Based on 2023 brand image awards from Kelly Blue Book. Visit KBB.com for more information.
Thanks for calling Discover. This is Gabby.
Hey, Gabby. It's Jennifer Coolidge. Hi. I'm so glad I reached you at 2 a.m.
Oh, of course. Anyone with a Discover card can call and talk to a real person 24/7. Now, how can I help?
Yeah, I used my Discover card to buy these yellow pleather pajamas, and I'm just not sure I'm pulling them off.
24/7 U.S.-based customer service. It pays to Discover. Limitations apply. Learn more at discover.com/creditcard.
At Target, our prices for Easter are so low, you can put all your eggs in one basket. Surprise them with Target exclusive Favorite Day treats, like our unique chocolate bunny and a cute basket, all from just $4. Add in some fun with a 6-pack of bubbles, 50-piece sidewalk chalk, and super soft stuffed animals, all from $5. And get great family picks with new Easter looks. It's easy with women's and girls' dresses for only $20 and under. Low prices on everything for Easter? Now that's Target.
COVID-19 has cast a spotlight on the stark inequalities that drive poverty. The poorest communities in the U.S. and around the world are suffering the most. Oxfam believes we can put systems in place to protect health and livelihoods in the future if we work together with dignity and compassion. Learn how you can help offer safety to the most vulnerable and fight for a more resilient future at oxfamamerica.org. Sponsored by Oxfam America.
This March, Wendy's has some amazing deals on their hamburgers made with fresh, never frozen beef.
Like a juicy Dave's single for $1 and a fresh $2 Dave's double with in-app offer.
It's such a good deal, we wrote a little ditty about it.
Get it for $1. Dave's single, order in the app. Dave's single, get it for $1. Choose wisely, choose Wendy's official hamburger March Madness.
Limited time offer. Participating U.S. Wendy's. See offer details and redeem at Wendy's app. Account registration required. Fresh beef available in the contiguous U.S. and Alaska.
You're listening to 610 Sports Radio from the Mission Plumbing, Heating, and Cooling Studios.
Hey, it's Royals first baseman Vinny Pasquantino, and you're listening to 610 Sports Radio.
KCSP Kansas City, WDAF HD2 Liberty. Always live on the free Odyssey app.
Back in here on Cody and Gold, 610 Sports Radio, 610sports.com. I think what everyone wants to see now is the 610 Sports Radio 1-on-1 or 2-on-2 tournament. I absolutely will play Carrington 2-on-2 in a game. Me and you versus Him and Rob?
For sure.
I don't think we're getting run out the building. I'll say
Why
that. We
would
might
we?
lose a close game, but we're not getting run out of the building.
Or maybe we could settle this in a hybrid way, and in the summertime, we finally all get invited to B-Dub's pool, and we play like 2-on-2 pool basketball.
Pool basketball?
There's nothing more competitive. I'm not even kidding you, dudes. There's nothing more competitive than like 4-on-4 water volleyball on like a Saturday or Sunday afternoon when you just got the cutwaters flowing, or like 2-on-2 pool basketball, or 1-on-1 / like 21 in the pool. And then you wake up the next morning and you can't even like get on the toilet because your legs are shot.
You just hurt so much.
What was I thinking?
That's my whole thing is I will try anyone, I think. Like, I don't know how to like be cool about it. You're like, Cody, relax. We're all just trying to have a good time. And I'm like, no, we're not.
Right.
I'm here to win. I didn't just play this game to goof around. I might as well actually try to do something.
I would absolutely. I think if you were doing a draft, Cody, you would go, I think, a lot higher on the list, on my list,
For
than
that reason?
maybe other people would, because you would be the person, as we were talking about during the break, you'd be the person that everybody loves to play with but hates to play against. For that reason, you would be
appreciate
picked
that.
very early
Pick
on.
the
I
better
think.
basketball players first. But when you start getting in the guys that you're not sure any of them can play basketball, choose me because I'm mean.
You'd be like the Timberlake of the KU basketball team right now. You'd be like, how the hell did this guy have 20 points tonight? Nobody guarded him. Like, the guy doesn't look like he can play basketball.
Yeah.
Surprise, I can shoot. Like, I've played driveway basketball before. I know how to, it's like.
Cody, your stat line would be PJ Tucker's. No points, 5 rebounds, 90 screen set, elite defense, and like 5 assists.
You're like the clean white Rodman. You have 0 points, but 18 rebounds.
Yeah, I'll get every board. God, this goes
Yeah, because
back
you
to-
can't make it from 1 foot. We clearly saw that.
No, couldn't do that.
That might have been less than a foot.
I can make one out of,
If it's the main one, that's all that matters.
Who cares? At the
you
right
know?
moment. Maybe I'm clutch,
And you know what,
Let's go that
Cody?
way.
You miss 100% of shots you don't take.
Exactly.
That's
Back to the
exactly
Michael
how
Scott.
that's exactly how the game would go. Game winner, everybody leaves you open, and you would drain a 3 to win it. That's how it would go.
And then you'd see Carrington look like Joel Embiid when Kawhi Leonard hit the 3 in the corner in the Eastern Conference
Just crying,
Finals.
devastated.
Why? Oh, you think that would lead Cody and Gold on a Monday? Absolutely.
100%.
Yeah,
Are you kidding me?
dude.
Are you kidding me? We're still waiting to see if the Chiefs are going to make another move today.
They are.
Dusty thinks so. Matt Verderame certainly sounded like he thought that a move was going to make, or they were going to make a move as well. But let's look at what happened in the rest of the
Somebody
AFC.
said Cody is Rudy.
All right, so the rest of the AFC's been making moves. Specifically, the Colts, Steelers, Ravens, Texans seems like they've been the busiest.
Yeah.
In that department so far. What I don't understand about the Steelers is, and then we can talk about why the rest of these teams are making these moves.
Sure.
Shouldn't someone in the AFC just give up? Like, I know that that's hard to do as a coach.
What,
give up.
tank?
Yes. The AFC is too good.
Dolphins
if you
did
don't
that a
have
couple
one of the
years
best
ago.
quarterbacks, bail. If you have a rookie quarterback on a rookie deal, you can't bail. So
Right.
those teams are stuck. If you are the Mahomes, Allen, Burrow camp, you can't. Lamar Jackson, you can't bail. Okay. But if you are stuck somewhere, if you are the Raiders, tank. Broncos, tank.
Seems they are.
Like, I mean, if you are in those other camps, bail on this plan. Why is it the Steelers are up there with what the Colts and Texans are doing?
It's their mentality. Like
Toughness.
There's two things we know that's going to happen in Pittsburgh. Okay? Russell Wilson is going to be a distraction story at some point. I don't know what that story is going to be. I don't know if it's going to be some cringy ass video of him going out and feeling all the feels in the middle of the field, doing fake high fives that you didn't. Denver, there was too many cringe moments, which is another lingo you can use these days. By the way, someone asked what Riz means. It means charisma. It's shortened for charisma. I didn't have to look that up.
We're
I
here
knew
for the
it.
people.
Yeah. And the other thing is Russell Wilson is going to do is he is going to cost Mike Tomlin his above 500 record. Can we agree? They're going to go 7-10 because this story with Pittsburgh gives me a lot of similarities to what the story was in Denver. Can Russell Wilson get Denver over the hump? And when Denver signed Russell Wilson to that ridiculous contract,
For no reason.
Everyone in the media, in the major market media, was like, Denver's going to compete with the Chiefs. And not once did they. Did they beat them this year? Yes. They got the Chiefs.
No.
Yeah. But they were never really a threat. And Denver got beat this year, 70-20? Russell Wilson put numbers up, then got benched because they didn't want to pay him because they didn't like him. Not only that, Sean Payton, if you remember, had Russell Wilson playing all the way to the 2-minute warning in the first preseason game. When in your life have you ever seen the starting quarterback for a team play to the 2-minute warning in a preseason game one, dude? So
he said all he needed to know.
And that was a new coach and a new regime, and he still wasn't liked. And you're going to go to a red ass and Mike Tomlin? You think Tomlin's going to put up with that? Are we sure Russell Wilson's the starter out of the gate? Because they went to the playoffs with Mason Rudolph and Kenny Pickett.
No, I think they're just hedging their bet.
Okay.
They made the best of the,
they're
they
not
didn't
paying
pay
him.
Gardner Minshew $25 million. They paid him $1 million.
Yeah, they paid him 1.2, and Denver's paying him, which you love to see it.
1.2 is a cuttable number. You could, if you just thought it was going poorly, you could kick him out of town.
And as soon as it feels cancerous, bye. But I just think that it's interesting because they just got rid of what some people would say is Pittsburgh's wide receiver one. Now, you can have an argument for George Pickens, but Deontay Johnson's been their wide receiver one for the last 2 years. May not have put up those numbers, hence why they were in the market to trade him, but he's been their wide receiver one. And now they have George Pickens, who is extremely unhappy in Pittsburgh last year. You think it's going to get better with Russ?
No.
Did it go well with Jerry Jeudy, who at the time, not now, but at the time, Jerry Judy's similarities were to what George Pickens could be.
Probably.
A top-end wide receiver. Jerry Jeudy didn't work out in Denver. He's just a jag, right? Just an average guy. Yeah. That's what Steve Smith called him. And now he's in Cleveland. So he had Sutton, Javonte Williams, and Jerry Jeudy, and it didn't work. Now he's got Freiermuth, a two-headed backfield, and Najee Harris and Ty Warren, who's a sophomore, and he's good.
I don't think Najee's very good.
And Najee's in a contract year, so we'll see how that plays out.
Yeah, that's fair.
And then you have George Pickens, who's supposed to be the stud out of Georgia, right? And you're putting a question mark on a guy in Russell Wilson who has significantly faded downward since his last year in Seattle?
The funny part about that Deontay Johnson thing is he got traded to the Panthers yesterday. For some reason, you didn't see it.
Yeah.
One, I would have done that deal. There's no doubt about it. And the fact that they were talking with the Chiefs absolutely makes sense based on the amount he's owed, the production he's generally had,
they got,
and the pick that the Chiefs would have had to give up to get him.
Like a sixth.
The Steelers are so delusional. They're now saying, we're not trading with other AFC contenders. I'm like, that's not you.
Yeah.
You're not included in this conversation. Why are you out here bothering yourself about trading to other AFC contenders? The part for me that always gets me on that is, if you liked him that much, you wouldn't let him walk. So if you think he's a flawed player, why do you care if he ends up with the Chiefs anyway?
Right.
Because you think they might make you look bad? I just don't think you can go about your life trading or choosing not to trade just because you're afraid of it. You told last night on After Hours, you were talking about how much you love the in-division trade stuff.
Love it.
And the Steelers won't even trade out inside the conference?
What was the toughest division in football last year? Drew, you know that answer.
In
the
North
NFL.
was the most competitive.
Oh, yeah, it's
North.
AFC North. And I think it's still going to be that way with the moves that have been made. I mean, it only gets
better because now.
Right.
Yeah.
So why are you worried about the Chiefs when you should worry about your own division first?
Yes.
Yeah, you know what I mean? I'm cool with where this topic started. Houston knows exactly what the hell they're doing. They got a quarterback that's going to be close to a top 5 quarterback in the league. We had this conversation last night. Do you take, right now, C.J. Stroud or Jalen Hurts?
Stroud, for sure.
Do you take C.J.
Some of that's just because I've seen Hurts fail.
Do you take C.J. Stroud or Trevor Lawrence?
Stroud.
So then your next conversation is, do you take Justin Herbert or C.J. Stroud?
C.J. Stroud.
So there's your top 5 topic, right? There's your top 5 quarterbacks. Because you know the top 5. It's Mahomes, it's Burrow, it's Allen, it's
Lamar,
and then is it CJ already?
Yes.
Okay, so you have to win
as of right now.
I mean, that's what I'm saying.
So.
Because we just had the other 3
I
conversations
tossed between him and Herbert, but yeah, that's
what I'm saying. Wherever you put Herbert, wherever you put Hurts, who was a top 5 last year, going to the Super Bowl, and then completely just completely went down the drain this year in rankings. I think he's still top 10, obviously, but the Texans know what they have. They have a very young, talented offense. Damian Pierce is under a rookie contract. C.J. Stroud's under a rookie contract. And you know C.J. Stroud's getting $400 million, probably, with the cap going to go up.
Good news. They don't have to talk to him for another
2
year
years.
and a half.
Yeah, year and a half. Or if he does what he did this year again, or last year, this year, you're in the same boat that Mahomes is in. Look, I took you to the playoffs. I won Rookie of the Year, which Mahomes didn't do, but he won rookie. He would have.
He won MVP. He won the better award.
He won MVP and Offensive Player of the Year, threw 50 touchdowns and 5,000 yards, and then went to a Super Bowl and said, okay, do everything you want, but I'm getting paid. C.J. Stroud, rookie contract. Tank Dell, rookie contract. Nico Collins still got one more year left, contract year, I believe, this year. Maybe I'm wrong on that. Maybe he signed an extension. Dameon Pierce, rookie contract. You signed Dalton Schultz as your anchor of your tight end on that offense, who's, I think, vastly underrated. And they're going to win now. They're going to win their division. Their division is not scary. The NFC South is not scary to them.
They're in the same position as...
Titans are in a reset.
Colts are good.
They're in the same position as the Bengals were in 2020, going into 2021 is, hey, we have the quarterback. We've got all the young pieces. We're doing some stuff in free agency. They've got that 2 to 3 year window, essentially, until they have to pay C.J. Stroud, and then we'll see where they go from there. But this is their, I would say that this is their time to, if they're going to get it done, this is the best chance they'll have maybe in C.J. Stroud's career from the standpoint of, we are paying him cheap money. We can go and make the moves. They've made the moves. The division is weaker. It makes a lot of sense where I think, I know that we talked about Jacksonville last year having the 1 seed. I don't know if you can say Houston is going to win 13 or 14 games, but I think you can talk yourself into them being a top tier seed, a 1 or a 2 in the AFC, just given the schedule and given how the team is.
Who's the AFC South play this year?
That I don't know.
So
probably the East.
I think it's the East.
Probably the East, because the West and North play each other, so the South and the East have to play each other, right? Is that how that works?
I think that sounds like the. I mean,
because the South isn't playing the West, the West is playing the North. The North isn't playing the South, if they're playing the West. So the East and South have to play each other.
The
other thing too is
they're playing the South.
Yes.
They're playing the Falcons, Saints.
Oh, you're talking
Panthers.
about NFC.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
They're also playing the NFC North.
Yeah.
But you look at the AFC teams that have been the most aggressive, and the top 2 that have been the most aggressive are 2 teams that drafted quarterbacks 1 and 2 last year that are under rookie contracts that believe their quarterback can get them to where they need to go. And they've drafted Josh Downs in Indianapolis. They did not let Michael Pittman Jr. go anywhere. They gave Jonathan Taylor, the contract after an awkward year last year.
Yeah, that one.
Somehow
that contract still made no sense to
and
me.
then running backs ended up getting paid this offseason as if that was kind of like the same thing as, we call offensive offsides. Running backs don't. They still get paid. They do because they're not getting paid, and then all of a sudden they did. The other thing is interesting is that Anthony Richardson showed promise, and then obviously the injuries happened, and he was out for the rest of the year. But the 2 most aggressive teams know they can compete for their division or at least be playoff teams because the Colts damn near made the playoffs. Gardner Minshew almost got them in the playoffs. Eventually, Cleveland would get that in there, Miami and the AFC North would pack the playoffs. But these teams know what they have, and they're doing what the Chiefs did. They're putting all their chips in their basket on a rookie contract, but they've got to win. And that's what makes this so much greater for a Chiefs fan or a supporter of the Kansas City Chiefs, if you are one, that the Chiefs did it, not only under the rookie contract, but
now
they did it after the first wave, and they're still doing it. So teams are trying to figure out how to take that strategy and do it because they know that you've got to have the most important piece, which is first, that promising quarterback. C.J. Stroud showed us a lot last year, and he's got a lot of tape out there. We'll see what he does in his sophomore year in the league. And Anthony Richardson, a rookie who showed promise in that team that was starting to turn the corner as a rookie quarterback, coming back and going to try to play a full slate next year. Both teams have been extremely active.
Trash of the day.
Oh, boy.
So normally we would do this like, hey, Florida man tries to wrestle alligator, gets arm bit off stuff. You know how the trash of the day works.
Yeah, instead it's a Jackson County man.
Jackson County man. Resident of Lee Summit.
Yep.
Is being accused of making his office place stink.
Yep.
Look, Dusty, I'm talking about you. What happened this morning is that you were called out by Bob and Bink and specifically B-Dub, who seemed borderline ready to fight you.
He is still
over
pissed.
an onion incident. So what we actually need is a ruling here. Dusty, explain. Okay, so first off,
do we want
the
to bring
studio
up...
stunk. It stunk of onions.
It was bad.
Everyone knows it stunk of onions. But in your defense, do you think you did enough to try to prevent that from happening?
Of course. I now own Trash of the Day because it's kind of ironic that I'm Trash of the Day because I end every single show on After Hours, and the real ones know. I always say, go do something nice for somebody because you never know. It could change their day, month, week, or year. It's cool to care.
Yeah.
Be kind, stay safe, Kansas City. And that's how I sign off every single night.
That's a nice way to sign off.
I try to put out a positive message. The microphone is more powerful than the grenade. I heard that somewhere in college. Might have still been hungover or stoned. Either way, I was talking about how I enjoy tacos on Monday night. It is my favorite food. All variations. There's not a better food, in my opinion, than tacos. I can eat them 7 days a week.
Soft shell, hard shell, street tacos.
Taco Bell taco.
Doesn't matter.
And of course,
there's very few bad tacos.
And of course, the text line, who are food connoisseurs and experts, said, Dusty, you got to stop eating Taco Bell tacos. I said, well, sometimes it's 12 o'clock and I've had a few or been overserved by myself and I've got to DoorDash it. And sometimes a soft taco or a double-decker taco just hits. And then I had mentioned that my favorite tacos in the city were San Antonio.
Okay.
So, loyal listener, good friend of mine, Robert, a.k.a. the Aussie.
Yeah.
He goes out and gets tacos on Tuesday. Just so happens he goes to the same familiar place that I love the most. Out of a nice gesture, doing something nice for somebody, he brought up tacos for myself.
Very nice.
And he said, hey, you and your producer enjoy these. And I said, okay. Meanwhile, Carrington, Rob are still in the studio. And Carrington, oh, you got tacos? I was like, yeah, man, I'm going to share some. Oh, thanks, man. So in one box were the tacos. Carnitas, beef, chicken, pork. And in the other box was your toppings. Your pico, your onions, your cilantro, your limes, and an ass load of sauces. And what I did is let Carrington get one. I took it out of the studio. I took it into the production studio where Drew, P-Dub, and all those guys make it happen. And I said, hey, guys, get you a taco. Rob, make sure you get one out here before you leave. JT, grab yours, and when you're done, I'll grab mine or whatever. We did the first segment, our lead-in. At the break, I went and got my 2 tacos. I dressed them, and I threw them away. The rest of the stuff I threw away in the outside trash. Out of the studios. Not in this one, not in that one.
But they were in there for a little while.
For us, 10 minutes is a segment. And then they were gone. The other thing is, someone shared a nice gesture with me. I then piggybacked on that and did the same. And then I did another random act of kindness, showing a lot of integrity here from Integrity Farms, and I threw away all the stuff in the outside trash.
Because you know what it's like for people to leave food
I've been
the
here
studio.
before. Ben Heisler, he didn't eat all of his salmon one shift doing the drive, and I had to come in the next morning and do Fesco, and he threw away a half a salmon.
In the studio trash?
Smelt like
this
a complete...
This is a closed door, by the way.
And
there's no
stunk.
air movement.
I mean, it is just stale salmon smell. You could imagine, right? You don't need to be there. You can taste that smell in your car right now if you're driving. And when I got here today, and I got like 4 texts this morning. Oh, God, the guys are pissed at you from the morning show. Said it smells like onions everywhere. Robert texted me. There's onion smell everywhere. They're pissed at us. I said, look, man, I did everything I was supposed to do. What happened with, who was producing or whatever and how long they were nursing the taco, that's not on me. But I went out of my way to throw it away out of the studio. I went out of my way to share. I could have ate 8 tacos. Could have smashed them. Honestly could have done it. Didn't do it. Shared it. Shared the wealth.
So who's at fault here then? Someone's at fault for making the place
I don't
stick
know. Our
onions.
cleaning crew there's no onion in studio because even Bob said when we were transferring through the shows, and Bob goes, I know there's no onions. I searched every trash can because of course Fesco did. Because we've known Fesco to be pissed before by seeing people leave beers with Bink in the studio, right? And then here I get the shame of being a nice guy. So if I've got to be another nice guy and take the title of Trash of the Day on March 13th, I ain't done.
I think B-Dub he's mad at you, Dusty, because
you supplied the tacos.
Because you supplied the tacos. He's mad at JT. He said he came in.
Former intern JT is in trouble with B-Dub?
He came in, and it's sticky. The whole board is sticky. And
yeah,
the whole board is sticky. There's food in the trash can in here. Oh. So out of all places, you do not put it in this studio.
So you found your twerp.
So I think it is JT.
All right, so JT is the one to blame.
He said
and I didn't say it.
The keyboard is sticky.
The problem is normally the messiness comes from the drive. Let's just be honest.
Traditionally,
the mess in this studio, main studio, is the drive's fault.
Yeah. Well, I mean, dude, I have literally, you can show the video. There are 14 pins in here that have been chewed to hell.
Oh, God.
Okay. And
so if you're watching on the camera,
and we know who does that. Okay. We know who that is. At least I'm not leaving these nasty ass things in here.
Are you touching those with your bare hands?
No,
when you put them in there?
Absolutely not. I go to the part that's not chewed. By the way, Carrington has a chewing problem when it comes to pins. And so at least I'm not leaving those in there. I'm not a nasty ass.
B-Dub did come back in here like 30 minutes ago, and he came in here for 2 seconds. Yep, still stinks, and just left.
Yeah.
I can't even tell anymore. I can't.
Hey, you
got to
get you know what, Dusty? Even though I think JT's more to blame than you.
Oh, I'm not to blame at all.
I think he's absolutely more to blame than you. Just get a Glade plug-in for the studio.
We can't even get a TV that looks good.
Just get a Glade plug-in for the studio for the next couple of days, and you're in the clear. Or a candle. Go get a $5 candle from Target. You know, let it stay lit for a little bit back there with Drew.
Yeah,
trying to eat up some of that odor.
We need like a Scentsy and a diffuser in there. I have both in my bedroom at the house.
Yeah, candles, diffusers, all those things.
Diffusers are great. Diffusers that you turn on right before you're ready to go to bed, and that eucalyptus smell comes out. Good night, Cincinnati. By the way, the Chiefs are bringing back Mike Pennell. I figured somebody might want to hear that.
Yeah, the news broke. Drew Tranquill actually
told you they were going to do something today.
In his press conference, Drew Tranquill was the first one to report. I think he just kind of let it slip.
Source: Drew Tranquill. Reliable.
Yeah, pretty good. Pretty good. So, yeah, he broke the news that
the big man,
that Mike Pennell.
I told you something was going to happen today.
The highest-rated Pro Football Focus player for the Chiefs is back with the Chiefs overall. Let's talk about another player who could come back. That's L'Jarius Sneed. We'll talk about where his contract stands now that Mahomes moved money around.
Cody and Gold, brought to you by Heartland Men's Health, the leader in men's sexual health. Thousands of men have been successfully treated for low T, ED, and more, all with discretion and compassion. Make your appointment at heartlandmenshealth.com.
There is a back-to-back Super Bowl champion, and it is the Kansas City Chiefs.
On your official broadcast partner of the Chiefs, 610 Sports Radio.
Hi, it's Trey Smith, and in order for our team to get a victory, we need honesty, teamwork, work ethic, humility, and the golden rule. That's why my truck is from the dealer that embodies all those values, Victory Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram. And Victory Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram also supports Giving Hope, whose sole purpose is to feed and clothe the needy in Wyandotte County and beyond. Giving back in the highest integrity, that's how Jeff and his team do business. For your next vehicle, visit or go to victorychrysler-dodge-jeepram.com.
Look, we were just talking about playing a little basketball outside. Maybe have my friends over at GAN draw us out a three-point line, free throw line. They also said, he told me they could do pickleball courts. So if we're looking for that kind of thing, we might be covered. But for those concrete needs, for those parking lot needs, GAN Asphalt and Concrete can be your company. They've been serving the Kansas City area for 30 years. That's right, celebrating their 30th anniversary this year of working with local companies just like you here in the Kansas City area. What they pride themselves in is they're one contractor, all things parking lot. If you've ever had any small work done in your house, you know what it's like to have to work through I got to get the tile guy, and I got to get the floor guy, and I got to get the drywall guy. No, if it's parking lot related, they can take care of it. If it's full replacement, if it's just repair, it doesn't matter. Whether you have those crumbling curbs or those big potholes in your parking lot, or you just need a fresh seal coat or crack filling or all of the above, they can take care of your project from start until finish. Don't let those maintenance projects get worse. Make the project more expensive down the road, and take care of your parking lot, the absolute first thing any company might see about yours. Go to GANasphalt.com, GANN asphalt.com, or give them a call, 816-354-1214.
Pass to Jalen Rose. Dish to Kevin Garnett. Or take it to the rim yourself for a dunk. Play BetMGM's Fast Break free-to-play game daily and get a B-ball reward if you score a basket. Simply access the Fast Break game in your BetMGM promotion section. Play the game and see if you win. Your prizes could include bonus bets or boost tokens for NBA and college basketball bets. There are endless ways to enjoy hoops with BetMGM, and the action on the court just got even more exciting with this daily chance to dish and swish. Go to your account today and every day throughout the season for the Fast Break free-to-play game. Take your shot and see if you score.
BetMGM and GameSense remind you to play responsibly. See BetMGM.com for terms. 21 plus only. Kansas only. Existing customer offer. All promotions are subject to qualification and eligibility requirements. Rewards are non-withdrawable bonus bets that expire in 7 days. Please gamble responsibly. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. In partnership with Kansas Crossing Casino and Hotel.
eBay Motors is here for the ride. So minivans, sedans, JDMs, roll out. Go ahead, feel your engine. Admire that perfectly installed exhaust. Your vehicle's moving along this freeway like it was made from fresh installs and a whole lot of love. And with eBay Motors, you get over 122 million parts to keep it running. And with eBay Guaranteed Fit, they'll be the perfect fit every time. Plus, at these prices, well, we're burning rubber, not cash. Keep your ride or die alive at ebaymotors.com. Eligible items only. Exclusions apply.
Occupied. Hurry up.
Go away. I'm enjoying my hot shower.
Yeah, we'd all like to. Hot water hug.
That's it. Family meeting.
We can all enjoy long, steaming, hot showers, even the last in line, which it seems is always me. But go ahead, have that imaginary argument of what you should have said. Take your time. With our new high-efficiency Navien tankless water heater, I'll never take a cold shower again. Visit tanklessmadesimple.com to learn more.
The Chiefs, the Royals, and this community all rise together no matter what comes our way. We've worked, battled, and overcome together.
They've done it! The Royals are World Series champions!
Kansas City wins the game! Champions of Super Bowl 58!
Now we can keep it going. Vote yes on question 1 to keep the Chiefs and Royals in Jackson County with a better deal. Over $1 billion in private investment with real benefits for every community. Growing small businesses, creating good-paying jobs with no new taxes. Vote yes on question 1 on April 2nd to keep the Chiefs and Royals here in Jackson County. Let's keep it going. Paid for by the committee to keep the Chiefs and Royals in Jackson County. Whitney Beaver, Treasurer.
For more than half a century, contractors and trade professionals have relied on WeatherGuard for heavy-duty truck and van storage equipment, not just to protect their valuable tools, but to protect their professional reputations. For pros, the WeatherGuard badge makes a statement about what drives them. It says, "Bring it on. Been there. Done that. We've got your back," without saying a word. And the folks at WeatherGuard, they're just as driven as the hardworking pros they serve. See what it means to be driven at weatherguard.com.
eBay Motors is here for the ride. Go ahead, feel your engine. Admire that perfectly installed exhaust. Your vehicle's moving along this freeway like it was made from fresh installs and a whole lot of love. With eBay Motors, you get over 122 million parts to keep it running. And with eBay Guaranteed Fit, they'll be the perfect fit every time. Plus, at these prices, well, we're burning rubber, not cash. Keep your ride or die alive at ebaymotors.com. Eligible items only. Exclusions apply.
So I've been telling you about not needing contacts or glasses for quite some time now, thanks to DuraVision, thanks to a phone call that I finally made. I didn't put it off anymore. A free consultation at DuraVision, and you can schedule that on the phone at 913-491-3330 or go online to duravision.com. And I get asked about the cost of the LASIK procedure, and is it worth it financially as well? And what's really neat is if you go to Duri's website, duravision.com, they actually have a calculator you can customize to lay out the long-term expense that you have with glasses and contacts. So right now, if you go there and you think you're going to use contacts or glasses for another 15 years, you can select that. Annual cost of vision insurance, let's say it's $125. And an exam, another $125. Glasses, maybe $200. Contact lenses, $250. $100 for the contact lens solution. All of a sudden, it might be $12,000 you're going to spend over the next 15 years. So it ended up being a great financial decision as well. You can make that same decision by going to duravision.com or give them a call, 913-491-3330.
At Target, our prices for Easter are so low, you can put all your eggs in one basket. Surprise them with Target-exclusive Favorite Day treats, like our unique chocolate bunny and a cute basket, all from just $4. Add in some fun with a 6-pack of bubbles, 50-piece sidewalk chalk, and super soft stuffed animals, all from $5. And get great family picks with new Easter looks. It's easy with women's and girls' dresses for only $20 and under. Low prices on everything for Easter? Now that's Target.
The 610 Sports Radio phone line is brought to you by Onder Law Injury Lawyers. Visit getjim.com.
Chiefs coverage brought to you by Max Motors. 9 major vehicle brands to choose from. MaxMotors.com. Going on at all Max Ford locations.
Love it or trade it now.
0% for 72 months on new 2023 Ford F-150s in stock.
Pick your model, choose your color.
In Harrisonville, Manhattan, Richmond, Butler, and Nevada.
Hurry in while selection is best.
With approved credit expires March 31st, 24.
Chiefs Kingdom. This is Mitch Holtis, and welcome into the Chiefs Red Half Hour on Cody and Gold. Every day at 11:30 on your official broadcast partner, the Chiefs, 610 Sports Radio.
Sorry, I got distracted by something. We will get to the Chiefs in just, I don't know, like 2 minutes, I swear.
Oh, you're going to go here?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'll let you man this ship.
So the text line says from the 641, hey, how was trash of the day not Aroldis Chapman? And I thought, oh no. He's had so many run-ins of being like a bad person. Glad he's off the Royals. What did he do this time? As I had not seen the Aroldis Chapman story yet. Just how occasionally, I had dance class or whatever. I just got busy, didn't run into it.
Right.
There is a video of him on social media groping an elderly woman. Some people were saying maybe it's his mom. Some are not saying that. Where he's like squeezing her boob. And so I don't know what's going on in this video. What the hell's wrong with Aroldis Chapman? It doesn't look whether it's his mom or not. There's something weird happening here, and I don't like any of it. Had you seen that video?
I saw the post where his hand is uncomfortably close to her.
Well, he does he borderline does like a honka situation, Dusty. So I mean, it's worse than just the photo.
Right.
I'm just gonna say it's worse than that. So I guess save yourself the trouble.
It's not good.
No. What is wrong with him?
There's just there's 16 other places you could put your hand, and 8 of them are 2 different areas of the shoulders. 1 is not in the middle of the breast. That's just me.
That's like towards the end of the list, man.
Yeah.
Of every single place in which to put your hands on somebody who you're just like laying next to, taking a video, and then why post it?
I don't know.
How does that get posted? First, don't do it. But second, how does that even end up on the internet? It's a whole other thing. So I guess Google Aroldis Chapman if you're in for, you just want to hurt yourself on a Wednesday. There you go.
Somebody said Aroldis Chapman is touching 75. Yikes. Elbow injury? No, much worse. That from Joe Sheehan. I don't know who that is, but that's a Twitter name.
That's a pretty good. He's one of the original baseball references.
You know what, though? But let's not trash Aroldis Chapman too much, because thankfully the Royals picked him up and then got Cole Reagans for him, who is now your ace.
Yeah.
So, I mean,
true.
Much respect for that.
Yeah. Getting Cole Reagans, it turns out, I got roughed up a little bit yesterday. That I absolutely wouldn't turn down if we got to go back to it. Let's get back to the Chiefs, though. Because I guess it is technically the Chiefs right half hour, so we should get in there. Snead yesterday was at a charity event. And, obviously so many of these guys do such a great job. And that was nice. Chris Jones, who's talking about what he's going to do with, he's like, is there anything you really want to buy? You got all this money again, but I guess you already had money. Did you need more? But L'Jarius Sneed was talking about whether or not he was going to be in Kansas City. And with the restructure with Mahomes, that does seem to be a little more possible. Here's what Snead had to say about wanting to stay here.
My life is it's fun, but it's very stressful right now, too. I don't get sleep at night. I have a kid, newborn. I don't get sleep. I got the free agency. It's a lot going on, but, I'm taking it all in at one time.
So what do you hope happens come July, mid-July, whenever you hope for that long-term deal?
Oh, man, hopefully I'm with the Chiefs. Hopefully I'm still here. Hopefully we go back and repeat.
The thing, I was trying to decide, we asked this question with Chris Jones in the contract. What's the downside to keeping Snead? What's the risk to keeping Snead? If they keep him for one more year, I actually think there's no downside at all. I don't think he's going to regress as a player in that situation. And if last year's performance, the best of his career, was based on contract year, good news for you. You're getting contract year round 2 for L'Jarius Sneed. For a 1-year deal, there's no risk. For a multi-year deal, I think there's constant risk because corners fall off of a map all the time, constantly. It's why I'm afraid to pay them a lot of times because of how quickly they can slide off the mark. But for 1 year, is there any risk in keeping Snead other than it means it limits your financial ability to be better in other areas?
I think it's interesting what Matt Verderame said earlier, because I was like, why not just give Snead a 2-year deal? He's like, nah, I know where you're at. 2 years would hurt the cap too much, but a 3-year deal would work. That still puts him at the age of like 31, and I understand that's like the Mendoza line of the NFL. Like once you get there, it's like, I don't know.
For most players, you got to be starting worrying.
But he could still make more money than he's ever made in his life, being a 4th-round pick on a rookie contract. The Chiefs give him the 3-year deal. They've cleared the cap space to do so. And then you get a chance at a 3-peat, maybe a 4-peat, maybe a 5-peat. I'm just joking, kind of, I think.
Honestly, there's got to be at least 5% level of seriousness with that,
Yeah, I mean, you got to throw it out there, right? I mean, you've seen stranger things happen, right? They got embarrassingly beat by the Raiders on Christmas Day, and everybody thought, maybe this is the year they lose early in the playoffs, and then they never lost again. So it's like, I don't really know. But, yeah, Snead's interesting because a guy that is probably going through a lot emotionally and mentally because his life is about to change in a blink of an eye, seemed pretty cool, calm, and collected in that audio. A newborn, you know about newborns, you ain't sleeping for 6 months.
No.
You right? Not only that, your name is...
Ask Spec.
Right? He's done it now twice.
He's right in the middle of it. He's in the thick of it.
And the problem with this is that I do truly believe there's more to guys on this team wanting to three-peat more than people might give it credit for.
Of course you should want to.
Nobody's ever done it in the NFL. I believe only 4 franchises in sports have done it.
You know how many have been to the Super Bowl after repeating it, like back-to-back?
What, 1?
0.
None
have even made it back to the game with a chance to do it. Of those 7, I think it's 2 made it to the title game.
Right.
A couple missed the postseason, and most got knocked out in the division round.
Because Dallas won 3 in 4 years?
Mm-hmm.
Pittsburgh won 4 in 4 years. They went back-to-back, or 5 years. They went back-to-back, lost back-to-back.
Yep.
Right? San Fran went 88, 89. Patriots went 2003, 2004.
But nobody made it back to the Super
Denver,
Bowl
96, 97, 97, 98. Chiefs. Yeah, and I think that there is some sort of logic into that point that I think L'Jarius Sneed, especially when you see Chris Jones get his money, and then you see slowly but surely the writing on the wall. They bring back Drew Tranquill, good contract. They bring back Mike Pennell, great contract. Highest rated defensive lineman of the Super Bowl, right? Good stat to have.
Just a good.
So now all of a sudden it's they're spending money, but they've only spent the big money on one guy now, and there's still a lot of money to be spent. The other thing that I think is interesting of note when it comes to the Kansas City Chiefs was the panic button tapped a ton early in the season? Yes. But then I think they found out what they had in Rashee Rice as they let him kind of flourish to his capability, and he'll probably get a lot more action going into his next year in the season. And they kind of eased back a little bit. We can all agree they were never going to get Mike Evans. They were never going to get Michael Pittman Jr. And the 3 names that currently are available that give a lot of attention are Curtis Samuel, Hollywood Brown, and Calvin Ridley. Who's to say you can't give L'Jarius Sneed a 3-year deal and then go get one of those guys?
That's, I guess, the question about the Mahomes restructure. Is that took place yesterday. If you missed it, Mahomes restructured over $21 million of his contract. So the Chiefs are cap compliant. Every team has to be cap compliant by 3 o'clock today. The Chargers, who have yet to make a move, are currently $25 million over the cap. So we presume at some point they'll do something.
Yeah.
It's if you're not doing it to give Sneed the money, then why did you move the amount of money for $15 million? The only answer to be wide receiver.
Mm-hmm.
And the only wide receiver that would require you to move that amount of cap space, Dusty, is what, Hollywood Brown? Is there another receiver left that would even justify needing to move that amount of money around? Because you could have moved 15, 16 million, 10, 11. Because any amount, this is the thing that's important to note about moving Mahomes' money around. The bigger amount you move now, the harder it'll be to move it in the future and to have the cap space to move it in the future. Now, the cap could just keep exploding and maybe you can outrun it for a while.
Yeah.
But it gets harder and harder the more you move. That's why last year, after they gave Chris Jones, they moved less money last year.
Right.
Because they were like, well, we don't need any more, so we'll just move the amount we need. The Chiefs tend to move the amount on Patrick Mahomes' contract that they need.
I think the other thing that happened last year with the Chris Jones negotiations, Brett Veach knew what this year was going to be with the raise in cap space. And it was basically if you trust me, I trust you, we'll give you that contract next year. Just get through this year. We'll pack it heavy with incentives.
But we got to wait a year.
And you just got to trust us to wait. You just got to wait, and then you'll get paid. I promise you. There's even some cute little number in there at $95 million. Wasn't Bobby Witt Jr. $7,777,770, whatever it was.
Chris Jones, 95. That's a Taylor Swift move.
Right, yeah. So,
line up your numbers.
And the thing about that is I think with L'Jarius Sneed, it's that I think is where the conversation is, because you also have to look at, if we're going to put in Willie Gay conversation of, was the injury report there? Are the Chiefs seeing something in L'Jarius Sneed's report where you do have a knee injury? Because I remember, and I know you hate Derek Jeter, but I remember watching the Derek Jeter documentary on HBO, and he was one of the most polarizing moments of my career was when I had finally arrived, and then my arbitration year hit, and here comes my bosses telling me everything that I don't do well to powder keg their side of the argument.
God, it's such an awkward
And
system.
it's brutal, because then you look at L'Jarius Sneed, and the Chiefs are well, technically you weren't all-pro. Technically you had a knee injury. And you're approaching 30. And it's yeah, I shut down every wide receiver one in the year. That you did do. Can you do it next year and the year after that and the year after that? Are you worth $65+ million? Do we want to give you a 3-year deal? Do we trust in Trent McDuffie, Justin Watson, and Jalen Watson and Williams? Maybe. I don't know. Or do the Chiefs look at this draft and say, everybody's going to take a quarterback, wide receiver, tight end, and an offensive tackle. We're going to take a cornerback at pick 32, and then we're going to take a receiver in the second round. And then we're going to go sign a receiver, and we're going to trust that's going to work, and we're going to move McDuffie over, and we're going to get a pick for Snead. And with that pick for Snead, we're going to get somebody like a receiver, lineman, or something like that can fill the void where they need to be filled.
It's just harder because they've, like, if you said, hey, have they ever let a player go of his caliber? Yeah, a bunch of times.
Yeah.
They let go of Charvarius Ward. They traded Tyreek Hill. There's no level of player the Chiefs have not been willing to part with, whether it be the like normal level player like Agba,
Right.
or a superstar player like Tyreek Hill, or Pro Bowl caliber talent like Ward, or maybe like they've shown a willingness to let all these guys go. It's just if they're moving that money from Mahomes, it's for something.
Right.
You only move the amount of money you need every year in order to keep your cap situation perfect. And look, I'm happy that the Chiefs are in the cap situation. Someone's like, are you kind of excited to see who the Chargers have to cut? Like, yeah, kind of.
Yeah.
I kind of want to see who of the Keenan Allen, Mike Williams, Bosa, and Mack camp they trade or have to just cut bait with because the cap numbers are too high, especially because it's a new regime. New GM, new coach. They're not loyal to any of those 4 dudes. I wouldn't be surprised to find out all 4 were gone. I think it'll be something like 2 out of 4 or 3 out of 4, but
is it 3 o'clock Central Time or 3 o'clock Eastern Time?
Central.
So it's 3 o'clock today.
Yeah.
If Keenan Allen is traded to the Chiefs, the perfect tweet is somebody's about to be exposed. Because that's what he said when they traded Tyreek Hill to the Dolphins.
I remember that.
And since then,
Did he
they've read
delete
off
that
2
tweet?
titles. Hopefully. Like, if he did, it's still out there because people keep receipts.
I
But
think sometimes we make fun of people for deleting tweets. Man, if I had that bad of a take, I mean, you might keep the screenshot, but do I really need that up on the internet forever?
Right. And the other thing that we were talking about as we're in the Chiefs Red Half Hour here is we talk about, and this will be good to get Drew's take, how well do you think Tyler Boyd fits into this offense?
I think he fits in very well just from what he brings. And I think that one of the goals for the offense is to let Rasheed do a little bit more within the offense. I think drafting a wide receiver and if they can, whoever they bring in is going to help Rasheed do a little bit more of what they want, run some more of those deep routes, get him a little bit further down the field, where Tyler Boyd can be the yak guy that he always has been throughout his entire career. He'll run the 5-yard in, get him the ball, and he'll find a way to make something happen with it. I mean, he's the reliable guy that they
Or is he too much like
Rasheed be.
MVS?
I don't think, no.
Okay.
I don't think Tyler Boyd's at all like MVS from what he brings, because Tyler Boyd's not a speed guy. He is a 3rd down and 5. You need a catch, you can have it, go to Jamar
But
or
isn't
T.
that Rice
but
now?
Tyler, yes, but I think that in the Bengals offense, you could throw it to Jamar and T, and it worked fine, but you also had Tyler Boyd, who was a 3rd guy that had reliable hands and could catch the ball and get the first down, strong enough to get the first down. Doesn't fumble really at all whatsoever either. It adds another reliable weapon to the offense, I think. Not that Darnell Mooney isn't that, or that Curtis Samuel isn't that, but for what Tyler Boyd brings, it's a guy that Patrick Mahomes can trust other than Travis Kelce and Rashee Rice 9.9 times out of 10.
By the way,
I think he fits in well.
Text line, just for clarification from the 816. Hey, wait, the Titans offered a 3rd-round pick for Snead. There are multiple reports
They don't have a 3rd round
that the
pick.
Titans are interested in L'Jarius Snead, but it is important to note that while a 3rd-round pick was discussed, you're right, the Titans don't have a 3rd-round pick. The truth is the Titans don't want to give up their 2nd-round pick because they don't want to go a whole day not picking in the 2nd and the 3rd, which means if the Titans are the team, it's probably a pick swap. A 3rd-round pick being discussed does not mean the Titans' 3rd-round pick. That would hypothetically mean the Titans' 2nd-round pick and the Chiefs' 3rd-round pick. So, or they have to trade somebody else for a 3rd-round pick or pick swap or all these other things. I just don't think they want to give up. They don't want to not pick in the 2nd and in the 3rd round just to get Snead. I still think the Falcons make the most sense out of anybody available to trade for L'Jarius Snead. But that also goes back to why they did the contract the way that they did. They don't want to be forced to trade L'Jarius Snead because people think they need to cap-wise.
Somebody says, please not Keenan Allen. He's a diva. That would be so amazing, though, because he screams the perfect case scenario when it comes to That's Pete texting. He has the text line on his laptop. By the way, I didn't respond to that person who has my name. I just want to let you guys know that that's the thing that happens.
Wait.
Pete Sweeney stepped in.
You think that that's who's responding to that person?
I know that's who it is. Pete's always that guy. So, by the way, if you see my name respond to you in all caps, Pete Sweeney.
Wow.
He's a vigilante on the text line.
I didn't know he was a text line vigilante.
That's what he does. And he also taps into your Twitter if you're not around. Drew knows that.
That was Pete then?
You know that's Pete. That's where he sits before he does Air Out Pride Radio.
I did not know that.
I'm just trying
So
to
there
keep
we
my
go.
name clean because my name gets run through the mud at 6'10" for being one of the nicest guys here.
I brought it up. Well, when I brought it up, they said it was either you or it was
always.
Rob. That was the blame. I will say this, Cody, as
They're
well.
always looking to blame you, aren't they?
And you know it's not Rob because Rob's the guy that says, "Hey, bud. Hey, pal. Those guys don't mess with you. Those guys are too nice."
That's fair.
Right?
Yeah, I know. Yeah.
And you know it ain't me because I ain't got time for that. But either way, Keenan Allen of the Chiefs screams the type of guy that is what is one thing Keenan Allen is ready for his resume to have?
A ring.
Where does his best chance to get a ring?
It's only here.
And how great would it be for Keenan Allen to play his whole career in L.A. just to move to Kansas City
Like Drew Tranquil,
for
maybe?
1 year? Hey, man.
Worked for him. Absolutely worked for him.
I would be disgusted though if Tyler Boyd came to Kansas City. I'll be totally honest. I'd be grossed out. Irv Smith coming here, Cody.
You didn't care about that?
I don't have a problem with it.
That wouldn't hurt your feelings?
I don't have a problem with it. It's fine.
As long as it's Irv Smith from Minnesota.
If Tyler Boyd comes to Kansas City, I'll be a little disgusted.
Coming up in about 10 minutes, we'll get to Willie Gay yesterday only getting a 1-year deal worth $5 million and where that means the Chiefs stood on him to let him walk. But Sauce Gardner, he was on the, I think, now weekly content producer, Ryan Clark's podcast.
It's a good podcast.
It's very good.
It is good.
That's part of the reason we keep getting these clips. The Pivot podcast, obviously Tyreek Hill talked on it.
That's him
not
and
that
Fred
long
Taylor,
ago.
right? And Channing?
Yeah, it's really, really good. But they were on the podcast, and Sauce Gardner had these quotes to say about McCole Hardman. If you really know what it takes to win, you're going to make sure you let the team know. The reason he couldn't do that is because he never earned his stripes. He came to the facility and thought he had made it for him. If you know what it takes to win, you're not going to go to practice and drop hella punts and then have excuses to why you're dropping them. You're not going to go into a special teams meeting and get cussed out by the special teams coordinator. There's just certain things that are not going to happen if you truly know what it takes to win. What the hell does Sauce Gardner know about winning? So what this sounds like to me, by the way, only proof in this, is that McCole Hardman, a multi-Super Bowl champion who had success with a winning organization and a Hall of Fame quarterback, walked into a facility after being attracted as a free agent, walked in like he had earned some veteran status, and the rest of these piss babies got all sad about it because they didn't like that McCole Hardman felt like he thought he had earned his place in an NFL locker room.
Time out. Piss babies?
That's what I'm standing by.
Okay. I didn't know that was a thing. Is that an Urban Dictionary type of thing?
Check the deck.
Yeah.
Check the slang deck next to you, Dusty.
Siri, what is a piss baby?
I like the idea.
Example, when a corner thinks in second year in the
Sauce Gardner.
league, he's more equipped in the league than
What's Sauce Gardner talking about earning his stripes? McCole Hardman's a veteran NFL player.
All McCole Hardman should do is respond to that quote with the corn dog play at the end of the Super Bowl where he hit the walk-off touchdown. That's all you need. That's mic drop. No tweet necessary. No content necessary. Just send him that video of Mahomes throwing him a touchdown in front of a former Chiefs player. They got to watch it all happen live and had no idea what was coming.
What are they again, Cody?
Piss babies.
Yeah, dude.
He got it standing
Bunch of piss babies.
I just don't understand what, like, losing organizations, they're the biggest, like, you don't know how to win. We know how to win. I'm like, you've never won.
Their organization might be full of piss babies if what has been into the media the last couple of days about their quarterback does eventually become true. And that's as far as I'm going to go.
Maybe that's why Sauce is upset about it. He knows he's not going to have a starting. That would be the most Jets thing of all time, by the way. The Jets, the worst franchise in the history of the universe at finding a starting quarterback, trades for and pays a future Hall of Fame quarterback, gives him everything, gives him the world, gives him every wide receiver
Gave him
he wants.
3 snaps.
And then he just runs for vice president instead. Oh, chef's kiss. It would just be such a delight.
Can you imagine if you're a Jets fan, you're looking forward to this season, and he's not going to be your quarterback because he's
think about where
trying to get into office.
Think about where their hype train has started, and in a matter of a year and a half where it's at. They had the offensive and defensive rookies of the year. The very next year, they sign a Hall of Fame quarterback. And then the next 6 months, then 6 months later, he blows his Achilles out after playing 3 downs.
And then 8 months later.
He may never play football again, per sources, because there are,
Maybe he could just, maybe he could do the Kirk Cousins Tuesday day off campaign trail. What do you think? He could just take Tuesdays off, just like Kirk does.
That's the off day.
And that's the off day. Hit the, whatever. Hit the campaign trail.
What's more likely? Aaron Rodgers goes for vice president or Kirk Cousins spends one night in Magic City?
Oh, man, that actually.
Yeah, dude. Because Kirk can't go to Magic City. He ain't going there.
Kirk.
He's a family man.
Hold on. Aaron runs, or he actually gets to that point?
Just runs. I think it's more likely Aaron runs for VP than Kirk Cousins.
We are so getting an email at 5 o'clock.
Runs for VP? We didn't say anything.
Yeah. Guys, politics, no.
This is not politics.
There has to be a bit, though, that they do with Kirk Cousins. There needs to be a photo or video of him with the chains on, shirt off, in Magic City, eating some wings.
This is a pretty solid text right here. PB&J is no longer an acronym for peanut butter and jelly. It is Piss Baby Jets. That's the shirt.
Put that on a T-shirt.
Yeah. Just a loser franchise, man.
Did not have piss babies coming out of Cody's mouth on my bingo card today. I just bring out the best in people.
Piss babies. Piss babies.
Ding, 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 ding. What'd he say? Piss babies. What are the Jets? Piss babies. What are the Chargers about to be at 3 o'clock today? Piss babies.
Piss babies. Never gets old, does it?
That's
Piss
your
babies.
Can that be your next parody song?
Sure. About the Jets? Why am I just writing a parody song about the Jets?
No, you just got to figure out who's your piss baby in 2024.
Over what song though? Like, is there what song is he covering?
If one of you says R. Kelly, I'm gonna lose it.
Piss baby. Okay.
You took it
Hold
there.
the damn phone.
You took it there.
What's
that was
the
not
song?
coming out of my mouth.
Kiss me, baby, one more time, or hit me, baby, one more time.
That's
by
a good
Britney
one.
Spears. Piss baby, one more time. That'd be a good one. Taylor's all this time.
That door opened. I thought it was spec.
He
for
almost
sure.
waited till break. He was 27 seconds away.
He could have made it. We're a little late, in fairness. In his
Okay,
defense. When
fair.
we come back,
The
we'll
lights
get to
on.
what's trending, and then we'll talk more about Willie Gay's contract for just 1 year and $5 million.
Cody and Gold, brought to you by Heartland Men's Health, the leader in men's sexual health. Thousands of men have been successfully treated for low T, ED, and more, all with discretion and compassion. Make your appointment at heartlandmenshealth.com.
There is a back-to-back Super Bowl champion, and it is the Kansas City Chiefs.
On your official broadcast partner of the Chiefs, 610 Sports Radio.
I know the east side of the city, and maybe more of it tonight, saw some of that damaging weather, right? That hail, that heavy storms. Well, don't go with a different company you can't trust. Call our friends at Century Roofing for reliable needs. Don't let someone just show up at your door, tell you that they know what the insurance companies are going to do. No, you're not going to want that. You're going to want with someone with 33 years experience in the Kansas City area, knowing that you can trust them rather than these hail chasers that might just come knocking at your door and doing it. A warranty that will stand around and be behind to honor because you know they're going to stay in this city. That's what Century Roofing provides. They're offering free impact-resistant upgrades on all roof replacement jobs, if that's what it does do, or if you just need those small repairs from these storms that are both rolling in tonight and came through the east side of the city yesterday. Go with the roofing company you can trust and one voted best roofing company in Johnson County for 2 years in a row. Locally owned, and 33 years is the way to do it. Schedule your estimate today from KC-based and female-owned Century Roofing. Trust the pillars of strength. CenturyRoofingKC.com, and tell them that Cody sent you.
Barbecue put Kansas City on the map, and Smokehouse Barbecue has been serving up the best barbecue in Kansas City for over 35 years. Hey, it's Bob Fesco. When my family and I want delicious baby back ribs, burnt ends, and hickory pit beans, we head to Smokehouse Barbecue. Of course, no trip to Smokehouse is complete without their Cajun chicken wings, which are the best wings on the planet. Visit them in Independent, Zona Rosa, or Gladstone, or at smokehousebbq.com. For over 35 years, locally owned and family operated, it's Smokehouse Barbecue. barbecue.
Do you want to skip your car payment this month? How about for 6 months? I'm Jeff Davis, owner of Volkswagen Lease Summit. We're offering payment relief.
Buy a new car at Volkswagen Lease Summit and get no payments for up to 6 months. That's right, no payments for up to 6 months. Or we have low leases starting at $239 a month and rates as low as 0% for 60 months.
Get payment relief today at Volkswagen Lease Summit. Visit VWLeaseSummit.com.
Financing through VCI on approved credit. Call 816-841-7383 for details.
3, 2, 1. It's mid-March. Time to pick your bracket, stock the fridge, and get ready for the dance. The Hy-Vee Market Grill is ready too, with smoking hot deals on your barbecue favorites. It's a slam dunk when you serve pulled pork sliders 2 for $3, a full slab of St. Louis-style ribs $15, and boneless chicken wings just $8 a pound. Add Hy-Vee coleslaw and potato salad for a buzzer-beating finish. Don't miss the Hy-Vee Market Grill Smokeout Thursday through Sunday at your Kansas City area Hy-Vee.
Hey, it's Kling. It's been documented. I have a severe case of spring fever right about now. Nothing goes better with a hint of warmer weather than a little barbecue. So head with me to Hy-Vee this weekend for their annual Smoke Out event. Get perfectly smoked and seasoned barbecue prepared by the Hy-Vee Market Grill. Dine in or carry out pork sliders, 2 for $3. Boneless chicken wings, $8 a pound, or a full slab of ribs for just $15. And don't forget to add all the sides to complete the meal. It's the Market Grill Smoke Out this Thursday through Sunday, only at Hy-Vee.
Erectile dysfunction affects many men in America today, but it's not just the man who's affected, it's also often their partner. But successful treatment of ED can truly bring relationships back to life. This is Jeff, the CEO of Promenic Restorative Men's Health, and that's why I'm pleased to announce the opening of our second location of Heartland Men's Health right here in Independence, Missouri. As a Promenic affiliate, Heartland Men's Health is a part of a group that has successfully treated tens of thousands of men over the last decade with treatments that are shown in medical studies to be effective in well over 90% of men. And unlike wave therapy groups or online pill sellers, we offer a variety of treatments to help you get the results you want. You could even find you're performing like you haven't in years. So call Heartland Men's Health today. Your initial visit is only $99 and includes a medical consult, blood work, and if medically advised, a test dose. And if that test dose doesn't work in the office, your visit is free. Call 844-447-6600 or go to heartlandmenshealth.com. That's heartlandmenshealth.com.
Having unexpected car trouble or just in a car accident? You need Jay's Southland Tow Service. They have over 20 years of experience servicing the KC Metro. They specialize in light, medium, and heavy duty, as well as commercial transport and construction equipment. Keep this number handy, 816-779-4869 or southlandtow.com. Use the tow service trusted by most local police departments, Jay's Southland Tow Service. There's nothing they can't do, so be in the know and use Jay's Southland Tow.
Old Man Winter here. One more snowstorm and...
Not a chance, Mr. Winter. It's spring.
It's also time for the Hyundai Getaway Sales Event, where you can get great deals on all our award-winning Hyundai models, all backed by America's best warranty. Hurry in. These deals won't last at the Hyundai Getaway Sales Event. Now get 0% APR or up to $1,500 bonus cash on the Hyundai Tucson. Now, during the Hyundai Getaway Sales Event. Offers end soon. Call 562-314-4603 for details.
You've heard it said, he's a diamond in the rough. Or maybe, diamonds are forever. Here's something else I've learned about diamonds. They're just pieces of coal put under pressure for a long, long, long time. So, when I start feeling like I want to give up, I think about that little piece of coal. And if that piece of coal can make something of itself by not giving up, so can I. Persistence is in you. From PassItOn.com.
If you're a pro and flooring is your game, we'll help you win it. Because at LL Flooring, all we do is floors. You want decor?
Strike.
You want plumbing?
You're out.
LL Flooring has been helping pros knock it out of the park for over 30 years. Visit one of our 400 nationwide warehouses for one-on-one service, extensive inventory, and exclusive pro pricing. Get the pro treatment you deserve. Enroll today, online or in-store. LL Flooring, every step covered.
This March, Wendy's has some amazing deals on their hamburgers made with fresh, never frozen beef.
Like a juicy Dave's single for $1 and a fresh $2 Dave's double with in-app offer.
It's such a good deal, we wrote a little ditty about it.
Get it for $1. Dave's single, order in the app. Dave's single, get it it for a buck. Choose wisely, choose Wendy's official hamburger March Madness.
Limited time offer. Participating U.S. Wendy's. See offer details and redeem at Wendy's app. Account registration required. Fresh beef available in the contiguous U.S. and Alaska.
You're listening to 610 Sports Radio from the Mission Plumbing, Heating, and Cooling Studios. You're listening to the home for Royals baseball. 610 Sports Radio. KCSP Kansas City. WDAF HD2 Liberty. Always live on the free Odyssey app. What's trending?
All right, let's check in on the hot topics trending.
Number one on what's trending, obviously the action around the NFL is free agency official today at 3 o'clock? That's when we actually technically hit it on that end.
3 p.m. Central Time.
Currently around the NFL, the most recent news is the Eagles and Jake Elliott, the kicker, have agreed to a 4-year, $24 million contract extension, making him tied for the highest paid kicker in the NFL alongside Justin Tucker. The 49ers have traded a 7th-round pick for the Texans for Malik Collins on the defensive line. And what was the other one? Oh, yeah, I'm sorry. The Jets have traded for Morgan Moses, so they add to their offensive line. Morgan Moses headed to the Piss Baby Jets, as we've established on this. In a pick swap, the Jets received Moses and a 4th-round pick. Ravens will swap their 4th-round pick and a 6th for the tackle.
It just never stops. Like, it just...
No, it's just news after news after news.
The only thing Schefter's done that's, really been entertaining the last couple of years is that he showed his screen time was 17 hours one day, which means he's just been like us when you wake up in the morning. Immediately to Instagram, immediately to Facebook, immediately to Twitter, except he does it every single day. Speaking of else what's trending, 2 Georgia stars will not work out at Pro Days. Mims and Brock Bowers.
Yeah, Bowers should probably go 32nd. They should really send him down the charts for that.
Yeah, let him replace Travis Kelce and then just never end the tradition of Mahomes to a stud tight end. But neither one of them will be doing their pro days at Georgia because both players are dealing with tweaked hamstrings. Yeah, smart. Why risk it? You know what you have. Everyone knows what your skill set is. If you didn't do your pro day and you slipped in the draft, oh gosh, okay. Well, then when you're a stud in the NFL and everyone said, okay, maybe we shouldn't, it's fine. They'll be okay.
Tape's out there, so I wouldn't worry about it. Next up on what trending Big 12 tournament today in Kansas City, UCF and BYU in action right now. BYU holding a 30-16 edge. Oklahoma TCU at 2. Then the locals. K-State at Texas tonight at 6, and Kansas will take on Cincinnati tonight at 8:30.
Cody, it's that time of the year. It's the 5th major, the PGA Championship, right? The Players Championship. I'm sorry, not the PGA. The Players Championship, the 5th major, right? Scotty Scheffler, the favorite to win that tournament at plus 550. Rory McIlroy is the next one. He's already slipped. He was plus 1,200 2 hours ago. He's plus 1,400. The gap between winners is amazing. Where you can really win money, I think, is getting Rory McIlroy in a top 10 finish. That's plus 170. And another one I like a top 10 finish with is Justin Thomas. That is plus 260. So the Players Championship, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. I can't wait. I love this tournament. I've already finished Full Swing Season 2. Obviously, I'm a golf freak, and I'm ready, man. I love this tournament.
We needed Drew to pick up the torch from our old producer, Nick. We used to bet show money on the major golf tournaments.
Yeah.
Drew, because he would put an entire betting card together for us that included outright winners, top 5, top 10, top 20 guys. We cashed in 3 straight tournaments. We need you to take up the...
Andrew's got a little game on him.
Count me in for a top 10 Willie Z.
Salvatore?
Yeah,
I think from what I saw, at least before the show, he was plus 3,300 to win the thing. I mean,
he makes Alex Gold look fat.
Zalatoris?
Yeah, he is
a stick. He is a stick.
But he's got a whip of a swing. If he could just putt more consistently, he'd be a multiple major champion, and he'd have so many more tournaments under his belt. It's so crazy how the first thing they tell you in golf is start with the putter. And so many guys want to go out there and just hit the driver,
It's way more fun.
Oh, it's great. Even Justin Reed, I was actually kind of proud of this, and I know we got to get to continue what's trending, but last night Justin Reed said he shot the best round of his life, shot a 91, but he's still got some meat on the bone, he said. And I said, I replied to his tweet, I said, what's the biggest bug in your game right now? He responded and said, Short game. Chipping and putting, it just cost me stroke. I go, welcome to the struggles of golf. That is, he said, I can full swing any club in my bag, but when I get into that where it's touch and you got to be, it's so tough. Putting a 58-degree wedge in your hand, trying to put it close from 35, seems like, hey, This ought to be pretty easy. Not a chance. You want to see the best wedge player in the game? Go watch Scotty Scheffler this week, and it's insane.
He's the best iron player.
I mean, it's just
it's not even close.
Ball striking, he's number one in the world for a reason.
Lastly, on What's Trending, the Royals announced today Bo Jackson has been elected a Royals Hall of Famer. On-field ceremony going to take place June 29th against the Cleveland Guardians.
Raise your hand if you thought Bo Jackson was already in the Royals Hall of Fame.
Yeah.
Okay,
I just kind of assumed he's one of the 5 most famous players in franchise history.
I guess I was wrong.
Him snapping the bat over his head, him running up the outfield wall, that throw from right field. I mean, he's got some of the most memorable moments in baseball history from a pure athleticism standpoint. I guess I just kind of already assumed he was already there. He didn't have a really, really long baseball career because obviously the injury shortened his career in general. But yeah, I guess I just already thought he was a Royals Hall of Famer. Coming up on June 29th instead. That's what's trending here on Cody and Gold. Don't forget, our Big 12 tournament coverage on 610 Sports Radio is brought to you by Twin Peaks. Each drinks scenic views. We'll get back into college basketball here in just a minute. I could have talked college football all day. I was so, Nick Saban's quotes yesterday were so annoying about NIL.
Such a get off my lawn take.
And then blaming his wife. My wife said these kids only care about money. Okay. So you don't think that. Your wife does. Got it.
No, they care about money. It's not all they care about, but they do care about money.
But Saban cared about money, right? Otherwise, why would he have wanted to be the highest paid coach in college football?
Also, did you know that Saban has like a car dealership or like 7 car dealerships in Atlanta and makes like millions upon millions off those dealerships? Isn't that kind of an NIL deal for a coach?
Of course.
I think his biggest gripe was that they don't care about anything but the money now because they can transfer. He basically combined the transfer portal and money in the same conglomerate of an argument to say, well, this kid can go make $8 million here.
Correct.
They can transfer and go and make $4 million here and then transfer and go make another and just doesn't matter anymore.
I think you guys are. I'm going to take the stance of I think you guys are a little out of pocket because I don't know if you haven't read
out of pocket. Is that one?
That's another one. Yeah, that's
you haven't read everything. Cody, Nick Saban is on board with your exact reason or with your exact point for what you want in college sports.
Okay.
He wants revenue sharing. That's what he wants. He said this yesterday.
Full revenue sharing, huh?
Because his problem is the collectives. And I think the collectives are why Chip Kelly doesn't want to coach anymore, why Jeff Hafley left Boston College.
The collectives are the same reason he got paid at Alabama when he got paid, though. These people who are willing to
sort of
pay to have people leave programs.
But
you know?
Nick Saban's he's a publicly paid employee.
He sounds like a piss baby.
So Saban said, quote, yesterday, if we revenue share a certain amount, it'd be the same in each state. That's the issue. We don't have that. Collectives in some states have less jurisdiction. Others don't. That's where if you have the revenue sharing, which is my thing. Dusty, you would understand this. College football needs to be just like golf. Everybody gets a base revenue sharing. Doesn't matter whether you're a 4th string, whether you're the 1st string. Everybody gets a base. And the name, image, and likeness are the endorsements. Tiger Woods makes not nearly as much money as you would think in his prime from just playing golf, but he makes billions and hundreds of millions of dollars from endorsements. College football, I think, should be the exact same way. Everybody gets a baseline when you can take the money now if you want to. You can put it into a trust fund for when you're out of college.
Stars should make more. People pay. The
No.
reason why the sport is valuable is because they pay to watch Caleb Williams play football. He should not be worth the same amount as the backup left guard for Clemson. That's not how sports work in any other capacity.
But he's not worth the same. He's worth more, but you can't, and that's where Nick Saban's talking about this, is that it's hard to coach players that have the ego like this in college. That's where a lot of the, that's where like Dabo doesn't like it and all the other people for the most part. But if you have a baseline, say each player gets $200,000, or not $200,000, $2,000 a month. Every single player does.
Probably would be more like $200,000 at that rate.
If you're Caleb Williams, you can go and make more money on the side, and you know you're going to because you're the superstar. Everybody gets covered. That's where the whole equality thing is, well, this guy is not going to get paid like this.
Okay, but by that
you
same
get rid
standard,
of the locker room issue by having the revenue share, and then Caleb Williams can go make $100 million doing whatever. Shadur Sanders can go and make $25,000 on a deal with a dealership and get a free truck, or
But you're ruining the free market. We're not saying by that same standard, if it's just college athletics and all we care about is, 90% of these aren't going pro in sport, whatever the line is, then by that same standard, every single college football coach should make exactly the same amount of money. And then they can go make their deals to be in boat commercials like Nick Saban. Why do the kids have to make the same amount of money, but not the adults. When the money people are paying to watch the sports is to watch the kids.
But they're not going to get the same amount of money because the NIL deals. They're going to make more money.
I think Saban's biggest problem is that the way that he was brought up in the game and the way that he recruited has now been skewed and flawed because now
guys are asking how much money they're going to make first
Right.
instead of what do you bring to the program? Like they don't even want to visit probably until they find out how much. It's the value of what they want essentially is why old heads like Nick Saban are wanting to get out. And I don't think that and Nick Saban said that's not everything, but it helped kind of push him out the door.
why
I guess
Harbaugh
in a way.
left. Kind of. I think that's
he
another
wanted
reason.
out of the game, absolutely.
I mean, I think he did what he did. He went out on top, got Michigan a national title,
Well,
and then
I-
also had scrutiny behind it. But still,
Which is why I think Nick Saban's more important to the solution than anybody else because he's the guy right now that is retired who is such a big voice where he could say, hey, this is what needs to happen. And I think everybody can he wants to be a part of the solution, not just complain about the problem like some other coaches who are so currently in college football.
Like Dabo, who said he was
Dabo
going to
does
quit the
complain a lot.
sport if NIL got approved.
well, their name, image, and likeness is through Jesus Christ. He said that.
Saban,
Is that what he said?
Sweeney doesn't Sweeney doesn't do the NIL. Sweeney doesn't do the transfer portal stuff. Like
Gotta
NIL,
make you rich later is Dabo's
NIL
argument.
he does.
You don't
but
need
he
the
doesn't
money
do
now.
portal. Hence, I mean, Clemson's struggling a little bit more because they only get 2 or 3 portal guys a year. So it's the adjustment and the newer guys like, Dan Lanning are really taking advantage of it. Kalen DeBoer is taking advantage of it.
Again, people are always like, "Hey, most of these guys are on full ride." Most aren't, but let's use
Full ride is not enough now. By the way,
let's
it's
just
not
use
at all.
again.
You think DeColdis Forrester was on a full ride scholarship? You think he got one because he was DeColdis and got the air conditioning? Do you remember that one?
Oh yeah,
so
That's a
great,
great
dude.
one. The argument is why should they get they get a full ride? Let's say every kid in college gets a full ride, which is again not the case, and maybe it should be. But let's
we
just say
shouldn't be paying for college. I'm kidding. Go ahead.
Giving them all $250,000 for their full ride scholarship is not equal to what their value
I agree.
is in the market. Like the sport makes more money than that. Why don't they get a share?
Yeah.
Well, I think that they, which is where players could unionize like that. That's where the players could unionize. They could come up with a players union. I know that Dartmouth, it's a big deal. Dartmouth's men's basketball team unionized against the school, and that's something that we could see throughout college sports. I think because again, the argument is, will they have a full ride scholarship? College sports in the 70s and 80s aren't nearly as popular and as revenue driven as they are now, and a scholarship's not worth the same as it was in the 90s. It's not enough compared to what they have to do, compared to what they have to do, extra classes over the summertime, how much commitment they put into the sport. And I think, too, another big argument real quick about the whole NIL thing, and if they become employees,
should they be under contract?
Oh, no. The amount of cutting that's going to happen. Women's sports are going to completely go away at a lot of.
I think that's just one of those empty threats that these schools like to make.
Well, it's because they don't make enough. They won't. For baseball's a really good example. A lot of schools won't have baseball anymore because they can't afford to pay the athletes because they're going to want to get paid. There's no money in baseball itself to pay what the athletes want to get paid. That's the problem that I think a lot of Group of 5 schools are going to run into, or even some P5 schools, is that they're not going to be able to have baseball or have women's sports anymore because athletes will come in and say, hey, I need this money. And it's like, well, we don't have that money. And then they're going to say, we're not going.
I think
So
it's like
then they
teams
run out of
threatening to
athletes.
leave. It's the same thing. They're like, we'll cancel all these sports if you make us pay these college kids. Like, it won't go like that. There's more.
Somebody said Jesus has bank because he had the second Super Bowl commercial.
Someone said NIL prayers. Like, you could support a local college athlete.
Also, maybe get your head out of your own ass, Nick, and look at other sports in college that, do you think Caitlin Clark has this successful career? I mean, obviously talent's there, but look, she was the most talented female athlete in her sport, and she made money for it. Before then, she would have just had to bank on a WNBA contract. But now she's able to leave after her junior year.
Well, again, Saban wants them. Saban says they should get paid. Like name, image, and likeness
He just
works.
wants to fix the number.
The problem is that name, image, and likeness is currently a veil over pay for play.
Sure.
Like, it is pay for play right now, but everybody says it's NIL. It's not NIL.
Fair
the
enough.
problem is that he's using it under the guise, and then we'll move on from this. He's using it under the guise of to make it equal. The sport's becoming equal. So if we made everything equal, then everyone would have the same chance. No, Alabama would have a better chance. Because Alabama's always had a better chance.
It gets down to coaches and players, though, instead of who's paying more. That's the problem. Like A&M, Texas A&M right now has so much money, and Texas has so much money that they can pay and offer more than Alabama, for example. Like Alabama's state law,
I don't feel bad for Alabama.
You're not able to do certain things. So as a coach, you're completely handcuffed because you know you're not going to be able to get the best players. That's why he said Jimbo Fisher's just buying players because it's pay for play. It's what's happening.
It is hard to feel bad for Alabama. I'm just gonna say,
I'm sure it
is hard. I gotta do a lot of work to feel bad for Alabama. Let's look at something else that's taking place in the NFL and decide whether or not it can work. Coming up in about 10 minutes, we'll get back into the Chiefs or so, plus Josh Vernier will join us coming up at 12:30. But I was thinking more about this Justin Fields situation, Justin, because you and I were talking off air. There's no landing spot for Fields. All the ideas are not bad ideas right now. I saw someone suggest that the Seahawks should just trade for him, make him compete dead on with Geno Smith, and then just let the best man win. I don't hate that idea. I think any team who doesn't have confidence in their quarterback situation, like let's say you wanted to back up Aaron Rodgers and you wanted to have competent quarterback play behind him in case something goes wrong. I don't hate that idea. The question I was asking myself is, can they survive in the same building? Because right now, they do not have a place to put Fields. And they can't let the fact that they have nowhere to go with Fields stop them from drafting Caleb Williams. I actually think Caleb Williams and Justin Fields can coexist, and this is why. My long stance has been that if you don't have a quarterback, and let's just say occasionally, I don't have a quarterback, and we're picking 1 and 9. My argument has always been just take 2 quarterbacks. Make them battle to the death. Find the one who's good, and no one will care that you burnt either the 1st overall pick or the 9th overall pick at quarterback. Same rule applies here. If you pick Caleb Williams and Justin Fields against each other, and Justin Fields leads you to the promised land, you're one of the best teams in the NFC. People aren't going to feel that bad for you about Caleb Williams. You got it figured out right. Why can't you just pit them against each other?
Yeah, to me, there's no way you allow that to happen.
Is it too much of a distraction?
There's just no way. I mean, I just can't see that being that's not good in-house competition. That's bad in-house competition because you've already came out and said, we're taking Caleb Williams with the 1st overall pick. Okay, that means you plan on him being your leader of your franchise.
Sure.
And you're giving up essentially on Justin Fields. The problem is that everybody sees Justin Fields for who Justin Fields is. Somebody who did not live up to the hype and somebody who is trying to be forced out of a situation. Well, if you're showing that you have zero leverage in trying to get rid of your quarterback and that you're wanting something desperately for him to kind of save face, well, then you're not going to get it from us. So you're not going to get anything from Minnesota. But I'm like you. I think his situation is something where if you do bring him back in Chicago and he doesn't play and he does lose a job to Caleb Williams, a rookie, then you're getting absolutely nothing for him. Plus his contract will be coming up and you're definitely not going to
nothing for him anyway, you know.
But at least you're getting something. Yeah. Because I think what they want is they want a 1st. And if they can't get a 1st, they want a 2nd. And teams are like, we'll give you a 3rd and a 5th. We're not giving you a 2nd. We're definitely not giving you a 1st. We're not doing it. But I think a place where he could be good or a place where he could be accepted would be a place like Philadelphia. Because
but do you want to insert that grenade into the Jalen Hurts conversation?
Yeah, because I think at that point
you got to have a weaker quarterback situation than Jalen.
Which a lot of people were quick to turn a little bit of a back on Jalen Hurts last year when it started to go south for Philadelphia after they won their Super Bowl in Kansas City. And I don't know if Justin Fields can't win the starting job against a guy who's never played a down in the NFL, what makes you think he's going to win the job anywhere else? Maybe it's one of those things where you eat some crow.
You can't win the Titans job?
No, they trust Will Levis.
Trust Will Levis?
They got rid of Ryan Tannehill, benched him halfway through the season, and Will Levis made a difference in that team. There's no doubt about it.
Yeah, he was better than Tannehill.
I wonder if they would go after Fields, though, because new head coach wasn't there. Well, he's not the guy that drafted Levis.
Yeah, he's not
I don't know. I don't know if that makes any sort of a difference. The concept of it is interesting, though, because if they draft Caleb Williams and they still have Fields, if you're, say the Bears start 0-3, Caleb Williams is struggling a little bit. What does the locker room dynamic have if all of a sudden you're like, well, Eberflus is like, well, I need to save my job, so we're going to try to put Justin in for a game, or we're going to bench Caleb so we can. That's where you.
I think he's a backup. You know, Caleb gets hurt, Justin Fields plays.
I don't think there's any way it could work because of that potentially happening. Because at that point, Caleb Williams' confidence is lacking. Justin Fields, you put in, say he struggles as well. You're out of the job. And then the locker room dynamic is not the same after you've brought in, you've tried to build the team up a little bit. Defensively, they're supposed to be a little bit better. I think it causes the whole 2-quarterback room thing and drafting number 1 guy over. I think you have to make your bed and deal with it.
Just decide.
Yeah, you have to just decide.
Like, I just think about, back to the Trey Lance. Nobody cares that they blew Trey Lance. They were in the Super Bowl again with Brock Purdy. No one's going back and being like, you idiots. They just washed it away. It's just a write-off.
Right.
You blew a pick. Getting the wrong offensive tackle in the first round. It sucks, but occasionally you just blow a pick.
A situation with your narrative that works is the Giants situation, where they went and got Drew Lock, and they've pretty much told everyone in plain sight that Daniel Jones is just not it. We effed up. We definitely did not do the right thing. Now, you could bring in a guy like Drew Lock, and he could win out the competition, and they could coexist, and then you could move on. But when you bring a fresh rookie into the league with somebody like Justin Fields, who's been under the microscope of criticism for the last 18 months in one of the biggest cities in the world and a top 3 market in sports, it ain't happening. It just, you're not wanted there.
Do we know if the Falcons tried to get him? As far as we know, I don't think was there any.
I think their first pick was Kirk Cousins, and they got him, and they were like, that's it, we're done.
They were willing to probably shift their plans if for some reason Kirk didn't go there, but they were clearly thinking Kirk the whole way.
And the text makes a good point, too, that if you were to draft Caleb Williams and keep Justin Fields and you believed in Justin Fields, then you go find somebody who's got the 3rd or 4th pick that you could maybe maneuver something and do a same-day trade thing where it's like Phillip Rivers and what's his name, Eli Manning all over again, where the Giants drafted, Phillip, or the Chargers drafted Manning, and he was like, I'm not playing there. And then as soon as the Chargers drafted, or as soon as the Giants drafted Phillip Rivers, they're like, all right, let's do this.
Yeah, we were flipped.
And those stories are always fun to follow throughout the rest of time, just like Trae Young and Luka Doncic were traded on the same day. Kobe Bryant was traded on draft day. And, those things sometimes work out to be fun sports stories. But the Justin Fields market is just, it tanked, and it tanked fast.
Yeah. It's also why you have to take Caleb Williams. The rest of the league told you they don't want your starting quarterback. Why should you want him? Every other team in the league was like, nah, we're good.
How funny would it be if they were like, yeah, we're taking Caleb Williams, then opening night they took Marvin Harrison Jr.?
Whew. Well, the number 2 pick.
Number 1 overall?
Yeah.
They took Marvin Harrison? Oh, that would be stupid.
Trade down in that scenario.
Yeah, you have to trade down.
It'd be like Ryan Poles.
Yeah.
Or what you do is you draft Caleb Williams, and then somebody at the 6th pick or 7th pick drafts Marvin Harrison Jr., and then you trade those picks for each other, and you're like, all right, we're going to stick with Fields. We're going to get a pick out of it, plus we're going to get a player.
Okay, because, the Bears have 9 as well. They've won and they have 9.
You would just trade down.
So I think they would just,
But they're taking Caleb Williams. I'd be surprised if that's not the case. When we come back here on Cody and Gold, we'll get to our Royals insider, Josh Vernier. He'll join the show next. We'll talk some Royals.
Cody and Gold, brought to you by Heartland Men's Health, the leader in men's sexual health. Thousands of men have been successfully treated for low T, ED, and more, all with discretion and compassion. Make your appointment at heartlandmenshealth.com.
There is a back-to-back Super Bowl champion, and it is the Kansas City Chiefs.
On your official broadcast partner of the Chiefs, 610 Sports Radio.
Spring is in the air, and that means one thing. Dandelions are coming. Don't let those annoying yellow weeds invade your lawn again. This year, trust your lawn to Ryan Lawn & Tree. This is Larry Ryan. No other lawn care company delivers the results that Ryan Lawn & Tree delivers. More than just providing a beautiful dandelion-free lawn, your trusted pros in the clean red trucks make sure your entire landscape is healthy, strong, and ready to look great no matter what nature throws at it. And unlike the other guys, the pros at Ryan Lawn & Tree are employee owners, full-time professionals going above and beyond every day with 5-star customer service. Call us or click ryanlawn.com today. And as a new customer, you'll save 50% on your first lawn application. Enjoy a worry-free, effort-free, dandelion-free lawn this year with Ryan Lawn & Tree.
Hi, it's Trey Smith. And in order for our team to get a victory, we need honesty, teamwork, work ethic, humility, and the golden rule. That's why my truck is from the dealer that embodies all those values, Victory Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram. And Victory Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram also supports Giving Hope, whose sole purpose is to feed and clothe the needy in Wyandotte County and beyond. Giving back in the highest integrity, that's how Jeff and his team do business. For your next vehicle, visit or go to victorychrysler-dodge-jeep-ram.com.
You've heard him on national radio. You've seen him on every major network on television. He is Kevin Todd from thesportsbrokers.com. Today, Kevin is releasing his March Madness Conference Game of the Year. Kevin absolutely loves this matchup. To get this winner, call 888-320-7517. It's absolutely free. 888-320-7517. If you're looking for dogs that win outright and favorites that cruise to victory, Kevin Todd is your guy. The industry standard is set by Kevin Todd. Get today's winner absolutely free. 888-320-7517. That's 888-320-7517. Kevin Todd and the Sports Brokers love this game. Get his March Madness Conference Game of the Year absolutely free right now. Call 888-320-7517. That's 888-320-7517. Kevin Todd turns outcomes into incomes. Get this winner absolutely free. 888-320-7517. Kevin loves this game. Call now. 888-320-7517.
Head over to your favorite lodge to score our beer battered fish and chip special, a light and fresh fare that never skims on the flavor. Our beer battered cod is served with house-made tartar, malt vinegar, and french fries. Score them along with a 22-ounce Miller Lite or Coors Light for just $12 every Friday through Easter, or grab them with a soda or tea for just $10. Don't miss out on this great deal every Friday through Easter. Twin Peaks. Eats, drinks, scenic views.
For more than half a century, contractors and trade professionals have relied on WeatherGuard for heavy-duty truck and van storage equipment, not just to protect their valuable tools, but to protect their professional reputations. For pros, the WeatherGuard badge makes a statement about what drives them. It says, "Bring it on. Been there. Done that. We've got your back," without saying a word. And the folks at WeatherGuard, they're just as driven as the hardworking pros they serve. See what it means to be driven at weatherguard.com.
eBay Motors is here for the ride. Go ahead, feel your engine. Admire that perfectly installed exhaust. Your vehicle's moving along this freeway like it was made from fresh installs and a whole lot of love. With eBay Motors, you get over 122 million parts to keep it running. And with eBay Guaranteed Fit, they'll be the perfect fit every time. Plus, at these prices, well, we're burning rubber, not cash. Keep your ride or die alive at ebaymotors.com. Eligible items only. Exclusions apply.
I lock up my Old Spice Fiji aluminum-free dry spray to keep that 24/7 lasting freshness safe for myself. Fresh coconuts, palm trees in the wind. It's like catching waves in Fiji. Actually, I just talked myself into a refreshing spritz of Fiji. My Old Spice is missing! No!
Some people just know the best rate for you is a rate based on you with Allstate, not one based on Carol. She's more focused on hitting a high note than the car in front of her. Why pay a rate based on anyone else? Get one based on you with DriveWise from Allstate.
Not available in Alaska or California, subject to terms and conditions. Rates are determined by several factors, which vary by state. In some states, participation in DriveWise allows Allstate to use your driving data for purposes of rating. While in some states, your rate could increase with high-risk driving. Generally, safer drivers will save with DriveWise. Allstate Fire and Casualty Insurance Company and affiliates, Northbrook, Illinois.
Progressive presents good news, bad news, dumb news, then great news. Good news. A letter in your mailbox says you could save money bundling your home and auto insurance with Progressive. Bad news. You saw it after your teenager backed the car into the mailbox. Dumb news. A new mailbox, basically a box on a stick, costs up to $400. Great news. You decide to see if you could save money bundling at Progressive.com and go with paperless mail instead. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company affiliates and other insurers not available in all states.
Get in zone, AutoZone.
Welcome to AutoZone. What are you working on today? Brakes? We can save you 15% on that. We have OE quality Duralast brake pads and rotors in stock, ready for pickup or delivery. We also have calipers, brake fluid, tools, and anything else you'll need to do the job right. When you get Duralast pads and rotors together, you'll save 15%. It's just part of what makes us America's #1 brakes destination.
Get in zone, AutoZone. Get in zone, AutoZone.
Welcome to AutoZone. What are you working on today? Thinking about gas mileage. A bottle of Lucas Complete Fuel Treatment can clean your system and help your engine get more MPGs. Right now, you can get 2 bottles for only $9.99. A great deal to help you go a great deal farther. Find Lucas Complete Fuel Treatment and everything you need for better fuel efficiency at any one of our 6,300 stores.
Get in the zone, AutoZone.
Restrictions apply.
The 610 Sports Radio phone line is brought to you by Onder Law Injury Lawyers. Visit getjim.com.
Brought to you by Gomer's. 5 locations in the KC Metro or shop online at gomers.com. Gomer's has all you need to celebrate St. Patrick's Day. Voted KC's #1 liquor store, we strive to be the best in price, selection, and service. With 5 locations in the KC Metro or shop online at gomers.com.
If you got the goods, they'll come and buy it just to stay in the click. So don't delay, act now, supplies are running out. Allow if you're still alive.
Back in here at Cody and Gold, 610 Sports Radio, 610sports.com. We'll get back to the Chiefs here in just a minute, but we got to head down to Arizona where our Royals insider Josh Vernier is located. Vern, you are, the history of the Royals, so you were probably paying attention. Both of Dusty and I were a little bit like, oh, yeah, guess we just kind of thought Bo Jackson was already a Royals Hall of Famer. Is that a crazy way to think about it?
It's not a crazy way to think about it. I'm glad that he's in. But no, that to me has been one of the topics of discussion surrounding the Royals Hall of Fame. I've heard countless people say, how do you have a Hall of Fame when arguably the most famous person to ever don your uniform isn't recognized inside of it? So now that 1-6 will be as Vincent Bo Jackson, the latest to be inducted. Can't wait for that day at Kauffman Stadium. We remember what it was like with Lorenzo Cain last year. May not be as many teary-eyed fans in the stands for Bo Jackson's induction, but that'll be a packed house just to be there, to be in the presence of one of the greatest athletes to ever grace God's green earth.
Is your favorite moment the bat over his head, the run up of the wall, or that throw from right field? Is there another one?
Boy. The dive where he separated his shoulder, too, against Deion Sanders as those two were going at it, I believe, on Monday Night Baseball. That one, putting the 6-shooter in the holster after throwing Harold Reynolds out at the dish. Honestly, the stories from that 30 for 30 where, he's killing birds with stones. He's leaping over a river. Growing up, those are the type of things that stand out to me is just when we talked about this when we were talking about Bobby and expectations for Bobby in 2024. There's nothing that is ridiculous. Like, Cody, you couldn't throw out a number for Bobby right now and go, well, Cody, shut up. That's silly. If he can't do that. He can do anything, and that's that is Bo Jackson, where the lore is always believable. There's no story you can tell about Bo Jackson where you go, get out of here. He can't. No, he can and could do everything.
I learned today that he's not in the Hall of Fame, and I also learned today that his first name is Vincent.
You didn't know that?
I thought his real name was Bo. I guess I'd go.
No, but it's fitting.
I'd go by Bo,
my
too.
work here is done. There you go.
I was going to say.
I'm just glad you guys didn't start off talking to Aroldis Chapman.
Look,
do you want to go there? Do you want to go there?
No, I don't. Okay. I don't want to talk about Oedipus.
You know what?
What a vocab there. That is.
I'm just happy that Cole Reagans is here instead. How about that, Vern?
I'm with you, man.
He's got a one-way track to his Cy Young Award because Garrett Cole just got sat down for at least a month or two.
Yeah, well, that's going to require quite the jump as far as wins and losses for this team, right? I think they would need to improve by at least 15 games for him to be in a Cy Young conversation. Of course, you pull a Greinke and you got a sub-2 ERA. Sure, that could get you, the Felix Hernandez type of season, but I don't foresee that happening. But if Cole can stay healthy, I don't see any reason why he can't be the best pitcher in this division. Yeah, there's no reason. Detroit, Minnesota, Pablo Lopez is there. Credit to him, but coming from the left side with that kind of velocity, I don't see anybody in the division better than Cole if he's able to make those 30-plus starts.
When you look at what the bullpen's done so far, Vern, we talked about the improvements they made, but so far in spring, who has maybe surprised you? Like we saw a move yesterday that sent somebody down. Maybe he's still trying to get his stuff together. Is there somebody who stood out to you in this grouping as far as maybe we should be counting on them more in the back end?
Well, I think Royals fans, I don't know how dialed in they were last September and able to see what James MacArthur did in September.
Yeah, he was really good.
12 straight scoreless outings, 19 strikeouts, no walks, a total of 5 base runners across more than 16 innings of work, and he has picked up right where he left off. So for as much as, Will Smith's the closer, no doubt. We know what Nick Anderson and Chris Stratton and John Schreiber are some of the new additions, all quality, all have pitched in either World Series or big postseason spots. But I don't see a reason other than he hasn't done it for a full season. But outside of that, I don't see a reason why James MacArthur can't be mentioned in that same breath. And honestly, case can be made he might be the best of the bunch out there. Very impressive out here in spring, going multiple innings in each of his last 2 appearances. So this is a guy that's not just a 1 inning let it eat. He can give you an inning and 2/3, and I think it could be a perfect bridge from the starter when they need to hit the showers in the 5th or the 6th. He cleans up that inning, gives you 1 more, and then hands it off to these new guys that they brought in. So James MacArthur would be the name standing out to me.
Vern, you look at Bobby Witt Jr.'s placement in this lineup with Michael Garcia probably leading off as we've had this conversation and the PM show, and then behind him is Sal and then Pasquantino. Is he in a sweet spot there in the 2 spot with those guys surrounding him to be able to make sure that he's still getting pitches? And does Sal, you think, continue to carry that sort of respect, or is it now like Bobby's the guy we got to avoid and we'll pitch to Sal?
Yeah, but avoiding Bobby means still putting him on first base,
right,
which is basically putting him on second base. So now he's in scoring.
It's like halfway to third.
Look, for the first time since, honestly, I think the first time in your life, Cody, you were alive for George, but
yeah,
since then, I don't think you've had a player where I don't care who's in that other dugout, who we're praising, who, Mike Trout comes to town, Mookie Betts comes to town. You can go mano-a-mano, superstar for superstar. Yeah, he's a 2-hitter. That's, in my opinion, where you put the best offensive weapon that you have. That's where Trout's hits. Okay, Acuna's a leadoff hitter, but you look at that Braves lineup, man, that's just MVP after MVP. We don't necessarily have that here. So, yeah, Bobby hitting in the 2 spot. Look, does he have the protection? Certainly. Salvador Perez's career speaks for itself, and Vinny's ability speaks for itself. But that is something that I hit on earlier in the week with Vesco in the Morning. For as much as Vinny has earned the kind of confidence that I think a lot of Royals fans have in him, we are putting him, at least I am, I put him in the same group as Bobby and Salvi, and I think that might be a touch unfair, right? Salvi's on a Hall of Fame trajectory. Bobby was just paid $300 million. Vinny's yet to play in more than 80 games in a season, and yet I am banking on him, viewing him as one of the constants where if Bobby struggles or if Salvi struggles or if Vinny struggles, I think this team has a very, very uphill battle. I don't know if it's fair for me to put Vinny in that group, but those are the breaks, and that's just how it's going for this team in 2024. Those 3, along with a Seth Lugo and a Michael Wacha, those guys have to hit their career marks. And then you start looking elsewhere, the MJs, Cole Reagan, Brady Singer, Michael Massey. If those guys can have that big step forward in 2024, well then, yeah, August and September should be mighty entertaining.
Speaking of our Royals insider, Josh Vernier, hey, where do you think Nick Pratto fits into any of this? DH is rotating anyway, and there's a lot of unknown about how they'll handle that depending on performance. I know he's never been a good big leaguer, and I know having a good spring, which he is, doesn't necessarily just mean, let's figure out a role. But is he a part of the big league plans this year? What do you think they do with the former first rounder?
I don't think anything could be gained by him going to Omaha. I feel like, okay, we know he's somewhere in between a AAA player and a big leaguer. Is he a 4A guy? I think you find that out in the first few months of the season. Does it feel like a redundancy on the roster having 2 first basemen? Especially with how in my opinion, how improved defensively Vinny is.
Yeah.
I don't even know if improve's the right word. I think he's been his bat's so good that you overlook what he does with the glove. But he is coming off that shoulder injury, although the team, talking with Q about it earlier in the week, no real limitations. They're not trying to be smart with Vinny. He's good to go, so it's not as if you need to mix in a few DH days. But, hey, it's a lot like what we said before camp started. Those final 2 spots on the roster, to me, are going to come down to who's hitting. Who's hitting, and is Dairon Blanco healthy? He did have a very mild calf strain, so they're going to ease him back into games over the next few weeks, but they're going to take it slow with him. So if Blanco's speed is unavailable at the start of the season, well, then it just comes down to what 2 bats are hitting. Between Nelson Velasquez, Nick Prado, Drew Waters, and certainly Prado's hitting right now, that's for sure.
Vern, we talk about Bobby Witt Jr. a lot on After Hours. I'm weirdly obsessed with this kid, and I want to ask you because every year he's taken a legit step forward, and last year, obviously, the numbers would allude to he had a pretty damn good year, right? 11 triples is one of them. He had 49 stolen bases, 30 home runs. That's a pretty damn good year.
And that was just the second half, if we're being honest.
Yeah,
I remember listening to Cody and Gold, and we're having conversations of, is he a superstar? Is he Eric Hosmer? And I was a part of those conversations, and now there's just no doubt about it. He's one of the 10, 15 best players on the planet.
And he only needs 2 stolen bases to tie Bo Jackson's Royal record, so that's kind of nice, or Vincent's record. But what is a real...
You don't know him well enough to say
You can't call him
I can't
Vincent.
even call him Vinny.
Mr. Jackson. To you.
Yeah, Mr.
If you're
Jackson.
nasty.
Yeah, sorry, Mr. Jackson. But what is like a jump that's not me being a homer biased Bobby Witt supporter? Because 30 home runs, 49 stolen bases, a 276, 319, 495, 813 slash seems like a pretty damn good year if you can just do that consistently. But like we've seen greats do it, and he's now a top, in my opinion, a top 10 player in Major League Baseball. You got to think that some of those categories do take a spike upwards and then make him, notably even more recognizable in the MLB.
Yeah, I look at the OPS. Just putting that up there with the type of players that he belongs with, the Acuñas, the Betts, the best all-around players on the planet. Those OPSs are right around 900 over the course of 162. So that's what I would look at. The stolen bases, I'm going to find that interesting this season. Now that they have made this type of investment, look, the speed doesn't go anywhere. He's still going to get his 30, 40 bags, but is he pushing for that 60, 70 type number, or do we see something similar to what we saw from Mike Trout? Trout started stealing less, hitting for more power, and also stealing less just to protect the investment. A lot of that, I think, will come down to, again, the protection and Vinny and Salvi and how they're going, because if they're raking the way that we know they're capable of, I'm not trying to run into an out. As Bobby ran into a few last year, I know that's in the back of his mind. He's trying to improve that stolen base percentage. I think they'll be a bit more cautious on the base paths, especially if his protection is swinging the way we're hoping they do.
Vern, we appreciate the time as always. We'll catch you again next week.
Yes, sir. Sounds good. Thank you.
Love you.
Okay.
I'm going to tell Vern you love him before he gets
That's what we do.
Oh, you always tell him you love him? That's nice.
I try to. He used to say it all the time back. Now he doesn't anymore.
Now he just says,
It's like a relationship.
He scoffed.
It's like a relationship that's gone stale. They just say ditto back.
I did leave him on for a second to see if he would
didn't.
respond.
He took the headset off, and you could tell.
You could hear the headphones coming out of the ear. He was ready to go.
All right.
Prado's a really interesting case for me because he's hitting really well in spring. He was a highly thought of prospect. He had to fix his swing 8 different times. He has done nothing at the big league level. But I'm kind of with Vern. What's the point of putting him in AAA? Either he's a good left-handed bench bat for you who gets some occasional starts or more starts if someone goes down, or he's not on your roster anymore. Just hanging out in AAA for him doesn't seem like it does anything. It's stuck in no man's land.
I mean, he's better than what they drug out there last year with Hunter Dozier. They let that guy play for a while.
Did you see they gave him Shohei's number?
Yeah.
That's just... Like, and I liked Hunter a lot as a person. As a player there towards the end, it was not going so great.
He just wasn't
Giving
good.
him Shohei Ohtani's number the second he walks out of town is very funny.
You don't think
That's just funny.
You don't, yeah.
Like, you don't have to retire the number. He didn't play for you that long. But do you really want to just put somebody else in that jersey number right away? You know, the single best baseball player on the planet. One of the freakiest things we've ever seen.
Can you deny, like decline getting a number? Like, I don't know what his
As a
thought
team,
process
yes.
was.
I mean,
Now,
it's kind of
that's a
funny.
number.
And the players say, I
He can, but that's
really
his
don't want
number. Do you know what I'm saying? He
Yeah,
wanted
yeah.
his number. Players are sensitive to that.
It's also
He always-
it's also funny that like Tyreek Hill got traded, and then the rookie running back Isaiah Pacheco got his number.
Yeah.
And everyone's like, oh, and the first thing everybody did was, oh, there's a new number 10 in town. Yes.
And it's the rookie running back. Now, he ends up being a very good player.
And has more Super Bowls than Tyreek.
That's always the funny, like Dozier told me once, the Royals, for anybody who makes a major league debut, Nick Prado, Hunter Dozier, they take your jersey and they take it to a frame shop for you, Dusty, and they make it look beautiful, right?
Yeah.
They put it in there with some of the dirt from the field, like, you're a big leaguer, kid, you did it. They do, really nice thing that I'm sure most teams do. His number when he got called, when you're not a highly thought of prospect, they don't worry about getting you a good number when you came. When Bobby Wood Jr. came up, they gave him the number he has now, right away, right out of the gate. When you're just like a guy who gets called up and they're not really sure how long you're going to be in the big leagues. So hanging on his wall somewhere is the very first jersey he wore in the big leagues. It's in the 70s. He's like an offensive lineman. It's a terrible number.
Right.
Eventually he got a good one, but like, ugh.
Yeah, because didn't the Royals give Gordon his first number, and then when it wasn't working out in the big leagues, they sent him down, he changed his number.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. But Bobby, I think originally they were talking like his number was going to be different. Then they gave him a good number. They were like,
7's good. 7's a solid sports number.
It's a great. Isn't that the 7 and 10? Aren't those the big soccer numbers?
10 and 9, I thought.
Oh, 10. 10's the big one.
10's the big one.
a number 9 or a number 10. Yeah, those are the two.
Somebody says the Royals did that with 29. It's still out of circulation. So you still just can't be Sweeney's number.
Seems like
I don't know if that's
good
true
player.
or not, but I mean, he's Royal Hall of Famer and a legend in Kansas City for the Royals, at least.
The only one I assume no one's ever going to wear again is
the ones that
Reds.
are retired?
Yeah.
5, 10, and 20.
I'm not ruling out Frank White anymore.
Could you imagine?
Let's get to the random question of the day.
Random question.
I don't assume they would hand it out. That would be like the Petty King Award winner of all time. Okay.
Good Lord.
For you, Dusty. For you, Drew, over in the text line 913-586-7610. Of course, you can catch us on the video streams, YouTube, Twitter, Facebook. I don't know which one I mentioned. Twitch. That's one. We're all there at 610 Sports KC.
Nice.
The question I have for you today is the day of a good deal dead, Dusty? And I asked that question because it was announced today. Dollar General and Dollar Stores, Dollar Tree are getting ready to close 1,000 locations nationwide. So I guess one, is the day of the deal dead? But also, how frequently did you go to a store? What do you go to a dollar store for if you're looking for it?
Cleaning supplies.
Ooh, cleaning supplies. Ours were always party supplies.
Good one.
Little kid party supplies. Balloons, streamers, some plates with a princess
Solo
on them.
cups.
That's pretty much the only time I would regularly visit those places. What did you say, Drew?
Solo cups, as
cups.
well as in that
Ping
category.
pong balls.
Don't want to pay full price for those, right?
A lot of ours are like kitchen stuff. So if you need like the oven mitt things, we'll get oven mitts.
Not
will
utensils, right? Not like spoons. You got to step up your spatula game if you're still buying from the dollar store. I'm just gonna say it, Dusty.
Oh, we've gotten
good. You need good cooking utensils.
We don't cook enough. We get the Betty Crocker stuff.
You get like the nylon 6-pack of spoons.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's
I stole mine from the restaurant I work at.
Which one? Oh, your spatulas?
No,
high quality
silverware.
then.
I have
Higher
good forks and spoons.
You're just like your whole kitchen
I
stocked
don't
with-
need a whole lot of them.
The only thing that we'll get there besides that, I guess, is party stuff. Every now and then we'll go and look at when they have like the theme stuff, like Halloween and Christmas stuff. We've found some good things in there.
Oh, just some holiday decor?
Yes.
So what do you go there for besides just cleaning supplies?
That's what I used to. Yeah, I would just go there for if I needed like a Swiffer or I needed some sort of all surface like Clorox thing. You go there, but
Clorox wipes. Yep,
yeah,
that's
you
another
get those there, or like you guys said, hey, if you're randomly going to a party and you want to be 21 again, hey, can somebody get some playing cards and ping pong balls? All right, I'll stop at Dollar Tree and get those for a total of $3.
God, I can't.
Nothing's $1 anymore.
I don't know why
It's $1.25 now, right?
We don't have a $1 menu at McDonald's. Got rid of it. Now it's like a value meal. Now you've got a cravings menu. Wendy's tried to do a happy hour type of scale pricing.
Well,
that
that
got
was
nipped in
nuts.
the bud real fast. I
Someone
don't know.
says allergy medication. They're out there getting their Claritin there. What do you think it's called there?
Oh man, Claritin.
It's got to have the name that's so close.
Yeah, luckily I have
says
a.
It's not even
allergy
Claritin. It's
relief.
just Claritin.
Compare it to Claritin.
Yeah, no, I mean I still if I go get medicine, I'm one of those guys who goes like CVS or like somewhere like that, like a legit pharmacy. I don't know if I'm going to like Dollar Tree to like trust, Claritin.
Maybe if I was picking up some like ibuprofen, I don't feel like I'm getting like dissed on that.
I would get eye drops at the Dollar Tree.
Just like like Clear Eye stuff.
Yeah.
Okay.
When's the last time you guys got any like food, anything edible from the
Now
Dollar
the
Tree?
problem is you can't.
Never.
You can't.
Never?
Because it's no. What the problem with getting like if you say you want to get like a box of movie candy, right? Everybody likes getting movie candy before checking it out.
Mm-hmm.
The problem going there is it's always in the same aisle with the detergent, so it's always like perfumey. Nobody wants to eat lavender Crunch a Bunch or Bunch of Crunch, right? Everybody, you want your candy to be free of that.
The only thing that we will get is the whales, the whales crackers. The only place you can find them is Dollar Tree.
Do you think that's better than straight up goldfish?
Well, I like goldfish, but the whales, there's something about the whales are good. And
He's a
the
whale
only
guy.
place that you can get them.
Someone says they have
is
amazing
Dollar
hair
Tree.
clips and scrunchies as well.
That's another good one. My wife will get scrunchies from there.
It was you remember when Beanie Babies were popular? Drew doesn't, but you do, Cody.
Oh yeah.
Right? And you would go find those little nook of places that like might have had them, like maybe like a potpourri store in the back where they've got like cards and candles. There's like a little wicker basket that had like 7 or 8 Beanie Babies in it. You're like, ooh, one of those is a rarity. I'm gonna go ahead and snag that. And that became like your honey hole. A lot of that happens with like bourbon hunting. You'll like go to like a random gas station like in a not so good area, but you'll be like, hey, you guys have any like allocated stuff? Like I used to do this. I haven't done it in a long time. And they'd be like, yeah, what are you looking for? And I'd be like, just like if you had like a bottle like Weller Special Reserve or something. Oh yeah, I've got that. I'll sell it to you at cost, like whatever it was. You'd be like, okay, this is my honey hole. I'll come in here and buy a 24-pack of Miller Lite and I'll
You got any
also,
bourbon sitting
yeah,
back
exactly. So like with Dollar General during COVID and like Dollar Tree, dude, text line says it. You could get like name brand toilet paper when everyone was going to like Target, Walmart, all those stores to get toilet paper for a little bit of a while before it became like mainstream. You could slide into those Dollar Trees and be like, yeah, I'll take this 24-pack of Charmin, but not you. It didn't take long until people started figuring out that was the place to go.
I just get it delivered. I'm telling you, I order like
Amazon.
a gigantic box every like 6 months.
Yeah.
I'm out of the game of going there every like month as part of the regular grocery supply. It's not going bad. It's not deteriorating in 6 months.
Did the
I'm
economy
looking to buy the toilet paper twice a year.
Does this rest on millennials? Do I have to take fault for this? Because we killed Macy's, Toys R Us. We killed other thing. Is this on us too?
I mean, we're all. I mean, the two of us are millennials, and we're going.
Or
so.
is this just on the economy because nothing's a dollar?
I
anymore?
think I don't know what 95 is. I think 95 is millennial. Like the line is drawn at like 96.
No,
I think
Or is it earlier?
I think it's.
I am called a geriatric millennial, but that is technically my.
It's like 83 to what? 97.
Yeah.
Is that the window?
So my wife- so Bree
you're
and
a
I
young
are-
millennial.
we
I'm
are-
an old one.
Yes.
I'm like middle of the road.
Did we really kill Toys R Us though? Because I remember going to Toys R Us.
They
Toys R-
blamed us for it.
They did blame us for that.
They blame millennials for killing Toys R Us because we're like, oh, we just get all our games online now. We order all our toys through Amazon. You don't go to Toys
wasn't-
R Us anymore.
That was Gen Z. That wasn't us though.
We
'Cause
killed Blockbuster.
They killed us, man. They said it was us.
Blockbuster. Yeah, that was a
That's
moment.
God, I love Blockbuster. There was nothing better than going in there.
Fantastic.
The most awkward time I ever had was when we rented Monsters Ball and watched it with our family.
It's an interesting one to watch with the
I didn't know the scene was
You know
coming.
Halle Berry?
I
Billy
didn't know.
Bob was coming?
I didn't know she was going to ask him to make her feel good, and they were going to continue to go through with the scene. And then you find out that Billy Bob directed and produced that movie. I think we need to do another cut of that scene. Hallie, you ready? Can you make me feel good?
Terrible.
That's
When
how
we
she
come
says.
back, there's one sign for the Royals and Chiefs stadium deals that I think is interesting. We'll talk about it next.
Cody and Gold, brought to you by Heartland Men's Health, the leader in men's sexual health. Thousands of men have been successfully treated for low T, ED, and more, all with discretion and compassion. Make your appointment at heartlandmenshealth.com.
There is a back-to-back Super Bowl champion, and it is the Kansas City Chiefs.
On your official broadcast partner of the Chiefs, 610 Sports Radio.
Do you want to skip your car payment this month? How about for 6 months? I'm Jeff Davis, owner of Volkswagen Lease Summit. We're offering payment relief.
Buy a new car at Volkswagen Lease Summit and get no payments for up to 6 months. That's right, no payments for up to 6 months. Or we have low leases starting at $239 a month and rates as low as 0% for 60 months.
Get payment relief today at Volkswagen Lease Summit. Visit VWLeaseSummit.com.
Financing through VCI on approved credit. Call 816-841-7383 for details.
The Other Place now has 4 great Kansas City locations: Shawnee, Olathe, downtown Overland Park, and the brand new one in Mission. It has a one-of-a-kind game day experience with enough big screens that you'll never miss a minute of March basketball from the Big 12 to the NCAA. Did I mention dine-in only great daily food and beer specials? So make The Other Place your March basketball headquarters. The Other Place, Shawnee, Olathe, downtown Overland Park, your home for March basketball. TheOtherPlace.com. That's TheOtherPlace.com.
Let's talk garage doors. Your garage door. Is it too loud or letting cold and hot air in around the frame? Overhead Door Company of Kansas City will make it all better. In March only, they will perform their garage door tune-up and safety inspection for just $79. And just in March, that's just $79 for up to 3 garage doors and openers. You need this done once a year, so why not now? And for just $79. Schedule now at overheaddoorkc.com.
Hey, it's Bob Fesco. I just had my yearly physical, and my results were amazing. And I owe it all to the folks at Supplement Superstores. When I first visited them back in November, I was feeling sluggish and wasn't looking good. I needed to drop some weight. Since then, I've lost over 20 pounds. My total cholesterol is down almost 40 points from a year ago. My LDL cholesterol dropped close to 50 points, and I have more energy than ever before. Plus, I'm sleeping like a baby. Supplement Superstore suggested the Flashpoint Complex, and it's been a life changer, and it's so easy. I have a refreshing drink in the morning and another one right before bed, and that's it. Flashpoint Complex is designed to help with fat loss by increasing your metabolism and killing those cravings. The nighttime drink aids in recovery and helps you get a great night of sleep. So try what I use, the Flashpoint Complex, and save 20% when you tell them I sent you. Supplement Superstores has 8 Kansas City area locations. Find one near you. Supplement Superstores, when you're ready to feel your best. FanDuel's putting the ball in your court for the rest of the NBA season. Right now, new customers get $200 in bonus bets with any winning $5 bet. That's $200 if your bet wins. You can bet on the NBA with a wide range of bet types, including quick bets, live same-game parlays, player props, in-game betting, and more. So visit FanDuel.com/610Bob. That's FanDuel.com/610Bob and make your first bet a layup. FanDuel, official sportsbook partner of the NBA and of 610 Sports Radio. 21 and present in Kansas. First online real money wager only. $10 first deposit required. Bonus issued as non-withdrawable bonus bets that expire 7 days after receipt. See terms at sportsbook.fanduel.com. FanDuel is offering online sports wagering in Kansas under an agreement with Kansas Star Casino, LLC. Gambling problem? Getting help is your best bet. Call 1-800-522-4700 or visit ksgamblinghelp.com.
Hi, I'm Henry Winkler. My eyes are very important to me. My eyes connect me with everything I love. I loved my late father-in-law dearly. He always lit up a room, but his vision dimmed with age. He had age-related macular degeneration, or AMD. And since partnering with Apellis, I've learned there's an advanced form of dry AMD called geographic atrophy, or GA. His struggle with vision loss made me want to help others know about GA's warning signs. For some, colors appear dull or washed out. For others, hazy or blurred vision make it hard to see details, like fine print on price tags. Many have trouble seeing in the dark, making driving at night difficult. GA gets worse over time and cannot be reversed. If you think you have GA, don't wait. Treatments are available. Ask a retina specialist about FDA-approved treatments for GA and go to GAWon'tWait.com.
You've heard it said, he's a diamond in the rough. Or maybe, diamonds are forever. Here's something else I've learned about diamonds. They're just pieces of coal put under pressure for a long, long, long time. So when I start feeling like I want to give up, I think about that little piece of coal. And if that piece of coal can make something of itself by not giving up, so can I. Persistence is in you. From PassItOn.com.
Is switching your wireless service to Total by Verizon easy?
Totalmente.
And you get unlimited 5G data, $25 a line for 4 lines on the unlimited plan, at an amazing price, with no contracts. Should you switch to Total by Verizon? Definitely.
Totalmente.
Find a store or switch suavemente at totalbyverizon.com. Monthly rate when you activate without a pay plus taxes and fees. Discount begins the month after you enroll. Additional terms apply. See website for data management practices.
You can live out your MasterChef dreams when you find a professional on Angie to tackle your dream kitchen remodel. Connect with skilled professionals to get all your home projects done well. Inside to outside, repairs to renovations. Get started on the Angie app or visit Angie.com today. You can do this when you Angie that.
Get in zone, AutoZone.
Welcome to AutoZone. What are you working on today? Brakes? We can save you 15% on that. We have OE quality Duralast brake pads and rotors in stock, ready for pickup or delivery. We also have calipers, brake fluid, tools, and anything else you'll need to do the job right. When you get Duralast pads and rotors together, you'll save 15%. It's just part of what makes us America's #1 brakes destination.
Get in zone, AutoZone.
You're listening to 610 Sports Radio from the Mission Plumbing, Heating, and Cooling Studios. Subscribe to the Character Concerns podcast on the Odyssey app or wherever you get your podcasts. KCSP Kansas City, WDAF HD2 Liberty. Always live on the free Odyssey app.
Spread your love on Fly.
I like that he just chose like maybe the most millennial song of all time after we were discussing our
I don't
generation.
know, man.
Dude, this is way up there.
I did not intentionally
This
pick
is
this
pretty
song.
high. This is top 15 most millennial song available.
Goo Goo Dolls has to be in there somewhere.
It's in the mix. There's no doubt.
Did you know that this album was called 1459? And do you know why it was called 1459? Because Mark McGrath, lead singer who you're hearing now of Sugar Ray, knew that their 15 minutes of fame was going to be over soon. So he named his only like big album 1459. And boy, was he right. Sugar Ray had that one album.
Like
and then
he
it was
knew?
like he just kind of like knew.
It's a one-hit wonder?
They weren't a one-hit wonder. They had about 4 songs that bang pretty hard. Every Morning, that's a good one. That song, and I think there's like 2 more.
Here's what BuzzFeed says are the 24 songs every millennial knew every word to for a decade.
I wonder if I can get any on here.
Right, you want, take a guess. Guess like 2 or 3 songs, and as I go through the list, we'll see if you got them.
Semi-Charmed Kind of Life.
Okay. Hold on, I got to scroll through. Give me a couple. I just want,
Okay.
and I'll go through it and I'll see.
Semi-Charmed Kind of Life.
I haven't looked through it yet.
Mr. Jones by Counting Crows, and I would say Wonderwall by Oasis.
Okay. So number 1 on their list is Bright Side by the Killers.
Okay.
Hips Don't Lie by Shakira.
That's weird.
I Write Sins Not Tragedy, Panic at the Disco. That's pretty high on the list. Party Rock Anthem by LMFAO.
Oh my goodness, that song, yes.
That
was when I was
Kissed
in
a
middle
Girl
school.
by Katy Perry. These are some of the older ones.
Ugh.
We Belong Together by Mariah Carey. Umbrella. That's just a few to name them. Crazy by Gnarls Barkley. Boy, that is up there.
This seems like really young millennial
This
songs.
is. Well, but yeah, by Usher's on here. Like maybe they're getting to the older ones as
Umbrella
we go further
was
down.
Rihanna, correct?
Again, we're older millennials, so we got to keep it. Single Ladies. Hey
Oh,
Soul
that
Sister by Train. That feels pretty millennial, dude. Come
That's
on.
a good one.
That's a pretty good answer.
That was when all these are when I was in middle school.
Now I'm looking. Low by Flo Rida.
Yeah, see, like all these are like
Black Parade by My Chemical Romance. Well, see, look, yours didn't make the list.
no Dashboard Confessional songs, no Blink-182.
No
All the small
Blink-182.
things isn't on there.
No Blink-182 is an egregious leave off of this.
That's
list. I'll give you
insane.
That covered a long part of the millennial generation.
Yes. Like, how do you not have all the small things or what's my age again?
I don't know.
Because we don't
That's
know
just BuzzFeed's list. I don't know.
Interesting. Drew, your Bengals lost another player. They're releasing safety Nick Scott.
Good.
Okay.
Because they brought in Geno Stone, that's why.
More importantly, Adam Schefter just reporting after 7 seasons, the Chargers are releasing, could have had 1 of 4 players, Mike Williams. Cap move will save the Chargers $20 million against the cap, and Williams is now a free agent. So Mike Williams on the market. I mean, the quick question here real quick. Are you interested?
Yes.
Anybody interested for the Chiefs and Mike Williams?
Yeah, where's that Verderame cut where he talked about Mike Williams? He said something about
How much do you pay him, though?
$32
million?
cap hit.
$10 million 1 year?
Is
2
that-
for 20? What's his
Paying
market?
10?
Guy can't get healthy.
Is
He
that
had 19 catches last year. He's coming off a major injury.
Hollywood Browns projected, I think, was 1 for 12. I feel like Mike Williams is getting like 1 for 8.
That might be the
That's
number.
all you're getting, 1
But
for
I'm
7.
guessing it's a 1 year deal. Mike Williams in his career has 2 1,000-yard seasons. He had 895 a year ago in 13 games, 1146 in 16 games.
He had
not even
895 before he got hurt?
815. He had 895 the full year before he was hurt. He had 19 catches in 3 games for 249 yards last year before getting injured. The answer is obviously yes. The Chiefs need a wide receiver. He's coming off a major injury. But if you tell me the list is Rashee Rice, Mike Williams, some smaller level wide receiver, and the guy they draft in the first round, I can make that unit work. Even if I got to wait a little bit for Mike Williams to get healthy. The problem is you might be missing Mike Williams for the first month. I don't know how long that
He
injury's
made the
gonna
unit
take.
work with Rashee Rice and nobody else.
Mike is more like a MVS player anyways, right? He's more the deep shot, throw it up. He's going to
Big
go
guy.
up there and he's going to get the ball. I think that fits what they want to do. And then you
Yeah,
draft,
he's never been a volume guy. He's a 40, 45 catch guy, kind of like MVS.
and then you draft a guy who is maybe a similar type of player to Mike Williams, but he's younger.
Dusty and I both have money on BYU, so we've been.
Over the break, you were
Yeah,
getting mad at
yeah.
BYU. I was
Well,
wondering
they
if
were-
you
We all
had
have
some
money on
money on
BYU.
them.
They
They
got
were
up to a
up-
21-3 lead.
They were up 22-8.
Yes.
And then they
I
were
got it on here.
just up 59-56. They've hit a little bit of a run, just a little bit
Enough
of
to
a
cover
run.
the spread for the moment.
Yeah, it's 8.5 is what I have it at, and now they're up 67-56. So love to see it. But back to Mike Williams,
So I see the text line. Text line's for the most part saying no.
and that's
So we're
fine.
just saying no. Why
Would you-
is it?
would you rather
Like,
have
he's
Mike-
30 years old, but it's 1 year deal, 2 year deal. It's
I'm
just
still
not
on
risky.
I'm still on the list of songs millennials know. Like somebody brought up a good point of how is 1,000 Miles not on there? Making my way downtown. You all
How's there
of
no
us-
Green Day?
Yeah, how is there no time of year? Is it
Carlton.
Good
Fair point,
Riddance? Good
Yeah.
Riddance isn't on there? We all know that song.
Okay, that list was trash. We can admit it.
Extremely
If
trash.
you and I made the top 25 millennial songs of all time, we
Bare Naked Ladies wasn't on there?
God, not a single Bare Naked Lady song. I mean, we know the one. It's 1 week. But
Yeah. Stacy's Mom wasn't on there?
too old.
I guess. I don't know.
What was that? What was that? Like early 90s?
I don't
guess It's
know.
in the range.
No 311. We do know the Chargers are going to cut Joey Bosa next, right?
So $20 million against the cap.
Mhm.
They were $24 million or $25 million projected over the cap that they got to get under by 3. So that only saves them 20. So either a restructure is coming of somebody, Joey Bosa, Keenan Allen, who I think is the most likely restructure, or Khalil Mack. I'm assuming they're cutting Khalil Mack. They'll restructure Joey Bosa. And I'm kind of thinking they're going to hold on to Keenan Allen. He's been the higher producer for them consistently across the board.
Mm-hmm.
The one thing I was thinking about these in-division moves is kind of like in-conference moves for transfer.
Mm-hmm.
If the Chiefs bring in Mike Williams, the reason why you shouldn't be upset, and I'm not saying that they will, but if they brought in Mike Williams, who's now been released by the Chargers,
Yeah.
you have to know that Andy knows how to use him. How many times has he seen that guy on tape do successful things against Kansas City? Andy's got a plan for him if he brings him in. The injury stuff is always a concern. Of course it is. But that's also why he's available for 1 year and, I don't know, $8 or $9, $10 million. He's a discount price player for a reason. And I still think because of the price tag on Patrick Mahomes and where they are on the cap, they have to bargain shop a little bit. I don't need a break. They can't go out and just spend, I don't know if they're going to Justin Jefferson money. For some reason, he was a free agent, which he never would be. But I think that that's the kind of player that they can shop at. We were just talking about Dollar Tree.
Yeah.
No
more good deals. Jonathan Jones, the lead NFL insider for NFL and CBS and a correspondent to Real Sports HBO, also says the Chargers are releasing wide receiver Mike Williams. Sources say there is a desire to bring him back to LA on a different deal. So it could be like a cut restructure.
If someone cut me and they were like,
because they didn't
hey,
want to
we'll
pay
try
you.
to screw you.
Yeah.
I'm going somewhere else.
That'd be like,
Screw
hey,
you.
They'd be like, hey, Cody, we'll release you from 610.
But do you
We're
want to
gonna
come back?
But you want to come
For
back
less?
next week and make less money?
No.
No.
Look, even if it was like, Okay, but, Mix 90, it doesn't matter. Like some other station in town, they'd like to pay you the same amount we will. Be like, they can pay me.
Yeah.
Like they want to pay you the same amount we were going to reduce your pay to. Pass.
No.
I'm not letting you get me for the same price someone else can.
Yeah.
They didn't fire my ass. We're having a different conversation. Someone says they want the Chiefs to get Renfro, who's getting released by the Raiders.
Why are the Patriots just out to sign every free agent wide receiver? Because now Jeremy Fowler, 7 minutes ago, says, on Calvin Ridley, per sources, Patriots are still holding out hope. Jaguars remain optimistic he will sign with Jacksonville.
Seems like they should probably figure out quarterback before they're digging into the which wide receivers they get to throw to department.
Oh, they're going to draft J.J. McCarthy, or they're going to go get Drake
Daniels
May.
or Drake May?
Drake May. And then they're going to just try to hopefully load him up with wide receivers. Because they got rid of Parker because he was statistically the worst wide receiver in the NFL. They got rid of Mac Jones, which had been probably the greatest news in the. I guys had a small take that said, "Who woke up more ecstatic about Jones news on Sunday? Patriots fans or Chiefs fans? Like Chiefs fans got Chris Jones for $95 million. He's coming back going for the 3P. Patriots woke up the next morning. Patriots fans did and said, Mac Jones no longer on your team. Oh God. Is he released? No, he was traded to the Jaguars.
You actually got a pick back in compensation.
Yeah, what a win.
That's the thing about first-round picks is that you can always usually get something out of them. Good value all the time, Dusty? No.
Yeah.
Some value? Yeah. You could find a way to make that squeeze if you go through it, but I would certainly entertain it. So far, the moves the Chiefs have made have all the small moves of just getting people back. Text lines pointing out Mike Pennell is back. We mentioned that earlier in the show.
Yep.
That's not breaking news anymore. That got announced like 2 hours ago.
Yeah.
But Mike Pennell's back. Deion Bush was back. Like they're going to bring back a few of their players, but so far the players the Chiefs are bringing back are the players that don't cost them that much money.
No, Drew Tranquill, or that just aren't a part of the future. Because obviously the Willie Gay contract seemed like it would make sense for the Chiefs.
Cheap,
but it's like, hey,
they
we
wanted Drew Tranquill instead of Leo Chenal.
We've got Drew Tranquill, and we have all these sort of whatever options. We have Leo Chenal, who's still under a rookie deal. We'll just go ahead and save money where we can. And by not spending $5 million, $3 million guaranteed, you still save $3 million and not having to sign $5 million and incentives added on to it. So it's interesting. But yeah, the breaking news that has hit the NFL world is that Mike Williams is being released.
I feel like he is a
USC, right?
Huh?
Did he go to USC?
I don't
Tell
know.
me I'm right. Go ahead. I'm sorry to cut you off.
No, you're good. I feel like he's a contender guy. Bills, Chiefs, somebody who needs a wide receiver.
I'm afraid the answer we were looking for was Clemson.
That's right.
That's right. He was with Deshaun.
Yeah.
Duh.
And
do you think he's a contender? I think he's a contender guy on a $3 million base.
Yes.
$10 million if he hits incentives, and they're happy to pay it if he does.
Yes. I think he's Bills, Chiefs are two teams I would absolutely put him in the conversation for. I don't know if Houston would dare that or would dare go to him, but I think he's going to a contender. It makes sense. It just depends on his priorities, obviously.
Closing time, Semisonic wasn't on that list for millennials.
Do I need to look up a different millennial list?
I mean, I would. That was terrible.
Did Mike Williams go to college with Sammy Watkins?
He's not that old, is he? God, how old is Sammy Watkins?
Well, Mike Williams played at least 4. Sammy Watkins is only like 29.
They might have been on
30.
the same team together.
That's all Mike Williams
I don't know if
is.
they played together, but they might have been on the same. There at the same time.
You know who else on that team? Hunter Renfrow. You know who just admitted that he's leaving the Raiders? Hunter Renfrow. You know what the greatest thing in Kansas City sports would be? They have the same named athlete playing at the same two different stadiums in the same city.
They could own the market on Hunter Renfrows.
They'd have a Hunter Renfrow
spelled differently, but they could.
And they'd have a Hunter Renfrow. Boy, that'd be so funny. That'd be one of those like random. Yeah, I'm pretty sure Williams, Watkins, and Renfrow were on that national championship team. I know Renfrow and Watkins were, for sure.
It might have been DeAndre Hopkins, actually, is who I'm thinking of.
Was he on the national championship team?
I found a fresh list.
Okay.
If we want to go through somebody else's attempt at the 25 greatest songs for millennials.
Who's your source now?
This is just it's just like a list website. It's called List 25. That's all they do. They do top 25 lists.
No Nelly, no Sex and Candy by Marcy's
Hold
Playground.
on. Let's hear this station out. This one is going from 25 to 1. Centerfold by the Jay Giles Band.
Yeah,
number 25.
Whoa,
that's a good one.
That's an old millennial song.
Well, that's what we.
No, yeah, we discovered this.
That's what the last one was. Billie Jean. by Michael Jackson.
Yeah, you didn't have to say
this
by.
seems-
You didn't have to say who that was by. Thriller.
Foolish by Ashanti. This is like the older millennials one. Do you like this one better? This is the one where Drew's going to know a lot less. I'll Be Missing You by Puff Daddy and Faith Evans.
Great song.
I Swear by All for One. Lose Yourself by Eminem. That's the other mistake. It's not having any Eminem. That last list had no Eminem, did it? How could the millennial song not have that?
I don't know.
That doesn't even make any sense. Macarena?
You know that
Like,
song.
does it-
You know that song's not about a
It's a good
dance.
one.
What's the song about?
Prostitutes.
Okay.
Didn't know that.
Okay.
You want to guess what the song "Like a Prayer" is by Madonna? You want to know what that one's about?
Another one you didn't need to say like by, but yes,
yeah.
sure.
I'll give you a line. In the midnight hour, I can feel your power. Just like a prayer, I'll take you there.
Okay.
I was 2 weeks ago old when I found out the meaning. I thought that
Who
song
was teaching you this? Where were you sitting around?
We did an out of left field question, kind of like how you guys do a
Oh,
random
yeah,
question,
sure.
kind of the same bit. And I said, "What's a song you grew up listening to that you didn't know the meaning of until you got older?"
I mean, the classic is-
and Julio
yeah.
was like a prayer, and I'm like, "What are you talking about? Isn't that like a religious type song?" He's like, "Oh no, buddy, no, it's about
Other things.
yeah." And so I'm like, okay, because like one of my biggest ones was "Semi Charmed Kind of Life."
Yeah, classic.
That song's
You didn't
like
know she
crystal
shouldn't
meth.
have- yeah,
You're
do
shooting
heroin.
heroin. Yeah, I didn't know that.
Like,
I didn't.
whoa.
I didn't know as a kid. "Brick" by Ben Folds 5 at the time was about abortion.
No.
And like you get older and you're like, I'm starting to understand the lyrics to these songs. This is not a song that like when I sang out loud, I was like, oh yeah.
Mike Williams was right after Sammy Watkins was there. He was there with Hunter Renfrow.
So the entire Clemson staff is a freak because Hunter Renfrow is officially
The
out
year
too.
before Mike Williams got there, they had Martavis Bryant, Sammy Watkins, and DeAndre Hopkins in their wide receiver room.
Martavis Bryant was such a miss. He was going to be so good for Pittsburgh because that's when Pittsburgh just kept going through that run at wide receivers. Where it was just like
hit after hit.
Hines Ward, Antonio Brown. Like before that, you'd go in even to like the guy that was going to, Emmanuel Sanders was there. And then it was like, oh, okay. And then they get Deontay Johnson, George Pickens. And you're like, geez.
Quarterback for that team, Taj Boyd. That was before Deshaun Watson went there. Deshaun was with Mike Williams and Hunter Renfrow.
I gotta be honest. I think the text line's better at this millennial list than
Of course they
these
are.
actual list people. Sister Hazel, All for You. Come on, Eileen.
Blues
Blues
Traveler.
Traveler. Run Around. I mean, God. Even like some of these, like Snow Patrol, it deserves its place in the conversation of like sad guy sing song to single guitar was a key of like that mid millennial period. I feel like Freshman by the Verve Pipe. How often did that play on the radio?
Dusty, do you know what the song "Like a Virgin" is about? No, please enlighten me on what that song's about. Alex Gold's life. I'm kidding. That guy gets a lot of action.
I think he'd get more if he tried harder.
Also, we had no. This is something I can't believe I hadn't thought of. No NSYNC, no Backstreet Boys, no boy bands. Millennials just didn't like. We just don't admit that we like boy band songs.
I mean,
There's
this
a
isn't
few.
a millennial list for just men. Like, who's not admitting that they like NSYNC?
I played NSYNC the other day.
How to Save a Life by the Fray. I used to hate that song because it just every time it was like Fast Car by Luke Combs. Anytime you put it in your car on a country music radio station, you're like, oh, but then you hear the Tracy Chapman version, you're like, okay, we'll keep it. And I love Luke Combs. I think Luke Combs is great. In fact, he was even on Pat McAfee's show today talking about the Carolina Panthers, who are a train wreck. Yeah, man, this millennial list, what in the world are we doing here?
Honestly, maybe it's just because there's a depth to the topic. It's hard to limit it to just 25. But I think you have to include a boy band. You have to include some R&B, hip hop so like Eminem. Like think about like the 10 biggest artists of like our lifetime that spread me all the way to Drew. That's really what we're talking about. Who are the 10 biggest artists to cover me all the way to Drew? And absolutely, Blink-182 and Eminem are on that list for millennials. I just don't know how they're not on that
You
list.
guys probably don't even follow Blink-182 nearly as severe as I do, which you shouldn't because it's disgusting.
I listened to their new album.
It's okay.
It's not as good as their old stuff, but I thought it was good.
Did you have to look up what edging means?
Now we're back to song meanings?
Well, that's just like a vocabulary term.
Hold on, where's that slang deck behind the computer monitor for you?
Yeah.
Is that in there, Dusty?
Yeah, I don't know. I could check. I could just tell you what it means off the air. So it's when you get to the point. I'm kidding. But no, like, yeah, that music and like we all like how is Crash by Dave Matthews Band not in there?
Oh, Dave Matthews also has to be
Where
on the
are we
list.
at, dude?
Has to be on the list. And not just for our guy, Pete Sweeney.
I agree.
You think Crash is about a car crash? No. The line, hike up your skirt a little more and show me the world to me should let you know what that song's
In fairness, I don't think there was a hidden mystery in that song.
There
that
should have
lyric
been.
was
There should have
very
been.
clear.
But isn't it crazy to go back and think of all your childhood songs and as you got older and like understand like vocabulary to be like, oh, okay. Like somebody says, "Follow Me" by Uncle Kracker was about heroin. Didn't know that.
Dude,
Found that out today.
I've told this story on the air because
no Spice Girls.
Like I have to be careful with like because I don't really
No
like
Chumbawamba.
I don't
Ace of Base.
I don't monitor music my kid listens to. I think you should be allowed to read what you want to read and listen what you want to listen
Better
to.
monitor that tablet though. There's some scary
But-
stuff on the internet.
Yeah, but like for the most part, like choose the music you like listening to. So for instance, she did like the first time she did a solo for her dance thing last year. She did it to a Dove Cameron song, and then upon reading the lyrics a little further, I'm like, not great. Okay? But she didn't know that. She just likes the song.
Yeah.
Like I think there's a little bit of innocence of youth, Dusty, of just letting you listen to Simi Charm Live with your windows down as 16-year-old Dusty, not a care in the world.
It's harmless because they don't know.
Yeah.
Like, and he says like do a Christmas whenever they ever take a boat. You're like, oh, I don't know what he just said, but I'm just gonna keep going.
Yeah, you were just like running those words together.
Smash Mouth was mentioned. That's another. I don't know if you guys mentioned that one.
R.I.P.
It's a fair one.
Their lead singer passed away.
By the way, Adam Schefter did say, by releasing Mike Williams, the Chargers are now cap compliant. It's not mandatory that they make any more cost-cutting moves, apparently.
I guess.
But if and when they need space, the logical targets remain Joey Bosa and Khalil Mack.
I would try to trade
indicating
Bosa.
that Keenan Allen is probably safe on the Chargers.
I still can't believe we didn't have Ace of Base on that list, on either one of them. I saw the sign.
Someone says no TLC, no waterfalls, no
Someone said I should
scrubs.
frost my tips like a.
That'd be a great punishment.
JT back in the day?
JT.
Yeah, they did say you look like a boy band member.
I was.
You'd be like the edgy guy.
He's the dangerous one because he has 3 tattoos.
You'd be like,
That's the edgy guy in the boy band. The guy who has not a sleeve, a couple of tattoos.
I got 5 of them.
Okay, sorry. I was guessing. I just knew it wasn't a lot.
I just had to count myself. I've been looking into getting one. I've been thinking about it.
I'm getting a tattoo probably in the next couple months.
What do you have? 1?
I have 2.
Okay, I knew you had at least 1.
I'm gonna get one on I'm gonna get it on like the upper thigh though, in like a discreet spot, and there's meaning to it. My mother loved hummingbirds, and I just found a note from her recently that said your biggest fan loved mom. Obviously, my mom has passed away. I mean, obviously not everybody knows that, but I'm gonna get that like on the thigh.
Nice.
And
hummingbird?
Yeah, little hummingbird. No color, just outline. I don't want to have any color on it because that'll just fade out and it'll look terrible eventually. But I think I'm definitely going to get that. And then when I rock the 4-inch inseam shorts, you might get a little peek.
A little peek.
I did just buy some swim trunks that I did not look at the seam, and they are incredibly tiny.
Shorts are the way people go with the swim trunks, Dusty.
They are from the website Chubbies, and they are 4-inch inseam. And I showed my buddy who always has pool parties, and he's like, buddy, we got kids over here, and we got guys that have wives. I was like, I'll just stay in the middle of the pool, and I'll make sure everybody's inside eating when I get out.
Yeah,
because they are aggressively tiny.
Are they popular here, Chubbies?
I just got on. There was like a deal that they were, because normally their swim trunks are like, I didn't know this were like $70. I got 2 pair for $80.
In Pensacola, very popular. Not just the swim trunks. They've got like I think regular shorts.
Like
as well.
when gravity hits me officially down there, those trunks are gone. Right now, we're all right.
You're okay for now.
We're just BBing it out there, but we'll be okay.
When we come back, we'll get you up to date on what's taking place in the NFL and in the rest of the AFC.
Cody and Gold, brought to you by Heartland Men's Health, the leader in men's sexual health. Thousands of men have been successfully treated for low T, ED, and more, all with discretion and compassion. Make your appointment at heartlandmenshealth.com.
There is a back-to-back Super Bowl champion, and it is the Kansas City Chiefs.
On your official broadcast partner of the Chiefs, 610 Sports Radio.
Bet the NBA with the no-sweat same-game parlay from FanDuel every Thursday with TNT Thursdays. It doesn't matter if you're new to the app or if you already have an account. You'll get bonus bets back if your same-game parlay doesn't win on any NBA on TNT game. The NBA same-game parlays are the perfect way to combine your bets for a chance at an even bigger payout. However you want to play, just head to FanDuel.com, use my promo code CDOT, to bet the NBA with a no-sweat same-game parlay every TNT Thursdays. That's FanDuel.com/CDOT. Make every moment more with FanDuel, an official sports betting partner of the NFL, and also 610 Sports Radio. 21 and present in Kansas. Minimum 3-leg parlay required. Refund issued as novel drawable bonus specs that expires 7 days after retreat. Max refund $5 unless otherwise specified. Restrictions apply. See terms at sportsbook.fanduel.com. FanDuel is offering online sports wagering in Kansas under agreement with Kansas Star Casino, LLC. Gambling problem? Getting help is your best bet. Call 1-800-522-4700 or visit ksgamblinghelp.com.
Spring is in the air, and that means one thing. Dandelions are coming. Don't let those annoying yellow weeds invade your lawn again. This year, trust your lawn to Ryan Lawn and Tree. This is Larry Ryan. No other lawn care company delivers the results that Ryan Lawn and Tree delivers. More than just providing a beautiful dandelion-free lawn. Your trusted pros in the clean red trucks make sure your entire landscape is healthy, strong, and ready to look great no matter what nature throws at it. And unlike the other guys, the pros at Ryan Lawn and Tree are employee owners, full-time professionals going above and beyond every day with 5-star customer service. Call us or click RyanLawn.com today. And as a new customer, you'll save 50% on your first lawn application. Enjoy a worry-free, effort-free, dandelion-free lawn this year with Ryan Lawn and Tree.
You give your all to your team. From the time you put into watching the game to the miles you travel to make it there. So to give back to Big 12 fans, you can now save 12 cents a gallon with the Fuel Forward app from March 7th through the 17th. Because you fuel the game, but we fuel you.
Phillips 66, title sponsor of the Phillips 66 Big 12 Basketball Championships. No minimum purchase required. Can be combined with other offers.
Hi, it's Trey Smith, and in order for our team to get a victory, we need honesty, teamwork, work ethic, humility, and the golden rule. That's why my truck is from the dealer that embodies all those values, Victory Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram. And Victory Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram also supports Giving Hope, whose sole purpose is to feed and clothe the needy in Wyandotte County and beyond. Giving back in the highest integrity, that's how Jeff and his team do business. For your next vehicle, visit or go to VictoryChryslerDodgeJeepRam.com.
3, 2, 1. It's mid-March. Time to pick your bracket, stock the fridge, and get ready for the dance. The Hy-Vee Market Grill is ready too, with smoking hot deals on your barbecue favorites. It's a slam dunk when you serve pulled pork sliders 2 for $3, a full slab of St. Louis-style ribs $15, and boneless chicken wings just $8 a pound. Add Hy-Vee coleslaw and potato salad for a buzzer-beating finish. Don't miss the Hy-Vee Market Grill Smokeout Thursday through Sunday at your Kansas City area Hy-Vee.
Hey, it's Kling. It's been documented. I have a severe case of spring fever right about now. Nothing goes better with a hint of warmer weather than a little barbecue. So head with me to Hy-Vee this weekend for their annual Smoke Out event. Get perfectly smoked and seasoned barbecue prepared by the Hy-Vee Market Grill. Dine in or carry out pork sliders, 2 for $3. Boneless chicken wings, $8 a pound, or a full slab of ribs for just $15. And don't forget to add all the sides to complete the meal. It's the Market Grill Smoke Out this Thursday through Sunday, only at Hy-Vee.
Are you a victim of the timeshare trap and think there's no way out? Well, Chuck McDowell, founder of Wesley Financial Group, has helped over 35,000 families out of financial hardship by getting them out of bad timeshares, and they may be able to help you too. If you were misled into signing a timeshare agreement that is a lifetime commitment, if you were told timeshare is a great investment or your maintenance fees will never go up, you need to get the facts about timeshare cancellation. For over 10 years, Wesley Financial Group has been dedicated to helping folks get out of a lifetime of debt by canceling their timeshares. So they created a timeshare exit information kit, which reveals how the timeshare industry works and what your options are for cancellation. Simply call Wesley right now and they will send you a timeshare exit information kit absolutely free. See how you can become timeshare free. Call 800-761-0000. That's 800-761-0000. Again, 800-761-0000.
You've heard it said, he's a diamond in the rough. Or maybe, diamonds are forever. Here's something else I've learned about diamonds. They're just pieces of coal put under pressure for a long, long, long time. So when I start feeling like I want to give up, I think about that little piece of coal. And if that piece of coal can make something of itself by not giving up, so can I. Persistence is in you. from PassItOn.com.
Discover, this is Daniela.
Hi, it's Jennifer Coolidge. I just want to thank you for making me feel so special. I earned cash back on debit for my dinner party groceries.
That's great, but with Discover Cashback Debit, we give everyone cash back on everyday purchases. Anything else I can help you with?
Do you like asparagus and mushroom sorbet? I've got leftovers.
Introducing Discover Cashback Debit, a checking account with cash back. It pays to Discover. Eligibility and terms at discover.com/cashback debit. Discover Bank, member FDIC.
You're all set with your new Navien water heater.
I can't wait to take a shower without running out of hot water. I'm just gonna love my Navien tankless water heater. I just want to say
Oh, no need to say that, ma'am. You'll always love Navien's high efficiency that will save you money on gas bills compared to other water heaters.
I love how I have more space with its wall-hanging design. Please let me say
Nope, sorry, miss. I know you appreciate it, but I can't let you say it.
Why not?
Because with Navien, it's a tankless job.
How long you been waiting to use that?
You'd be surprised.
Find a Navien installer near you at tanklessmadesimple.com.
The 610 Sports Radio phone line is brought to you by Onder Law Injury Lawyers. Visit getjim.com.
Brought to you by Gomer's. 5 locations in the KC Metro or shop online at gomers.com. Gomer's has all you need to celebrate St. Patrick's Day. Voted KC's #1 liquor store, we strive to be the best in price, selection, and service. With 5 locations in the KC Metro or shop online at gomers.com.
What's trending?
All right, let's check in on the hot topics trending.
First up on What's Trending, league action right now across the NFL. The most recent news, Mike Williams and Hunter Renfrow are both gone from their respective teams. Mike Williams going to be cut by the Chargers to save cap space. Hunter Renfrow leaving. He already sent out a note leaving the Raiders as well. But Adam Schefter reporting that it appears Khalil Mack will stick around with the Chargers for a little bit longer, saying he will restructure his deal in order to stay a member of the Chargers. That leaves Bosa as part of the mix still, and Keenan Allen as part of the mix still, figuring out whether or not the Chargers need to continue moving money around.
Speaking of what else is trending, 2 Georgia stars will not be working out at their Georgia Pro Days. Mims and Brock Bowers both will not be working out due to both dealing with tweaked hamstrings. Don't force it. They know your worth. They know what you're going to do. Who knows? Maybe the league sees Brock Bowers as an injury-prone tight end, and he falls to 32. One can wish.
Yeah.
But we know what happens. You wish in one hand, you crap in the other, and you see which one fills up faster.
Yeah. I'm not optimistic this is going to send Brock Bowers tumbling down just because of one minor injury in which he's not going to run at Pro Day. He got quite a bit of good college tape. I'll say that, Dusty. Next up on What's Trending, the Big 12 tournament in action here in Kansas City, UCF and BYU. First match of the day, BYU currently up 80-67. Dusty and I both on that. You're at 8.5?
I got it 8.5.
I got it at 8. Well, we're right on that same right.
I like yours more than mine.
Well, half point. Oklahoma, TCU at 2. K-State at Texas at 6. Right here on 610 Sports Radio. And then Kansas will take on Cincinnati tonight at 8:30. Our own Drew Nixon will be in the building. He's going to cover some of the game tonight. Which one are you excited about? Which one are you going to? You going right after the show? Get some Oklahoma TCU action?
I will probably catch the end of that. I got to run home real quick.
Get you that credential food up there, boy.
I know. I need to take it.
It's always, hey, hold on. Just so you know, at the Big 12 tournament, it's always RC Cola.
I'm okay with that.
Just letting you know.
It's fine.
If you're an RC Cola guy, it's always RC.
Do you know, because I think we talked about this. Is this, they have media seating or is it press?
Oh, yeah, they got media seating, but everybody loves to sit way up in the nosebleed.
Yeah.
At least that was my take when I did it for 2 years.
So here's the bad news.
Because media seating, you're like a sardine, dude. Like, you're like this. Now, we might see you on TV tonight, which is cool, but you're like this. And then there's always that one guy whose name's like Frank or like Ronnie.
Spreads the legs out wide.
Just wide eagle, like, hey, you'll be all right.
I think
You're a
they
skinny
changed
kid.
it. I think they changed it last year, Drew. When Dustin and I were covering it, you'd sit courtside. I'd be sitting behind Marv at courtside pretty much. I'd be at mid-court. I think Brett Yormark took it away. You one of those seats going to people. I think last year was the last year you got to go sit in the bird's nest.
I did it.
There are people down there, though. I don't know.
Yeah, and then, like, the other thing, too, is that, like, whenever I did it and they had, like, your company got credentials, you would just, like, go game by game to be like, all right, Bob and, Clean are going to sit down here. And then Dusty and Cody will sit up top, and then we'll switch out, or somebody leaves after one game, and it's all set.
Listen, I'm just happy to be there. It's going to be a lot of fun. I'm looking forward to seeing
first time
the
Big
crowd.
12 tournament, obviously.
Oh yeah,
it's
time.
great. It's good.
Classic
Especially
press conference.
Tomorrow and Friday will be fantastic. Oh yeah, the media room is massive. Like it's so
huge.
big.
I bet it is.
It's an arena.
Yeah, it's crazy.
But yeah, I'll be posting some stuff from the social media. See if I can run over after That's the plan. That's the problem, though, is that I don't know if I'm gonna be late enough where I'm gonna stay after the K-State game to get presser audio. Maybe I should. I don't know.
We'll see. Depends on if K-State wins. If they don't,
right.
Not playing that post-game press conference audio in here.
They could win if they
minus
do.
-4.5, right?
Yeah, they could win. Speaking of what else is trending, the Players' Championship starts tomorrow. Scotty Scheffler, your favorite on DraftKings at plus 550. Rory McIlroy, the next closest one, is plus 1,400. So a massive gap because obviously Scotty Scheffler was absolutely magical with the putting stick on the last tournament he played in at the Arnold Palmer Invitational. They think that could carry over, but guys I like that can finish top 10, Justin Thomas. I really like the way Hideki Matsuyama's been playing lately. And then maybe you take a flyer on somebody that you guys like a Will Zalatoris who's been active early. And top 10 finishes can still play out. Rory McIlroy's like he's plus like 265. Justin Thomas is like a plus 360 to finish top 10. So the TPC Sawgrass at Florida with the famous 17th hole, which is always fun to watch. I love this tournament. I think this tournament's fantastic. After we do the show Friday, depending on where our night goes, I don't know if we'll get a nice little elbow rub treatment to go into the tournaments on those games. Who knows? If not, my ass will go buy a 24-pack of Miller Lite, sit back, and I promise you I'll just watch the Players' Championship.
Exactly.
And during commercial breaks, I'll go outside and chip.
Lastly, on what's trending, Bo Jackson elected to the Royals Hall of Fame. His on-field ceremony will be June 29th. Royals legend, I would say. Only played 5 years for the Royals. Amassed 109 home runs. Statistically, normally you would say, is that a Royals Hall of Famer? Bo Jackson is one of the 3 most famous Kansas City Royals of all time. Of course he's a Royals Hall of Famer. It isn't all about on-field accomplishments for a team's Hall of Fame, in my opinion. It is about legacy. There's no doubt in my mind Bo Jackson is deserving of that legacy. That's what's trending here on Cody and Gold. Our Big 12 tournament coverage on 610 Sports Radio is brought to you by Twin Peaks. Each drinks scenic views. Dusty was mentioning, by the way, don't forget on Friday, we will be out at No Other Pub. Our show will be out there for the Big 12 tournament. You can save an extra 12 cents per gallon at Phillips 66 for using Fuel Forward app. Plus, get an extra 5 cents off per gallon with everyday savings offer. Restrictions apply. Kansas City area only. So come out and see us at No Other Pub.
If you guys are going to the games, I will. I'm planning on going like right after the show. I think on Friday for one of the games.
Okay.
If you guys are hanging out there, I will.
I'm only going if somebody lets me in for free. And I'm going to sound even more like...
I'm sure you could, I don't know if they'd get if credentials are too late to...
Oh, they're definitely way too late.
I'll tell you what, I was talking to the owner of Charlie Hustle yesterday. We were down at their store for the shop. They're all tight with the Big 12, obviously, because as you can see with the shirt I'm wearing, this is Charlie Hustle.
Yeah.
They got a partnership with the Big 12 this year. So, like, the champions will wear the Big 12, like, satin starter jacket style thing. I think sometimes he's got the hookup on tickets. Maybe we can hit up our boy over there. Maybe he'll help us out.
Your picture is very telling.
Seems to be good
for a college sports fanatic like myself. I mean, I'm looking at some of that stuff like, man, the lavender jacket for K-State.
Lavender jacket is incredible. I also admit, I think one of the better shirts down there was the Citronauts UCF shirt with the vintage logo. Big fan of the vintage logo. I'm not gonna lie.
I did pick up. So you guys are what? minus 8.5.
I have minus 8.5. Cody has minus 8.
I did plus 9.5 for UCF. I'm on the flip side.
Wait, he's fading us?
Yeah.
Can't just be a team, can we?
It is what it is. There's always a turd in the punch bowl.
Hey, real quick before we talk about the AFC and where the rest of the conference is right now. Sometimes in this show we like to make bets and do punishments. I was thinking of one the other day. I want to know.
Don't put yourself on record because he'll know.
No. Okay. I want to know if you guys think this would be a good punishment for the show one way or the other. Let's say we get in the NCAA tournament and instead of betting money, we want to bet a punishment. I was driving past one of I don't know, it's like a fast food joint.
This is like when you guys used to spin the wheel.
Yeah.
Okay.
But I still like making bets for like non-monetary reasons during the NCAA tournament. Is it a fun bet if the thing we bet on is that the loser has to go to one of those like open interview sessions at like a fast food place to see if they can get the job? So let's just say McDonald's is open interviews 2 to 4, and Drew's got to pop down there, do an interview, and see if he can get an assistant manager gig. He doesn't have to take it. He doesn't have to quit his job and go work there. I just like making him go down in a suit and tie and interviewing. Is that funny?
Yes, it is, because you know what would happen? If I try to get the job, knowing I'm not going to take it, it wouldn't even be hey, we're going to offer you the job. It's when would you like to start? At that point,
and you just record yourself. We won't play their end of the audio because they won't know they're recorded.
I have to record it too.
Record your answers to some of the questions, and you can just verbally tell us what they asked. That way they haven't been recorded. You think they're just going to hit you with a windy? Because like, what happens if I don't? You realize if I don't, they don't offer me the job. How embarrassing that is. That's tough, man.
Not great.
Tough job market.
You have to nail it.
I'm showing up in a suit.
I would. So what? Hang
Go
on.
with one of those tuxedo T-shirts.
Hang on. Say. I'll put it in your shoes. I'm gonna ask you what you would say, or both of you. If you forget offer the job, when would you like to start?
I would just be like, hey,
what do you
look,
say?
I obviously are offering me the job. I really appreciate it. I just want to go home and talk it with my family. You know, you hit it with the, I want to go home and talk it about with my family. Like, Brian Kelly. That way you can buy yourself a little bit of time. And then when they call you later, you can turn them down, obviously.
I think I would be like, look, this whole thing is a bit sorry. I'm not taking this job. I would just be dead serious.
You don't want to make them feel like they're wasting their time. Just be like, look, I got a job elsewhere. I appreciate the offer. It just isn't going to work out.
That might be.
You don't have to make them feel bad.
That should be part of the punishment.
Oh, you got to tell them?
You have to tell them at the end it's a bit. Yes.
That makes me feel
The
way
text line's
more
pissed at you guys because now they think you're being rude to the people that are
That's
actually
why
applying.
I asked. We haven't done it.
Okay. Well, they're
I don't think
on
it's
you.
bad for the people who are really applying. I'm not taking their job. I think it's worse for the people who have to do the interviewing. I'm wasting their time.
That would be an
I've
Impractical
wasted nobody
Jokers
else's
type
time.
of skit bit.
That is a show that
would
I
be-
never could get into.
Really?
Yeah.
No, me either.
I never got into it like that until I started watching it. I mean, I think it's
Like they're gonna put balloons on
some of it's-
someone's waistband and then walk away. Like,
Or like
some of it's funny. A lot of stuff is like, it's fine, but
yeah.
Someone says like not a suit though. You got to wear something like you almost got to be in like you got to be underdressed. You're in your chubby shorts, Dusty. You got to
Ugh.
find out.
Lord have mercy. I'm afraid to. I'm just afraid to sit down in those things. Maybe like a little turtle coming out is what it looked like. They're short, dude. They're short, and
Did you return them and get like a longer inseam?
Nah, just own it. So now I've got to like work out even harder because I can't be this like overly fatty guy wearing these like 4-inch seam swim trunks.
Really hit the gym now.
And I gave the guy a warning, and I told him I was like, if somebody were to say something like, "Hey man, he can't wear those," I'd be like, okay. But everybody's pretty fine. Everybody's fine at this pool. I am a little nervous because like when you get out and the swim trunks like suction to your body, you've got to be quick sometimes. Like, hey, whoa, okay, all right,
Oops.
all right, yeah.
Yeah, I got you.
There's really no room for air. They're just not going to call a foul on this thing?
I mean, I hope so. That ball hit the top of the backboard in this UCF BYU game in which we're all heavily invested.
I'm gonna need this guy to miss some free throws.
What did
here.
you get them at? 9.5?
Yep, I'm gonna need him to miss
He's
some
on
free throws here.
UCF. We're on BYU. We'll keep attention to that here towards the end of the show.
Somebody says they work in HR and can make Drew a fake resume.
Oh.
No. I think he's got to try to get the job with his real resume. Why does he need a fake resume all of a sudden?
I could go look
like a fake name.
I think for what job? Any job or an assistant manager, it has to be like.
I think
higher
like
up.
an assistant manager job at a fast food joint.
I'm not going to get the job with the resume that I have.
There's a
Why not?
sign.
I could get if you had me be I don't know, top cook. I don't know. Somebody.
I can get you a job.
I can get a job anything other than a manager position at McDonald's. I bet right now. Because I've got customer service experience.
That's why I think you could get an assistant manager job.
You think so?
Dusty's got food experience. He could be involved in this.
There is a sign in the Dairy Queen in downtown Lee Summit that says hiring full-time right now, up to $15 an hour.
Okay.
Paid vacation, free meals. And you already know my opinion on Dairy Queen's chicken strips. Best in the game.
Wow, you like their chicken strips
The
that much,
barbecue ones or the regular ones?
Regular ones. They give you the white cup of gravy and the Texas toast.
The barbecue ones are amazing.
$31,000 a year plus free food.
The barbecue ones
no
are good.
lunches.
2 weeks paid vacation.
2 weeks paid
That's
vacation?
more than I get paid at 610.
Which part? The 2 weeks paid vacation or the $31,000?
Yes.
Which one are you talking about?
All of the above. See.
Oh, look at the extra pass for BYU to hit the three.
You gotta
look
love
at
it.
the extra pass.
You love to see it.
To
All right.
sink the
Drew,
three.
Drew, play us out. We still have like 5 minutes.
Just we got a minute 30 left.
That's probably a little too early. All right, and a defensive
There you
board.
go. You
Didn't
love
want
to
it, I
see
needed
it. Love to see it. Keep the 4-leg parlay alive for your boy. Come on now.
Is this the first leg?
Oh, yeah, they're starting it. This is the first leg, -8.5.
Mine's just a straight bet.
Then I've got Texas over K-State money line, Georgia -2.5 versus those sorry-ass Missouri Tigers, and a board.
How's anyone only getting 2.5 against Missouri right now? They didn't have a single win in the SEC.
Georgia's bad, too.
Well, they beat Missouri. Missouri has 0 SEC wins. None.
Do it again. Somebody says DQ chicken tender basket, the best, no doubt. You take half the chicken tender, you tuck it into that little piece of Texas toast, you dip it into that gravy, your toes curl.
Have you tried the barbecue?
No, I won't. I won't try anything else.
The barbecue's good.
I haven't eaten food at Dairy Queen in 20 years.
It's not bad. Like, take the kids there and get them like ice cream and let Daddy get a chicken strip basket, and that'll lead the show
fries
tomorrow.
are
By the way, bad news for you, Drew. They're dribbling this bad boy out.
Please.
Yeah, but it's looking. Well, look,
You can't cover. They're not even going to hit like a Hail Mary three. They're just going to
Shoot
dribble
a
this
three.
thing out.
Shoot a
and turn it
three with
over.
1 second left.
The good thing is
That's some respect from BYU.
My betting unit size is a lot lower than most, so I'm not even mad that I'm.
Did you say your betting unit size?
Yes, it's tiny.
Betting?
Yes.
Oh, betting. I thought you said betting.
Betting.
Okay.
TTs.
That's called thread count. If you're talking about betting.
Oh, God. DQ is cheaper than McDonald's, too, now. Okay. I don't know how much McDonald's you're eating. Probably not a whole lot.
There's, kids, Happy Meals, you know.
Ooh. Do you ever slide in there with them and, like, just be like, yeah, I'll also take a spicy McChicken?
It was probably like...
Don't tell your mom, kids.
It was probably like, a week ago. It was like my kids were acting nuts for an entire day, and I was like,
chicken nuggets.
It was like cold. I'm like, I got to get this energy out. I took them to the play place, got myself a $1 fountain drink, $1.50 fountain drink, and just sat there while the kids went nuts.
McDonald's Coke will save your life on a Sunday if you tied one off on a Saturday night. Like
That's so good.
You go get you like a Big Mac, fries, and a Coke. You shouldn't do it all the time. But if you go get yourself a Big Mac, a fry, and a Coke from McDonald's on a Sunday where you probably had a little too many.
Dude, everyone is on your side in this DQ situation.
I told you, dude. I'm not kidding.
Everyone is on your side.
Food is good.
I'm not kidding, dude.
The problem is like a
chicken strip
blizzard's still like
basket is
$6. Might get off easy on that price
but
tag.
a 4-piece chicken strip basket with no drink, fries, a side of gravy, and toast is $6.99.
Okay.
If you go to McDonald's right now and you get a McChicken with a medium fry and a large Coke, you're paying more than $6.99. In of the dollar menu conversation, McChickens used to be on the dollar menu. Now
It's
they're
all about that.
$2.99 or whatever they
What's
are.
that song? It's all about that bass. It's all about that grave, baby. That grab in that basket. I'll tell you what, man. Somebody says follow it up with a dilly bar. You can. Or you can get yourself. What if you did a blizzard? What are your 2 ingredients?
I like the Reese's Peanut Butter Cup Blizzard. I think it's kind of tough to
good.
beat. I don't even know if I need a second one. Look, I think the only time I've never eaten a Heath bar in its own standing, but in a Blizzard it plays.
I always go cookie dough, Reese's. Something about that just fake dough.
Combined or?
Yeah, combined into a Blizzard. Because you get that peanut butter chocolate and then, oh, hi, what's your neighbor? Chocolate chip cookie dough? How you doing? You know what I mean? Like, it's just something else. I also, by the time I've crushed 4 strips, fries, and toast, the last thing I want is ice cream. But somebody did say the DQ on 135th and State Line next to a dispensary. Best DQ in the city. They knew what they were doing.
What do you think? It's an accident that they went that way?
No, there's a dispensary in Lee Summit right next to Costa Vida. You think anybody's ever made a double trip there? Like, oh, I'll slide in, grab me a little bit of, blueberry sour kush, and then I'm going to go over here to Costa Vida and get me a burrito with a side of queso. Costa Vida's also great. They need more of them. It's better than Chipotle. I'll die on that hill. Kill me now before I get off the air, but I'm saying Costa Vida's better than Chipotle.
We'll be back tomorrow from 10 until 2. Gold's out all week, so Dusty will be back with me tomorrow. Again, come see us at No Other Pub on Friday. We'll be out there for the Big 12 tournament. We'll talk to y'all tomorrow.